点蓝。
Let's get to work.
Why would you ever start fires in here?
We'll see about that.
Don't run away now.
Another one. Sorry.
I'll take the lead today. Gears of a storm.
Talent.
Coming at you. Dare to mess with me?
What?
Wish me luck.
How did I do this?
Let's get to work. Stay cool and face your guilt.
Dare to mess with me?
Instead of going big, guess I'm going.
Time didn't stop for me. Let the show begin.
quietly now.
I feel a little weak. Watch out!
Lumens.
All right, team, let's move it out. Drop your weapons.
you serious?
Time for a house call. A bitter pill to swallow.
Our bond is strong. All right, team. Let's move it out. Final warning.
I wanna burst start of next round. Maybe not. What? It's heated. Oh my god. I think I just need to survive. Maybe I do this.
I'll treat your wounds.
Are they starting stream? Finally?
Can't catch me.
A bitter pill to swallow.
It cheated. Oh my god. Match clap.
My fault for being so lazy.
My god. The worst part is I can never discard.
Seems like an emergency. A bitter pill to swallow.
Lightning purify!
I'm sorry, Shang Shang.
It's time. It is time.
Take care of the gang.
This guy needs to stop roping me. Match. Okay.
Sorry for the trouble.
Plainly, he has recovered, he has made his way through the lowers, but he has yet to face Tingod himself. You think that it might be a little bit of the same? Is this going to be a clean sweep in the grand finals?
Yes.
Oh, wow! Ting, relax, relax. Well, he goes up against the honored one himself. Let us bring out once more Kevin Z. Back for his revenge, Kevin Z knocked out in the lowers, clawed his way through the stressful knockout series, and we're back again. Kevin Z, you've got a lot of, practice playing against a lot of different opponents. Seems like your nerves are gone. Your heart rate is low. Are you ready for this grand final?
Of course I am.
All right. Now, you said you especially wanted to take out Ting here today. Is that what we're going to see?
Exactly.
Exactly. He made a bold claim. Not a single game you'll take from him. How do you feel about that?
Last time, he faced Kevin Z. This time, he's facing the honored one.
Oh! There we go! The honored one has appeared! Alright, we've had a lot of smack talk as always, but it's time now for
You should have
some
heard what Kevin
honorable
just said.
sayings here. Would you like to wish anything upon Kevin Z
I just
before
play
the
it back.
Good luck and have fun.
Oh, very nice.
I wish you to have good luck as well. And I know you'll have it.
Oh, that is very true. Alright, let's get a handshake before we go in. Your opponent?
I 3-0'd him. Last time, he faced Kevin Z. This time, he's facing the honored one.
Oh, heck yeah, there we go. To your seats, as now the time has finally come. It is
It's
time
gonna
for
get
us to make
quoted
it to
forever.
our
Oh
grand
my.
final. I am so excited to bring to you our best of 7 potential for the Prince Cup. And we couldn't have 2 better casters to do
I
it.
can't wait
Let
to
us
see
go
their
ahead and
decks.
throw to our
Oh my
wonderful
god.
casters of Professor Blep and Windflower Birthday Leia.
Yeah. I swear.
It's still not my birthday, by the way, but anyway, hello travelers, we're back for the grand finals.
I said
This
the
is Leah,
crab deck
also known
was
as
Kevin's
Windflower
best
Leah,
deck,
here with
so
Flip the Cat.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
and it is an honor to be here casting the finals. We've had 2 days leading up to this. Epic games, but I'm so excited to be here to close it out.
Definitely, and I mean, just what a journey it's been. Ting has already defeated both Robot Wizard and Kevin Z once in this tournament. Now he's up against Kevin Z again. Ting is literally a god slayer.
Yes, of course, that is referred to Kevin Z's chosen tag for himself, TCG God, but we'll come to him in a little bit.
Well, we're talking about Ting. He's the God Slayer.
He's the God Slayer.
So, I mean, look how quaint this God Slayer is. He loves baking, he loves fantasy novels, and he's definitely known in the community for being a high roller. If you've been watching the first 2 days, I'm sure you know him as a high roller too.
Yeah, if you are just joining us, of course, from Genshin Impact Official, any of the Astro Carnival channels, and you don't know these players, you'll get acquainted with them very soon, but make sure to check out Day 2, that best of 5 series against Robot Wizard.
Game 1.
Sorry, well, the entire series, that entire series against Robot Wizard was really a highlight of not only just this tournament, but really, we've been in a lot of tournaments, and that was by far.
The entire story thus far. I mean, Robot Wizard was
Yeah.
the North American Prince Cup champion from last year. He was the one to take down, he was the one to beat. He made it to the top 3, and it was Ting that took him down a peg before Kevin Z knocked him out entirely.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's been a hard-fought battle among all of these players. There were some statistics for the players gathered across the Prince Cup. And we see that Ting does not draw a lot of cards, so that's actually a pretty low number. And the reason why, he does prefer that aggressive playstyle.
Right.
Those aggro decks don't draw a lot of cards, but they do a lot of damage, and that has really paid off for him.
Yeah, that's like one of the lowest card
is.
draw stats we've seen so far. But
Lowest card
this
draw
meta, I
stack
think, really
that draws
favors
every single card
aggressive
he
type
needs.
decks, and they were falling out of the meta for quite a while.
Yeah.
It lended way to Hyper Magic,
They're
which is
actually
more
the stats of a
combo-oriented
high
and
roller.
stall, and now we're kind of back at an aggro meta.
Because
This is
average
perfect
dice
for players like
as
Ting
low
who
as
prefer
average
that. You
dice
can
and
even
average
see
card
their
draw
chosen
as low
tags
as
there.
possible.
Ting bringing that aggressive tag.
But still
here's
make
Kevin
it
Z,
through.
the TCG God, the only player in the top 32
And still
the
in the
Atlantic
grand
Prince Cup tournament
finals.
to bring
Oh
that
my.
title, and that is because he's known in the community as the honored one. He is someone who's
Not a
very
single
hyped up behind the
pick? Oh
scenes,
shit.
and
I
this
think
is
so.
finally his time to
Oh
show
no
what
no
he's
no.
worth.
Yeah, he deserves all of these
Yeah,
titles.
yeah.
Again, I know I've talked about him quite a few times as we've
Yes, enough.
gone through the days, but he is a very good coach of
Where
players
is
as well.
Fufu?
He cares
Fufu is
a lot
gone.
about
Does.
the
I don't like
correct
Fufu.
plays
Yeah.
at any given moment. He cares about consistency, not
Yeah.
about high rolling
He said he was
quite as
busy
much.
yesterday,
I
so-
mean, he has unlucky roller as his tag at the end. It's kind of an ironic thing, he believes that if he can just play good decks consistently and make less mistakes, unlike me, he'll get through.
I mean, that's definitely true. He told me personally that he considers inconsistent decks as a bad strategy. Like, those were his words, and I think
Kevin?
it's shown, like, he's the only one taking that Kazuha deck, and I know we were talking to the players earlier, like, okay, Ting, okay, Kevin Z, which one of you is Kazuha in the trailer, and which
Yeah.
one of you is Sino? Kevin Z, of course, immediately was like, I'm Kazuha,
Yeah.
because he prefers that consistency.
Yeah, that Kazuha deck, definitely a highlight. I love seeing that that deck in action. It's very cool, has a lot of combo potential. But we see here Kevin Z stats and immediate difference. You know, lots of max dice, lots of cards drawn. This is his preferred playstyle of deck, which is, as you mentioned, that hyper magic deck. If you're not
5
familiar
cards
with
drawn
GITCG,
rounds 1
the
through
whole
3
goal of
is a
that deck
bit
is to draw your
crazy.
entire deck and then play all the best cards. And that's what we mean by consistency, right?
Right.
You don't need to rely on RNG and top decks
Right.
and top deck Pyro Wovens
Right.
if you just draw your entire deck.
I mean, you know,
But
Ting
roll
does have
bad
the
dice
professional
if you
top decker
generate
tag,
Omni
so
dice from
that's his
lightning.
specialty. Just, you know, that's why we call it a Ting mid-roll, because like his mid-luck is everyone's really good luck.
Yeah, I do want to say, we go on about Ting's lucky rolls a lot of time. I've had time to talk about him, that, you know, that game on again, very much a highlight, but what you didn't see in that is he chose to play around a very particular card. He took a line that played around his opponent's Lotus Crisp,
Yeah.
I
which we
heard
knew Robot Wizard had in
by
hand. It was
least
not a guarantee that
Right.
he had it.
King
Right.
said he
chose a
might
line
bring
that would not
Serpent.
lose to that, or would not lose 100% of the time to that card. And it's that combination of strategy and then relying on your outs that made it so important.
He didn't bring
Very
it.
excellent
True.
observation, but we're getting
Wait.
into the finals now, and these are our decks. Of course, wait, Ting has
They both let
Whale
Whale
with-
through?
with
Scorpion?
Consecrated
Mhm.
Scorpion. It looks like on
Yeah,
Ting's
then he
side
got rid
that
of it.
Sino
He said he
Willow
could,
deck
he
is
might,
banned.
if he was
For
gonna
Kevin
bring
Z, it looks
Kenki,
like
he was gonna
Rohan is
bring
banned with Sino.
Kenki Whale.
He's rolling
Oh no,
with
Kenki
that,
Serpent.
Sayu Chongyun Herald deck.
Yeah.
Anything you see here?
I mean, so the
Both
4 decks
sides,
for
by the
Kevin Z
way,
are
yeah.
the same, except for that Whale, which he did not bring in his original lineup, but
What
now
the
has
f-
added, which most of the players. And for Ting side, actually quite a new lineup. We're gonna have to talk
Okay,
about that a
I
little bit, but
think
we see the
Ting is
Sino
trying to
deck
target
banned
Kevin's
on both
Whale.
sides. I think
I'm not
Sino
even
has
trolling.
been the dominant
Look at
card
his
in this meta
lineup.
game, and you saw those
It's-
statistics.
okay,
the
I
10
think
damage stronger single
Mew
strike. That was Sino.
Yeah.
Right?
actually
Had
does
his,
fine in the
passive
world,
plus talent
surprisingly.
plus Pyro Resonance, easily being able to threaten characters in
I
one
think,
shot. And
I also
against
think
opposing players that
Sayu
are
does
very afraid
pretty
of that.
well in the
I mean,
Whale.
something to note here. So the reason why
Sayu
we're seeing
and-
new lineups
Sayu
today
and
is
Wi-
because this
Sayu
is
and
going
Mew
to
can
be a
both
best of 7 leading into
do
the
well
grand
in the
finals.
Whale.
These players had the chance to submit new decks.
I don't know
If you're
how the
wondering why your
crab
rank is going on so long,
TM
they had
deck
to
would
think,
do.
especially
It probably
Kevin Z
sucks.
having taken down
Then
Robot
I don't
Wizard
know.
for the final time
Yeah.
and rising up. He had to really think about what he wanted to bring against Ting now that he's finally made it to the grand finals. So
Yeah.
all the decks were locked in up until
It doesn't
that
suck,
point.
I
But
think. I think it's...
I mean,
look at them now.
Yeah, in
Um,
some ways, Kevin
I think
Z's
Ting's
worst
Whale deck is
type of
better.
player to
I
play
like the
against is
Layla
Ting, who
in
is
the
not
mirror.
afraid to bring unconventional
But-
decks,
Yeah.
right? Kevin Z's lineup, like I said, 4 of the decks are the same.
Right.
So Ting knows exactly how those 4 decks are going to play. He's seen them before. And even that Whale deck is one that is very popular
whatever
by
they
the
use
players. So
for
Kevin Z very much sticking to the
qualifying
strategy
to
of,
this
I'm going to play
stage.
the best decks, and I'm just going to play them well and better than you. Whereas Ting, he
So
cooked.
the Vital deck was
If you
from
look at
like...
the lineup, we have not seen a lot of these decks before. The
the group
characters had the
stage.
speed
Well,
before,
Mew,
but
he
not
brought
in the
Mew.
same combination.
I don't
It's
like
true, yeah.
Scorpion.
Well,
I
you
like
will wonder if
Kitching
you're
more.
wondering what Mew
And then
means.
Layla's
So some more things to note. Also,
Layla's the better of
wow,
the two
Ting going
cryo
with this deck
characters.
first. It's going to be so interesting.
Whale is a
Both these
leash.
players are known for cooking their own decks.
Yeah, and in both cases, we haven't
Scorpion?
seen Narwhal prominent because it's been banned pretty much every single time, just like in the previous version.
you
But
get-
now, both
I mean,
players
you just need to-
exactly
Yeah.
threatening.
You just need to
And, oh,
generate
First of all, we're getting so
the
excited about
cards
that.
for
If
Whale
you're
to
watching at
discard.
home, of course, we have raffles going on.
We
And
do have
playing the
raffles going
card
on.
is
We
one
also have
dice
QR
plus
code where
one
you can tell
discard,
us how much you love our
so that's
raffles.
that.
So when we get in the game, I will remind you all about that again. But those raffles will be happening over on the Astro Carnival YouTube channel. So just make
If
sure
it's
you stay
CN list,
updated
you also
following
run
Astro Carnival
Scorpion Talent,
socials,
so it's also
etc.
plus one draw
You know,
if you
we
get it.
love to bring all this stuff to you. So make sure you let us know how much you love it too.
Yeah, and you know, follow the moderation instructions in the YouTube chat to
Only... Okay,
know-
I
find out
think
about
pitching
how
is
and
better
when
because the card you
to,
discard is a 3
go,
cost,
you know, enter
and
into
like
the raffle.
Right.
buffing up the Whale
I'm still
burst
thinking about the
matters
decks,
a
and I'm
bit.
just like, we need to get this out there because, of course, the viewers back at home probably care more about the Primo Gems for some of you than the games. So for me, I'm so excited.
Well,
to
they've
get
been
into the
really
series.
exciting games, especially yesterday. Again, that team versus Robot
no,
Wizard
you
match
needed
was just
to...
phenomenal to watch.
Without,
especially
okay,
game
without
one. I know
Kitching,
were
you don't
sad,
quite
were
have enough
casting
3
it. I was
costs to
happy,
make the
I was
summon
casting it.
beefy
I was
enough
literally in
sometimes
tears,
to
like,
take
crying
2
when
hits.
that happened. So
And then
I'm
you,
really
you
hoping
can
to
like
see some
lose
good
the
games
summon
today.
before
Excited for these decks these players have brought.
it goes the
Yeah, and
second
of course we
time,
saw
then you'll
that,
have a
Ting
problem.
did choose
Because
that
you miss
Whale,
like 3 damage.
Layla with Scorpion. Now, I actually had a chance to talk to him yesterday when he was thinking about the decks, and one of the problems you can find if you play the Whale deck, it's actually so good that you draw through your deck too fast, and then you run out of steam.
Wait, we're gonna see Serene.
We are gonna see.
We're gonna
Serene.
see
Okay.
Serene. I
right.
have prepared notes for
Oh, you
Serene.
did, yeah.
Just saying, you will see them later. Well, you won't see them. You'll hear
Oh.
them later.
Oh, this
But
is
here we
so-
go. It's Kevin Z's deck
What is
reveal.
it? What
Why
is
are
it?
we being
Surely
checked
it's the
like
whale
this? Turn
mirror,
the
right?
cards
But yeah.
around.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
I
wait,
see
wait,
Jonghyun, I see
wait.
Sayu,
that-
and I see Harold. That's what was
Oh
shown
my
earlier.
No, that's
god.
true. Yeah, that was on the graphic earlier for those of you paying attention. But
I would
there's so
say
much going on,
this
there's
is
so
a
much
pretty scary
action
matchup
that
for
we're about to
Whale.
witness. But this Herald Sayu Changyun deck, we saw it take out Robot Wizard in the last match. That was the deck that
I don't know about
knocked him
Kevin's
out
list,
of
but
this competition. But of course,
from my
he does go away
experience, this is
coming
one of
in
the
third
decks
with a
that
good,
actually
very respectable
stand a
fight.
reasonable
This
chance
is so
against
interesting
Will.
too because Kevin Z plays a very different version of this
Right.
deck, having instead of 2 wolf
If you
gravestones,
roll
having that
extremely
Wagner and 3
high, you
different
can just
weapons,
kill
because that's what you have to do
R2
if you're
before the
bringing
Will
Wagner in
gets
order
more
to
than
draw a weapon
plus
to play it.
6
That
plus.
is to basically
yeah.
defeat the RNG. This is Kevin Z preferring
That is not
consistency.
impossible.
That is literally what this is. We saw it earlier too up against Robot Wizard. Robot Wizard not drawing that Wolf's Gravestone until
Exactly.
the final hour when it was way too late. These things do come up, and that's why Kevin Z gets to where he is. He's figured out how to beat the RNG
hate
in
his
a lot
deck
of
list
ways.
though,
He's
like,
not
why does it
relying on it.
suck?
He prefers that consistency.
Yeah, and notably one
Where's the
missing card
Sayu
from his
talent?
very
It's like
popular
one of the
Sayu
most
deck is
broken
that Sayu talent.
cards.
You know, pretty much every single other deck that we've seen that features Sayu runs that talent. It's a very powerful card. Once you use her skill, and Swell draws you
And
2
it's replaced
extra
by
cards, essentially a
Wagner.
free strategize. And again, we saw how many cards.
Because
Kevin
without
Z drew,
Wagner, you
know,
could have
drew
removed one of the
over rounds,
weapons,
and
put in
not
2
having that
wolves
talent
instead.
is,
Then you have 3
very much
slots.
saying
You
that
can
this is
put
a
2
different
Sayus.
strategy
You can
for
put
the deck.
1 extra card as
Yeah,
well.
and I mean, thinking about this matchup here, so we have Will, which I haven't seen played yet in this live event.
I'm just surprised they
versus
both let
Sayu,
Will
which is a
through.
very
That's
aggressive
such a
deck. What do you think is favored here?
That's a good question. I think the Whale deck can actually be favored. So one of the problems with Sayu and the Herald deck is they can run out of damage and cards, right? If you're drawing through your entire deck, there is at some point, and we almost saw that in day 2. I believe it was like Runatobio versus Jibu, but Jibu
Yeah.
drew through their entire deck
crap,
and
yes.
almost ran out of steam against a Navia
Yeah, are
stall
they?
deck, but
Yep.
managed to
No,
go down
yes,
to the
wait.
last card.
He,
and
he has
win. If
Sayu,
not
he
done
has
that,
Will,
they
and then
would've
he
lost.
has...
And
It's
Whale
literally that Wolf's Gravestone.
it was.
Did he bring
yeah,
Kazuha
Whale
again?
with
I
its
think he
ability to
did.
gain a lot of
And then
HP. Now, the
he-
one thing that's missing is this is
Shit,
not
what was the
a
last
pitching
one?
variant. This has
Right.
Scorpion, which I'm a little surprised by.
Yeah, I
Is it
haven't
actually
even
the
seen
Nahida deck?
pitching
I
variant
forgot.
played
No.
to begin with because it has just been permanently banned even
Yeah.
during the
It's not
Pacific
really
Prince Cup,
fast.
which has been airing, you know, for the past like basically month and a half. It was banned so many times, basically
lot of
like a
Kevin's decks suck
95%
into
ban rate
Sino,
overall for that
I
whale deck,
guess.
Yeah.
and that was with Scorpion and Enemo Serpent, which are now fallen out of the meta. But you know, I have not seen this Kuching variant of whale, and is that because of the stiletto card?
Yes, so the way it's very funny. Kaching is
I don't
mainly
know.
there as a
Yeah,
way to
they all
generate
suck
free
into
cost
Will
load,
as
right? And
well.
Kevin
What's
Z
the
did
point?
bring that variant, so we may
Except
see it and come
Sayu.
up, a little bit later. But to
I mean,
explain
yeah,
the
except
general
Sayu, I
strategy
guess.
is
Sayu's
it's a
the
lot
only
more
one that's
reliant
like...
on whale burst. If you remember how the whale burst works,
Interesting.
it takes
It's
the
okay in the
highest cost
both
cards
Will
that's
and
valid,
Sino.
and
and-
uses that to the number of cards you've eaten,
It would-
basically to
Okay,
decide how many usages
against Sino,
of that burst come down. Now, if you played with the
it's
Animal
not that
Serpent
good, but it's
consecrated,
okay
decent
because you have
variant,
Herald.
you notice that burst
You
wasn't
can
always
still
very
mess
high,
with
because most of
Sino's
your
break
discards are
points
zero
and
cost.
potentially
And
win.
so with Kaching and the Stiletto and the makeup of the new deck, that burst gets up to like 10, 12 usages very, very quickly, and you're threatening much more damage on Whale throughout the late game.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Which one of the 5 cats in the trench coat answered that question?
We commune together very quick. The four
Collective
cats,
cat consciousness.
there are 4 cats that quickly figure out what to say, and then they pass it up to the one cat.
If
The head
you're...
cat.
No,
The head
if
cat. The head cat's like the spokesperson.
you're...
Well, we
If you're the
rotate
Sayu
around,
deck
you know, we
Interesting.
like to
against
play different
Sino,
colours.
Reminds me of
you
Serene,
start
which we're
Chong,
gonna
you
see
ramp
today,
8,
right?
the day I summon his
Serene is
Chong,
10
you
melts
swap
into the
Herald,
trench coat.
and then you
Which,
skill.
you know, speaking of that card, by the way,
Like,
so
it's actually a
Jane
very
being a
awkward start for
notorious
the
high
Sino deck if you do
roller
that.
brings
Like,
Serene, which is basically
and then you go to
gacha in a
Sayu,
card.
then
It
by
is.
then
I mean,
the
it's
Sino
a
deck usually has
good
no actions
gacha.
to
I've
interrupt
been
Sayu.
really
Especially for
looking
Whale.
forward-
And they
yeah,
don't even have
really
the Pyro
looking
app to
forward. Did I
do
bring
it,
my
so like
Susa?
you just go off
Well, you
R2.
know, I have one.
Your Herald,
Oh, you took it. Okay, there we go. Right,
Hmm?
so
No,
one
no,
of the premier
for-
cards for
oh
that
yeah,
whale
I
deck again
guess.
is Serene. The reason why she's run in that deck is because again,
I-
the deck wants
that's-
to draw a bunch of cards, and
it's 'cause
Serene's
his list-
actually very
I
good.
don't know, I wouldn't say
doing
it's the
that.
list
And
for...
she is random. but
Actually,
all the
no,
random
his
cards
list is very good
basically
for
count for 2
ramping A.
cards.
He
And
has
so
to
For the Whalebag
Yes,
doesn't
and
almost care
Wagner.
what you draw as long as there's a quantity that
Right.
yeah, that critical mass of cards that gets Whale up to those 20 stacks of the Devouring passive.
So you want to know why it's Serene as the Melusine in this card?
Please.
So
It's
I've
okay,
been doing
like,
some digging into
that's-
the lore of these Melusines.
That's not so.
Serene.
It's not
just,
that
you know,
good
she
for
gets her own
Kevin. Like,
support
why
card.
did?
In
It's not that
zero
good
cost,
for.
You get 2 food, right?
Yep.
Wait,
So if
It's
you
not that good for
speak to the
Ting,
different
sorry. Like,
Melusines in
skills of
Literacy
skill.
Village, they actually call her
Then what?
their big
You
sister.
do-
She
Oh,
takes
that's
care of everyone.
Oh,
so because she helps
five,
everyone else,
wait,
she gets a bunch of
six,
helpers.
six. You
so
do
that's
6
why
to
we
sign.
have Serene as the
Sure.
main card.
That's so cool.
It's cute, I think. It's cute.
cute.
And then she gets the food because
It
I guess
doesn't
that'll
matter. At the
make food
past
more
round
valuable,
3,
right?
their HP doesn't
You're gonna say
matter.
the
It's
rest
just
of
how
the
many
stack
hits
will
it
see
takes to
Yes,
kill.
yes. I'm gonna wait to
Alright,
see.
chat.
So it's
who
like, this
appears
damage doesn't
when
matter
Ting
at the
plays
start.
Serene. He has to play Serene. I hope he rolls it.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost certainly going to come up. Again, the deck draws through its deck very quickly, but we'll have to keep our fingers crossed. Can we get, and you people,
When he-
viewers at home, keep track
By
of
the
which
time he
Melusines
goes
to play.
back,
There are
it's
10
like
total.
he should
Once
be
they come up
killing
on screen, I will read
with
off the
Chong
names. You know,
already.
it's a bit
Like,
of a
it's just
trivia
the-
thing, if you can
the
remember.
endgame
Read
trading
off
now.
all the names.
You're never
As
living
they come up,
anything.
as they come up.
Oh, as they
And
come
like
up,
4
okay.
HP is just
Yeah, I
enough to
don't- you know,
live through
It's kind of like a
anything
bingo
Deya
card.
and
So,
Chef
like,
does.
So one way
Like,
you
hopefully
can tell
by
the
then
difference
Sino
between
should
the
be
different
dead.
support cards is by the cost.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's so many zero cost ones, you're
I
not
guess.
gonna know which one it is until it's played.
Yeah,
And I believe there's only 2 1 costs
Correct.
and 1 2 costs.
correct. Yeah.
Everything else is 0 cost. That's
Everything
7
else
0
is
costs.
Yeah, it's 7-0 cost, yeah. And the 0 costs are honestly some of the better cards as well. Now, obviously, once they're played, we'll immediately be able to tell which one
Serene
it
is
They're
OP.
very unique and different effects. Some of them
I
are RNG,
believe
some of
it.
them not. I think Mr. Pillow was one of the first players having that whale code through
Right,
to
yeah.
play one of those. Ooh.
Here we go, though. We just got the stage view, so I think they are finally getting ready to go into this game. Look at those poses, by the way. I love the energy from both these players. Both Ting and Kevin Z are very good friends behind the scenes, as is Robot Wizard, Jibu, these top 4 players. Even everyone in the top 8 just knows each other so well.
Yeah, and of course, our
Okay,
4
that's
players in the
rare.
upper bracket did,
Yes,
will
rare.
be taking 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th
It's
place.
not rank 8
Very
yet,
consistent
but
and capable
oh,
players.
But here we go.
That
This
sucks.
is game 1 of the grand finals, a best of
Never
7
mind.
between the best of the best, Ting and Kevin
Time
Z.
for some
You see
training?
the QR code on the screen? You can scan it and tell us what you think of
They're
our
both
great
trying to
show
rap
here.
it,
You
I
love the set, you love the
believe.
raffles, you love the casting. Make sure you make your voice heard by scanning that QR code. Additionally, the raffle should have started over on the Astro Carnival YouTube channel. If you're not there already, make your way on over there. You'll be entered into a raffle to win 1,000 primos if you follow the moderator's instructions. Make sure you're paying attention. Also, I
dice
do
doesn't
believe
matter
that
here.
our lovely moderator will be calling for a stop on when the raffle closes, so people can go back to discussing the game. So make sure you're paying attention to that
that's
too.
crazy
Yeah,
stuff,
this
by
was
the
a
way.
really good discussion. And you
Holy
and I
shit.
both were looking at the chat when we're not casting, of course.
What the fuck? This high
But people are
road?
really getting into it, and there are some really exciting games happening. And Ting already starting off with that Scorpion talent.
Serene!
Countdown,
Look, instant
Serene.
10.
Yeah,
The
War.
gacha has started.
What the
Gacha
heck?
has started. I mean, we'll probably.
There it
Yeah.
is. Okay, what is it?
Serene does take
Okay.
3
Zero cost.
rounds.
Ah.
Yeah,
We'll
we don't
never
know.
know
Serene does
until he
take
plays
3
it.
rounds to be fully utilized, of course, giving you a Melusine support
1 of
at
7.
the start of each round and when she is played. So getting that turn down round 1 is very important.
There's
because, of
2
course,
1
the Psychic
costs,
Charming Herald deck
so
isn't gonna
the
give
2
you
1
that
costs
many rounds.
are
We're probably gonna see this game
adding
end
2
around
random event cards to your hand or
around
copying 3 cards from the
round
top of your
3.
opponent's
Oh my
deck.
God. That was quite
And
a
then
touch of
there's one that's 2
Anyway,
unaligned,
so
which
I've been
is
staring at these
refresh the
players' heart rates
arcane.
right off the bat. They're
And
both above 100 here. The nerves are sky high. I just want to remind
It's
you all
refresh
of
the arcane and
prize
give you
pool
2
at
arcane
stake
cards.
today.
Yep.
So the
So
champion
it
will be
is.
taking home
You never want to see
16,000
that though. That one's like the
Second
worst one you
place
can
is
get.
8,000 USD. Jipu in 4th place taking home 3,800 USD, and Robot Wizard in 3rd taking 5,000. So the differences between those prizes is huge. There's so much at stake here. And
Oh.
also the title of being the champion of the Prince Cup Atlantic. That is so crazy.
Yeah, the bragging rights, of course,
Oh
are in full
my
effect. And we see Kevin Z
God.
with a very powerful turn. In fact, we're probably going to see a Golden House played down. Already off to a great start with both Wagner and Timaeus, the premier cards in this deck, drawing
This is
weapons and
awkward.
artifacts. But that Golden House is crucial.
You
was
just
expecting a
barely
weapon
don't have
equipment,
enough
no.
dice to play
Now
everything.
going for that skill. I
Okay.
wonder if Kevin Z feels like he needs to pick up the momentum a bit so that Whale doesn't build HP too quickly, especially since he doesn't know what Serene
I kind of
gave
hope
Ting.
Kevin like.
Yeah.
He's high roller, of
I was
course.
hoping he
I mean, you
just
almost
played the
can't predict it.
golden
All the
house and
effects,
equipped
again,
weapon before
roughly
skilling,
generate
and then
2
just
cards
letting
for
the
your
one
opponent.
dice
So
go.
you don't need to play around that much until they play it, and they can adjust your strategy accordingly. That's one of the things I love about the Serene card
I don't
is,
know.
yes,
You
it's
like
very
kind of
RNG,
float
but it doesn't
one, I
swing
guess,
the game
if you do
completely in
that.
one direction. It's a very effect you can calculate and play around.
There's another zero
don't
cost from
know.
Serene. Every turn,
You don't
Serene's gonna
want the
give
sword back
another
No.
well, basically like a support card.
Exactly.
You're like her companions.
They are her companions, yeah. It's actually very
Actually,
hard to manage your hand as the
Nah,
well.
this
Here we go.
sucks so much for
Which card? Is
Kevin.
that Topias?
No, that is Lutine.
That's Lutine.
That one's
It's Luigi.
the Q2
Look at Kevin Z, he
Q2.
knows.
It is Lutine. Oh no.
Can't
So,
take a smiling.
can you explain how this works?
Oh yes, yeah, of course. So Lutine draws you those 2 cards as I mentioned, but you see that status at the bottom of both Layla and
And then
Chongyun on
Kevin
Kevin's side.
take 4
Anytime they
damage.
use a skill, it will
I don't
do
think
either
that's
2
how you
damage
should
or
play the
heal that
card.
character
It's
for 2.
Oh
stupid.
no.
But it's completely random.
Look at Kevin Z's
He should have
reaction.
waited
He's
one
smiling,
action to
the most
play, I
expressive
swear.
we've seen him so far, honestly. His
Look.
pulse is skyrocketing. He knows this is now a gamble. And when it
For Ting,
comes
yeah. I mean, at least he's -1
to
and Kevin
RNG,
is
Ting
full.
is always on top here.
Yeah, it is very much a gamble. It is a 50-50 basically. You
Like
have to flip
Kevin
a
can
coin to
never
see,
win
do
the
you lose
50-50
2 or
here.
gain 2?
He
So,
can only
a bit
lose
about
it,
Lutine,
right?
by the way, as
Ting
a
can somewhat
Melisade.
win it,
So
like if you
she
want.
is
So
someone who cooks. You'd think she would get the food cards, right?
She's Ting.
She's Ting. She's also Kevin Z. Kevin Z cooks too. But you would think that she would get the food cards, right?
if
But
you
she
wanted to
doesn't
greedy, could have
because
swapped Scorpion
she cooks
before playing
Melusine
it.
specialties.
Okay.
And if you
Then
remember
you get
from the
max
Artful
value,
quest,
heal 2.
what
You can
Sichuan
get the
was
50-50
giving
by
to
opponent
people
though.
was not really
That's it.
normal people food, right? So there is a chance that it could heal you, or I
Yeah,
guess
like-
there's a chance it
yeah,
could
now he
poison
just-
you. So it's
Wow.
plus or minus.
You
2
look stupid
health.
if Kevin hits
Okay.
you, which Kevin should.
That's quite.
I
I had
think.
no idea about that. So thank you, Leah, for providing that
Well.
more. I really look forward to hearing about all those Melusines, by the way. So I hope we see
I
them.
hope
all.
that's a different one.
Okay, so that's one out of 10.
That is 1 out of 10.
All right, we are well on our way. Now, Kevin Z is a very interesting decision. I saw him hold onto that weapon. So he did have a free weapon equipped last round
Yeah.
with the Golden House plus Wagner that he just played. I believe what he might be doing.
I
this
don't
is a
like this
matchup
swap
where
from
Whale can get
Ting,
her hand very
but I'd
quickly.
rather force Kevin to
Sack
like.
Sword?
Yeah, I was expecting. So with that second
Like,
Wagner and Golden House, he will.
If
actually
he
have a
if he
draw
swaps
towards
Herald,
Gravestone. So
then
I
you
think this
swap
is-
Scorpion. Whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
Look at him shaking his head. He's like, "Ah." So
Of course.
he lost the gamble.
Alright.
There's a veteran's visage on Whale.
Oh.
And what is this?
Oh, okay. So that's the
Weapons,
2
which one's
weapons
that?
one.
2 weapons is gonna be.
So he wants another 3
Casantiana.
cost to line 3 up.
Santiana.
Yeah.
All right. So the only thing I have on her is that she's a gardener. She grows exotic flowers. I
Okay.
don't know what that has to do with weapons.
That's
Garden tools
another
can be
3
used as
cost,
weapons,
but he doesn't have
probably.
That
another.
is, huh?
Yeah, so that was actually
He also
so
did
one of the
not
reasons,
play
and that is actually a
Lab.
very good card for Well Deck. Now, obviously, the weapons, 2 of those characters cannot equip weapons.
I
That's
don't
not why
know.
you
Could have
want
been
to
2
play that
stacks
card.
right now.
Lots of weapons are 3-cost cards, and again, tuning and
How
discarding
do you?
3 costs.
You don't.
is
I
the
mean, you don't
name
have to
of the
play the
game
lab
for this deck.
immediately
Now,
because you
unfortunately, Ting did
can
kind of
easily get
lowroll
it to
that a little
9.
bit by grabbing a 2-cost weapon in cash
So it's
flow
like-
supervision.
It's
Now,
not that big of a
luckily, he will
rush.
be able to
Like
tune
you
that or
can.
discard that
Okay,
along with
like
other
Ting
2 costs,
can
but
like
you have to
greed
time
the
it
lab here,
very
so he
carefully.
can
Now,
do
if you're not
Dunya
familiar with Whale,
Tameus
understand
this
Whale very
round,
much.
and
True.
then
Okay, go on.
Sunyata
Works is
Dunya
any
next
time
round,
you tune, as we're
and
seeing
then
now,
play
or
lab for
discard a
0.
card, you
It's
see those,
okay.
that number ticking
Like,
up
it's
underneath
not
Scorpion.
horrible.
Once you hit 3, depending on if
Okay.
you did 3 matching, the cost of the 3 cards you tuned, you
The
get
cost-
different amounts of HP.
So yeah, if you tune 3 cost things, you will
Scorpion
gain 3 health
skill,
on Whale.
then
If you tune
Kevin
3 2 cost things, you'll still
Subside.
gain 3 health on Whale.
Yes,
If you
they have to
tune
match.
2
It is
3
why I
cost
don't
things
like
and then a
this
2
line
cost
from
thing,
Ting.
you will gain 2
He
health
could have
on
just
Whale.
stayed on
So
Layla,
you
right?
have
Force
to make
Kevin
sure
to like
that
swap.
the numbers align. It's
Or
a math
just
game.
It is
waste
fun.
an action
Mathematician
reapplying
of things.
cryo.
He did, yeah. So he may be very adept at playing this deck. And again, it's so important you manage your discards
has
and
to,
costs
I think.
correctly because
But
every
how else do you
HP
do
matters
this?
in specifically this
He could
matchup,
always
right?
swap back. That's
With
also
Sayu
fine.
probably eventually getting a Wolf's Gravestone, the longer
found
you can keep Whale above 7.
Oh, what's it gonna be?
Oh,
What's it gonna be? What, is he gonna heal or take
Fucking high
damage?
roller. Oh my god.
This game, you high roll. Kevin's reaction here.
This is severe emotional damage already inflicted by Ting right in round 2 of game 1. This is how you start a best of 7.
There's still one shot left for Kevin Z. You could back
He would have been such a.
The best
It would have been
case scenario is
significant.
that,
He was.
Lu
He
Ting
just.
rolls Luton for
Oh
you.
my.
If you take 2 damage now, as long as you hit 2, but here is the really scary thing.
I
Kevin
believe
Z
this
has to take a
guy.
gamble. If he attacks again on Chong Yun,
No,
he could be
Kevin's
brought
never
to 3
attacking on
HP and
Chong Yun
lose
there.
immediately to a Scorpion skill.
And he does not. He's an unlucky roller. He brought the
Yeah.
unlucky
And
roller
this
attack.
sucks.
Yeah, he's not taking that risk.
Okay.
You know, he does not want to take that gamble because if it goes poorly for him, he will just lose the game on that spot, losing that weapon equip on Chong Yun as well as 3 energy.
Noticing after Kevin Z swapped to Sayu, Ting swapped over to Whale, who does
Mm-hmm.
not have
This
the
is
cryo
so
aura
awkward
on.
for
He
Kevin.
does not want Sayu to be swirling
Oh my
anything
God.
here.
Yeah, but
And there's the Sapwood Great Sword. What is going to be?
oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
So
but
I was
then you
expecting more
miss out on
gravestone, but,
the.
you know, I
No.
think
Oh,
this is
at
the
least he
correct play
didn't.
One more
because
dice.
At least he
one more
didn't
dice, you
take
know your
two.
opponent probably isn't going to, you know, get you under the threshold for Wolf's Gravestone. So in that case, both Sapwood and Gravestone are the same effectively.
They are, but Ting is swapping over from Whale onto Layla. Just basically swap stalling it out. Kevin Z with that, basically, so the passive of any Sapwood weapon. You normal attack, you get 2 dice back, corresponding to the character you normal attacked on with a Sapwood equipped. It's a one-time effect, and it has to be in the
What
round
is
that
he
you
gonna
played
do with his
Sapwood
last
in.
2
He
dice?
got those 2 animal dice, and now he can go for the skill.
Oh wait, what was that? Hang on, we missed the effect. Okay, it must have been healing.
It must have been healed because Sayu didn't take damage.
Okay, but here's the thing. Sayu was already at 10, so Kevin Z lost out on those 2 points of healing.
He did.
So he's down 2 HP to Lutin, and that can matter so much. Breakpoints are everything in this matchup. In fact, Chongyun being at 5
I don't know about
instead of
playing
7
Gilded there. It's
puts him
like,
in
sure, you get the
range
one
of
draw,
Whale's
but
skill
now
further down
what?
the line. Once Whale gets up to 12 stacks, that skill does do 5
We
damage
could have
at base,
held
and
it.
would have been safe at 7, but no longer at 5.
Swab over to Herald to finish things off for Kevin Z. And we are going into the next round here.
Okay,
Round
Ting
3.
has to
This is
die.
always a crucial round for these faster decks. We're basically going to be able to determine who will come out on top just by how this
Yeah,
ends, basically.
it's
This round.
important card
Yeah.
to
Even if
have
the game
now.
doesn't end. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Kevin
this is
this
gonna be the crucial
round
round. You know,
is
Ting has
looking
done a
to
good
stop
setup
Ting
on
from
Well.
just winning on
has
the spot.
got up to effective 11 total HP on Well. So now Well is ready probably to take the field as a character. But of course, oh, it's a one cost. Okay, could be
So
only
that
one
could
of 2
be
things.
Selassie or
Canotila.
Canotila.
Those are the 2 1 costs.
So either you're copying 3 cards from the opponent's
Yes.
deck, or you get 2 resonance cards, both of which are really strong for Ting, I
Resonance.
think.
Yes, the 1 cost
I
ones
guess.
are particularly strong. The event cards particularly, I do want to point out, they're not completely random. The event cards pool you draw
Serene.
from is always a resonance effect, meaning it could be
Oh!
hydro resonance, cryo
Zero
resonance, or
cost.
Play
second.
the other Serene got a 0
Second
cost
Dunya.
there.
Okay. Ting maintaining his title as the
Okay.
highlight
It's
maker.
gonna tune
of
3
GITCG
costs
by
here, and
playing
then
all
probably
of these
Sunyata
cards.
There's
Dunya.
a lot going on right now, by the way. So things
Yeah.
are being
I don't know why he
discarded
didn't
all over the
Sunyata
place.
first,
And
but
that
whatever.
Fontaine Research Institute, it's called Laboratory Ruins. It is building up stacks
Okay,
as things are discarded.
that
Wow, wait, this is
sucks,
Kusama.
kind
That was
of.
from Sunyata.
Yeah, Sunyata, of course, another way to generate additional cards here, but also used for that 1
What
cost.
one
discount.
cost
You
that
see a lot of the
Kevin have in his
companions, of
deck?
course, now
Strat?
are discounted by 1.
But it's not a
We
card you
didn't
want to
see what
tune.
Ting chooses to play. Kusava could actually come up. You know,
It
you're
could for Will.
yeah, you're
What
a
is
deck
this
that-
one?
oh,
What is
Okay,
this?
oh wait, okay, no, that
Oh,
works out then.
Resonance. Okay,
Those are two
that's
of the best
Canotila.
ones.
Wait, that's Dendro.
Hydro
So
Res
Dendro Res
helps.
is applicable for any
Dendro
elemental
Res-
reaction,
We'll talk
right?
about that later. Let's get to your Melusine fact. Who is Canotilla? Tell us.
So
about
Canotilla, she's by the Book of Esoteric
I
Revelations.
mean,
She's in
WGS is
that,
never
she studied the
proccing on
Narcissus
Will.
points.
Oh my god, you are
Doomsday
the one cost
Prophecy,
artifact.
basically. She's a huge part of that quest line.
Okay.
She's awesome.
So now he has
Studies, meditating,
that,
and
Kusava,
everything.
and
Also, she
Dunya.
kind of, we had to save her.
He needs to
Yeah,
tune the
but
3
I'm
cost
sure
first,
those-
yeah,
that
okay,
meant
and
a
then you can
lot
do
to
3
those
1
who have been
costs.
playing and following the lore closely as TCG
If
players.
he
That was a lot of words, but
Yeah.
we also saw a
He
second.
just needs to
another
choose
Melusine
one of
actually.
Hydro
So far
Res
we have
or
not duplicated
Dendro
any, but
Res.
that was Laume.
That was Laume. So
Yeah.
0 cost generates 2 artifacts. Well, she's sending me a journalist and she's creating her own Melusine newspaper.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay.
Nice and short.
All right. Not sure what to make of that one, but unfortunately, getting a 1 and a 2 cost again, not what you want. You
is
really want
Hydro
those
Res
3
better
costs
than
because that is
Dendro
what
Res?
powers up Whale Burst. As soon as you tune one single 3 cost card, that burst only cares about 3 cost cards going forward. But yeah, anyway, there was been so much action. So a couple of things. Let's back up a little bit. First of all, we saw Ting keep
Wait,
bad
no,
dice
no,
at the
no.
start of this round
That's because he's tuning for
yes,
whale
I mean,
HP.
Omni is
tune
easy.
cards,
You
so
get it
if
from
his
him.
dice are
Wait, he
too
doesn't have to
good,
tune either of
can't
those.
do
He could
this.
have done
And as he tunes
Dunya
cards,
Kusawa and the
that
Artifact.
laboratory
That's
rune
stupid.
stacks go up every interval of 3, so 3, 6, and 9. You get 1 Omni dice. 2 more cards, he gets an Omni dice. So
Yeah, and really the only thing he has to avoid is a sweep on Sayu. But honestly,
did he
Sayu
tune?
not having a
I
equipped Wolf
didn't-
Gravestone, Ting is pretty confident that he will not see it now for at least another round until Wagner goes up to 2 stacks.
there's 2 things here, so he's gonna take damage here. Or heal.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
what is this guy? Look at Kevin Z's reaction. He's shaking his head. How does he get healed twice in a row? Also, speaking of healing, he has a Hydro Resonance in hand, which is going to heal him some more.
Oh
This
my
is
god.
the Ting high roll, well, mid roll.
Mid-roll.
This is just a mid-roll
This is
for
just
him.
a Tuesday for Ting. That's unbelievable.
He's
so he's trying to heal 4 extra
cheating.
HP. And
What
again,
the-
the Sayu deck needs to pressure the Whale deck before Whale gets up to that 12 stacks, before it can take the field and just chunk for so much damage. And with 4 extra HP and these Layla shields are now going down, it is going to be so hard.
There's the Liar's Song. Kevin Z pulling back that Gilded,
Gilded
re-equipping it
eating
onto
Golden
Herald,
Husk. So
generating 2
bad.
dice there. And there's the prepared skill, freezing Layla. So here's the thing about this.
Kevin's
Look
hand
at Ting's
sucks,
hand,
dude.
that most right card. It's
Ta-da.
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 So how can he use that in this matchup here?
I mean, okay, yeah, so Tada, if you're not familiar, is one of the new cards added 0 cost. We've seen it quite a few times. Ting loves to bring this card, by the way.
It's
We've seen
fun.
it in a lot
It's
of cards.
great.
It deals 1 physical damage to your active character and then draws a card at the end of the round, which sounds awful.
He does.
But the way it works is you can break freeze with it. If Ting played it now on Layla, she would take 3 damage, but can immediately break out of freeze. Now, we're probably not going to see it played now because that's going to
Yes.
be for Whale.
Yes.
Whale is a character that's going to have a lot of HP, but be very vulnerable to freeze.
Yes. And like, so the thing with Whale, if you
Oh.
freeze lock
Doing
Whale,
Tadano.
it's next to impossible to do anything. You basically lose the game, even if Whale's at like 20 million HP. And so, this is why you bring that Tada card, especially for Whale. Look at him tuning 3 cards, all of the same cost to get those 3 health. Oh, and there's a Tada! Whale's broken free!
There is Tada, yeah. Felt a little
One
bit
of the
early, but it looks
resonances
like
are
Ting
gonna
is gonna
pull.
go for that flip on Herald. Oh no!
It's probably gonna get
Wait,
both,
no!
actually.
The Hydro Res!
Okay.
You probably should have played it.
Kevin just
He
needs to
could've
live
played it
this
if he won
round.
dice off.
I
Honestly,
swear.
it's possible
But how do you
Dendro
do
Resonance might be
it? It's so
better in this matchup now,
impossible.
because Dendro Resonance works on any reaction. So a surprise hit on Sayu might be more valuable than... Oh, it's gonna get discarded now anyway,
His
though.
skill doing -5, by the way, yeah, it gets discarded anyway. Every time Whale does a skill, will discard the highest cost card in your hand. But because Whale has gained 15 HP overall,
Man.
if you divide that by 3, and that's how much your skill's going to do.
Actually,
Yeah. Although this is a really precarious situation for Ting. Now, Ting's hand
Winnable?
is now
Question
completely
mark?
empty. There are no
Probably
more
not.
cards for Whale to eat. Obviously, very powerful already at 15 stacks, which effectively means Whale is a 20 HP character. But Kevin Z has a window. This is his window to basically deal enough damage to Whale that Ting cannot safely go back onto Whale for quite some time.
I think Ting has to swap
Skill
over
does
to
5
Layla, who
here,
does not have an elemental
right?
aura.
hmm
I think that is what Ting needs to
Ting
do
would
here.
probably
But
swap the
Kevin Z
Layla.
does have
We
at
can
least
Gamblers,
2 actions. Is there
reskill.
any way to generate more actions on the side of
Kevin's
Z? I
hand
feel
is
like
so
no.
bad.
There's
Look
no
at the
Boar
hand.
Princess.
No, there's no Boar Princess. There is a Timaeus that could draw something, but again, without a Golden House, you cannot usually utilize Timaeus on the round that is played.
There's that free Gamblers, but it wouldn't generate another action, right? Unless you take out 2 characters.
Exactly.
Ooh, swap over onto Chongyun.
Yeah,
mean,
this thing,
Ting just
Chongyun
sucks
is the one with
Scorpion
another
at this
sacrificial
point.
greatsword. So swapping in this way protects Sayu and allows
Okay.
Kevin Z to basically get
Really?
another die with
I
a
think
single
Layla-
gear off
no.
that sacrificial greatsword.
I
Just
think
make good
Layla
use
is
of the
more
weapons
important than
as much as he can,
Scorpion.
because really he's behind. He's behind 4
Yeah.
HP.
You get
from looting,
HP,
and then
you get
another 2 from taking
the
the piercing
Layla
damage.
burst to
You know,
help
Kevin Z's deck is
freeze.
supposed to be
You get-
aggro. It is
you
aggro.
just need
It's supposed to do so
HP
much
as
damage so
team,
fast.
like,
That's why Jibu
that's what
banned
Layla
it
is there for.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Did not want to face against it. Would rather face against the Sino Crab
Mhm.
from Kevin Z. But yeah, this is really hard. He's already this far behind. That Whale is not to be messed with.
Yeah, but really the danger here for Ting, again, his hand is empty, so Whale's going to have a hard time getting more cards. This is not the position you want to be in the Whale deck. It's very good at drawing out your cards, but if you don't get your card drawing quite the right order, you can get into the situation. So now Ting actually needs quite good dice rolls next round to continue
Is Kevin
generating
thinking
dice
about
and damage on
ramping?
Whale.
That timer ticking down. Kevin Z even tuned a card
Yeah.
just for that timer to extend just a little more. Hear it going down. What is he going to do?
It's almost
He
like
actually has
somebody
two
skill,
actions here.
that will build up to
Okay.
Chongyun's burst.
There's
And
dice.
he has a sacrificial greatsword, so that will refund
If he played
additional
that
dice.
at the
That
start
seems
of
like
this
the best
round,
play
it was 2
in
more
this situation.
dice.
Now, of course, he has to be thinking, does Ting have a quick swap effect to go onto Whale and then one-shot Chongyun? But with Ting only with one card,
I actually wonder if Kevin Z is just thinking about ending first, and that's why he's
If
taking
you
so
were
long to make
ramping,
his
you would have
decision. He
just
does have that leave-in
skilled and then
in hand.
Lipen.
There's a chance that he doesn't skill here.
Oh
Yeah, there's the
god.
leave-in, replacing that Dunyarzad. And I think those dice are just gonna go to leave-in. He does not want Ting to have turn prio. Doesn't matter if he swings now or later. There we go.
yeah, the turn priority is interesting here. Obviously, doing damage on
Wait,
Layla
he gets
doesn't
prio.
really matter at
Actually,
this
that
point. Layla's
matters.
already got her skill down, and she's really there for that utility. Ooh.
Why did I say Hunter?
Okay, and if you have been keeping track, the last 2 cards discarded to Whale was a 1
cost.
Yeah, 2 1 cost. So Ting does not have another 1 cost to discard, so not going to get maximum efficiency out of that Whale.
We'll see, because
Oh,
Serene
true.
is
It's
still
3
out
base
there.
plus 1
What?
EC.
Love that.
What support
That's the
card are
start,
we gonna
yeah.
get this time? I have my Mellow Scene notes ready to go.
I mean, Ting's really actually have to rely on that. This is...
Okay.
He's already been blessed by RNG, but now he needs a little bit more.
Okay, it's a
we don't
0
know.
cost.
0 cost
We have
usually-
no idea what this is.
Yeah, but they usually will at least be able to draw 2 cards minimum. Now, the
Right.
one scary card for Kevin Z
I
would
think
be
once a
Tokias.
1
Yes,
cost.
but I saw Ting smiling a little bit
That's
when he drew
Kevin
it, so
Booth.
I'm wondering if it's a good card. I'm really wondering. I'm watching his player cam intently right now. He's so stoic most of the time,
Mhm.
but I want to see it played. I hope it's something that will benefit him.
No, I think the one
Wondering
Ting
one
wants
thing as
right
well,
now
you
is
see
the
HP life
random
totals on
discard.
Kevin Z's side. Every character is
Discard
below
or draw.
5, which is crucially how much damage
Why
a
is Kevin-
skill from Whale will do.
Is
There's
this
the Liar
correct?
song because it's the first card played.
Able the
Discounts by
top?
2.
Possibly.
Heart of Kavarina onto Herald. Strategize, drawing out Boar Princess. It's going to be very important here with all those artifacts in hand. Now the question is, what does Kevin Z want
Why
to
did
do
Kevin
with
even
all
liar
this
to
dice
start?
generation that he has?
He doesn't have
Yeah,
to.
it's very tricky
The
here.
Maze was 2 stacks,
I mean,
3
it looks like with that
stacks.
hard equip on Herald, we are going to see a
There's
swap
Boar
onto Herald.
Princess.
I think what Kevin Z wants to do is stall out this turn as long as possible and force Ting to use up his dice. You know, he doesn't have a laboratory ruins on the field to generate extra dice. He's down to only 5 cards in hand, and I say only because that's actually pretty
He can still
unusual
freeze
for a
well,
Whale deck.
because
Golden Troop
I think
replacing the
Tada
Heart of
should be a
Kavarina. Maybe
1-off.
we don't
It's
see a swap
usually a
here.
1-off.
Oh, wait. Okay, so Guild replacing the Golden Troop. This is using up both stacks of Boar
This is
Princess.
crazy.
Countdown to the show,
Okay.
turning
Wow.
everything into Omni. Draws out that Herald talent.
Yeah.
That's so important. I think we're going to see it go
Talent-
down. Second
talent
Boar
matters,
Princess
yeah.
being played.
Herald talent matters quite
Yeah,
a
almost
bit.
certainly. Herald Talent very devastating
Here
against
goes.
Whale. And in fact, this could be really tricky.
Mhm.
Ting only has 8 dice this round, and he didn't roll enough Hydro to really skill twice on Whale with that Herald debuff. Of course,
It's very
increasing all skills
winnable.
by an
Hold on.
elemental die. Now, it's not only an extra die, but you have to remember it's an extra Hydro die, most importantly. And when you're running low on cards, that can really add up.
How do the blocks work in this patch? I know that the Consecrated Beasts have
Yeah.
not been played so much these days.
The blocks
because
just
of the
discard.
changes. However, we do see Scorpion here, so
Yeah.
blocks help him.
The blocks work the same way with the one caveat. They no longer give energy to Scorpion. So Scorpion's burst is not going to be able to rush down.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, it's another Lutein.
It is another
Oh, he got a 1
Lutein.
cost. Oh
Okay.
my god.
Oh, wait, gets a 2 and a 1 cost. Look at Kevin Z's reaction. Will getting 3 HP because Drew, the other
Oh, it's
Scorpion
the thing
talent, not
again.
needed to
Uh-oh.
play, gets tuned it.
It's the heal
Yeah,
2
I
again.
think Kevin Z.
She lost it, I
There's
swear.
Layla's burst, bringing Herald down.
Wait, I don't.
then
This
starting
doesn't
at-
feel
Oh,
right
yeah.
for Kevin,
Literally
man.
bringing Herald down.
Okay, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Because there's a heal or a
Hmm?
damage. Kevin Z doesn't want to
Oh,
find out.
Oh, no.
If the healing, that could put the game out of reach. Because Layla at 7 is so scary for him right now. If it's 2,
Oh my god.
it goes down.
And also, when Kevin Z does his
No,
own
both are
action, he's
good.
going
Doesn't
to
matter if
take
Layla
for-
goes down at
Mhm.
this
He's going to
point.
take either healing or damage.
It almost doesn't matter though because of the breakpoints. Actually,
Both
healing for
healing
Kevin Z would be really
And
good
damage
really
is good
bad
for
Ting
Ting.
right now.
It's the funny
But
thing.
Kevin Z needs to figure out what to play around. Does he play around a
Oh
heal?
my god.
There's
Oh!
how 3 times in a row, Ting. This is why he's the God Slayer.
Ting winning 3 50-50s back to back. Kevin Z losing his first one, but he won the second one on a 10 HP Sayu. So he is now down 8 total.
Oh, it's just so
HP.
shit
That's a
for
full
Kevin.
character.
Oh.
They're living up to the standards they've set for
There's no way.
themselves. Ting coming in with sheer confidence, knowing he's a
I
notorious
mean,
high roller,
that-
and he's high
Oh
rolling.
my
Kevin's-
god. Oh my god.
That is 10. That now it is
Honestly,
an entire
it didn't matter at this point.
That is
It's just
so
whatever.
devastating. Kevin Z. This is.
Kevin Z taking the tag unlucky roller
Yeah.
and showing why he did.
Oh my god. This is devastating.
I guess no,
mean,
no, it
again,
matters.
What a way to start off. This is going to be a best of 7. Kevin Z,
is, yeah,
I don't know
I
how
agree.
you recover
For
emotionally,
Ting, no,
mentally.
it
from
matters
this
because
sort of beating, because it is.
I guess
We were talking
no,
about
the
Robot Wizard and
it
Geo
like
after their
healing. If
sets,
if
and
Kevin got
they touched on
healing,
that
is
after
a
their
lot
first
worse
game
for
as well.
Ting.
It's so easy. It is so easy.
It is so easy. What are we
Alright.
drawing here?
But the
for Ting?
damage is like
Yeah, a block being played, discarding a
Sure.
massive
17
thing.
health.
Yeah, so I think Ting's
I
plan
mean,
at this point
okay,
is
to
gonna
be
stay
fair,
on
when
Layla
Ting played
and
it, it
try
was
and
like,
shield and
even
delay.
if he
He's
took damage,
so
it was
ahead
still
right
good
now.
for him.
Oh no, it's
Like,
gonna
it was like
go away.
He can
whatever.
skill,
Yeah.
and then it will take that countdown and
Yeah.
discard it. It's 3
Wow.
cost. Because
Yeah.
he just tuned the Marshall say.
Yep.
Hunter.
And you can tune the 2 blocks as well
Well,
if you need to.
He wants to find
Yeah.
one more 3 costs, I think. But there's Chungin's burst. Bring Will down.
Healing. Actually, that's really important because now with the
That is so
healing,
important,
I
dude. If he
believe
took
it burst
damage
on the
there,
front,
it
he'll
was
still go
so
down to a
over.
skill. I mean, I think it's too little, too late.
Oh, this is.
Okay,
yeah, it's too
can
little too
Sayu
late.
win
Unfortunately,
here?
Ting only gonna
Mhm.
heal 2 here, but I mean,
Wait,
he's had
wait.
enough healing this round. There
She
is
might
the
need to
Will
heal, yeah.
burst, and this
what
is
number?
going to deal piercing damage to
Oh
Sayu.
my
Okay, actually kind
god.
of low. And again, I think this is why the Scorpion
Dude,
version
this
is a little
sucks.
bit
He has to
less
do one more
effective.
action
Wait,
on
did we heal
Chong.
or damage? We didn't see. I think
Heal.
it was a heal
It was a
again.
heal.
He
It was
has
a
to
heal.
do one
Are
more
we
damage.
serious?
Yeah,
He
it
has
was a
to go
heal.
on Chong
I was
again.
wondering what he healed from, and then yeah, it was Latine.
Ting just won 4 50-50s back to back. Chat, who do you know that is that lucky? Who has won? Who do you know that you hate has won 4 of their 50-50s
Kevin doesn't
back
have
to
enough
back? That
dice.
is
Oh
something right now.
god.
Something we should point out about Ting, it's not just luck that helps him win. He knows how to use his luck
Okay.
to his advantage. He's a very high-level
okay,
player. He was
I said that at the beginning. Not this game. Not this game. This game was 100% a
Oh,
Melusine RNG
no.
victory. There was nothing.
Dude, he would
Grace-
actually
there
have
was
like he
nothing
actually could
Kevin
have
Z
won
could have
if it was
done
like
in the
better
face
Melusine
of that
luck.
kind of RNG. Team
my
looking
God.
calm and composed. This is what he expected.
I'm having a day watching these player
This
cams.
is so
I
dumb.
feel so bad for Kevin
No,
Z in
Kevin
this
could
game. I
actually
really
have
hope
won
that
if
he'll get the
Melusine
time
was not
when we get to
griefing
the
that
second game.
hard.
He's going to
What the
compose
heck?
himself
He needs to.
and not get tilted from this
Needs
first
to.
game. It's going to be so crucial here.
Oh my god, what a way to
Wait, what is
start.
this?
Th-
It's what is that?
that would have been Topius. That was Topius.
So
You got
Tobias is a
healing
musician.
every single
Plays
time.
the contarb. Also wants to play a song from Mirror. But here we go. Ting taking the first game here
Oh
in this
my
best of 7
God.
grand finals.
What is
How
this?
did you high roll that?
Okay, can we talk about a different
Okay,
high
the
roll as well?
first one was fine and the third one was like fine as
Literally
well. Like
only doubled
those
up
were
on
like
routine.
moments
Every other
where
Melusine that he rolled as well
he
was a
played
different
to his
Melusine.
like
And Lutine worked in his favor.
Yep.
he
Yep,
played
so we
it
have 5
whenever it.
Melusines down.
it
That
could
was an
never lose.
unbelievable game. What a way to start this best of 7. And again, the sheer emotional damage suffered by Kevin Z here.
We were talking about how Ting's first game yesterday
Yes.
would not be beaten today, and it's already beaten. We can watch the highlights here again.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, again, that other game against Robert was in game 1. He did get very lucky in a
It
different
made it
way
easier
at
for
playing
him,
around that.
yes.
This was
But
not
the first
planned.
and the-
This was just, on average, Lutine will just be net 0. You'll heal
Right,
2,
yeah.
down 2. But being able to heal 8,
Uh,
that's just crazy. That's crazy.
This is very
yes.
crazy, and I really feel for Kevin here. There is nothing
Kevin
you can
lost
do
6
when something like
HP
this happens.
and then healed
This isn't
2.
every game. I just want to
So
point
he
out,
lost
you know,
4.
RNG is definitely a factor in Geniusification TCG, but
Right.
it is not every game. Kevin Z proving it. He's making it to the
Yeah.
grand finals as someone who
God.
prefers to play decks that completely eliminate RNG, or at least, make it as little of a factor as possible. He prefers consistency. That's why he's gotten so far. That's why so many players respect him.
Yeah.
But Ting!
Yeah, Lutine is probably Kevin Z's worst enemy. I mean, just imagine Ting having 8 less HP here and Kevin Z having even more. Like, it still is probably very favorable for Ting, and that's why this deck is so scary. But it's just so much closer. He wouldn't be able to do the moves that he did without that extra buffer, right? The extra health on Layla, let him stay on Layla longer, generate more shields, get that burst out, take out Herald. Whereas if he was
Would he
just
have killed
down
Will there with
2 or 4
wolves?
HP,
No, he was
he
one
would
short.
not have those same plays available because he'd be at risk of losing one of his characters.
He was
But
one
here
short.
is
No,
the
no, no. As in
updated
like,
deck
if
selection for these
Ting
two
got the
players.
damage, he was still one
the
short.
TCG got
So
Kevin Z up against Ting, the very aggressive player and professional top decker. So this being open deckless conquest
It's just
format,
mental
Ting will
damage.
not be able to play that whale deck going forward. We might be saying goodbye to Serene. I don't think it's going to be in any of his other decks.
Looking
Well,
at it, no.
he
We're
has
probably not
Mew to
considering
beat
one more
the
opportunity, of course,
crab.
with Kevin Z's whale deck as well. He may choose that to try and turn the tables, like try and go for his own RNG, but maybe that is a very daunting
Okay,
idea
Ting
for
has.
Kevin Z, who
I think
just
Mew
again
does
will
pretty
roll
decently
so
in the
badly.
whale.
Speaking of
So does
winners, we
Sayu,
have
as we
our
saw.
raffle winners. If you see
Even
your
though
UI
he
down
high rolled
below.
his way out of it.
Congratulations, you have also won along with our professional top decker Ting. Sorry,
Yes,
I
he
am
would.
reeling
I'm
over that
pretty
game.
sure
If
if
you'd like
his
to enter
loot in
our
was
next
like
raffle,
-2,
make your way
-2,
over to the
+2, he would have
YouTube
lost.
channel and follow the moderator's instructions there. I
Right.
believe it is let's go the player you want to win or you think
Ting
is
would
going
have
to win, and
lost
you're
if he
joining
didn't
in
high
that
roll
same
loot team.
message.
Like
You'll be
if he
entered into
average
a
roll loot
raffle to
team
win
like
1,000
net
Hero
0,
gems, and that raffle will
he would
be
have lost.
happening every single game that we have here. So you better hope that this grand finals goes to the 7th game. You better hope that it's epic and fun. I mean, it already is.
It is, yeah, that was, again, what a way to start the series, and I'm just in disbelief.
Also, we have our QR code down here.
You
Make
can't
sure you're
keep
following
getting
the official
away with
Astra social
this.
account. Stay up to date on when we're going to be casting, when you can sign up for the next
It's a good
tournament and make
card.
your way to the big stage. There's so much at stake here. You see how much fun these players are having,
Yeah.
and use that QR code as well to give us your feedback. You know, have your voice be heard. Tell us what you think about what we're doing here. We really, really appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, if it's your first time tuning in, this is Competitive Genius Vacation TCG. We're at the grand finals. One of these two
Serene is
players
overpowered
will walk away
because it's
with
paired with whale.
$16,000 in prize money.
So much. The total prize pool, of course, being 60,000 USD.
Yeah.
Second place is 8,000. That is half of first place. There is so much at stake for these two players on stage right now.
And if you're watching at home, if you think you can roll higher than Ting here on stage, you can too participate to be eligible for these, because these all qualify through Cat's Tail Gathering.
You need Ting to do viewer polls for you. Anyway, here we go. Looks like Ting is going with Mew. What a classic deck, the
Very.
Mona Eula Wanderer. This was one of the first iterations of this Hydro Cryo Animo core, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It was very, when Wanderer was
Wait.
first released, people quickly figured out the power of that Hydro Swirl into Cryo. And look at the deck list, it's very similar. We do have 2 countdowns now in here, which again is a new addition since this deck was first built.
And one copy of Ta-da!
Ta-da! Yeah, you can't go home without it. Oh, you can't leave home without it.
Well, hopefully Ting's not going home with it.
Yeah, yeah. Tada, of course, very good at breaking freeze, and I think Kevin Z has like 2 freeze deck, right? That Kazuha deck. Also, that Whale Cube deck can also freeze.
Let's see what it is.
Oh.
It is, wow, this is the Cookie Shinobu variation of Finale. If you're unfamiliar with Finale, it was very popular during the Asia Invitational. Finale, of course, for Fischl, not for Nahida,
Yeah, the 10
and
minutes
Lee
ahead
for
was,
Linny.
yeah.
And, you know, Linny is the star of the show in this
Yeah.
deck. It is his deck, and what is his voice line again?
Huh? You're quizzing me on like
Yeah, I am.
knowledge? Anyway, moving on to the cards. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Kevin Z play this deck quite a lot. He's the only player to bring this. And again, that Electro Dendro Pyro combination, very famous as a mid-range deck, just very value-oriented, Chef Mao food, efficient at dealing damage and very reaction heavy. Personally, I'm not super confident in this deck. You know, Kevin Z has lost a few games. It does have its bad matchups.
You know, Kevin Z decided to take it even though it has lost some games. I think he has faith in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have changed his decks. Of course, at the grand finals, this is a best of 7, so these players have an opportunity to bring entirely new decks from what they brought up until this point. They were locked in before. Kevin Z
Anything to-
really having
I mean,
faith
whatever,
in that
sure.
deck specifically, and we are going into game 2.
Anything to
Just a
stop
reminder,
high
there'll be a
rolling, that's
QR
what I
code flashing on your
need.
screen periodically. Scan it and tell us your thoughts. We really appreciate your feedback.
Yeah,
Additionally,
true.
our
I'm the
raffle for
second best,
1,000
guys.
Primo Gems has started over on the Astro Carnival YouTube channel. Make sure you're following the moderator's instructions over there, and we will be announcing the winners after this game ends, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and the Mono Yula Wanderer deck now against his Cookie Shinobu is actually very dangerous.
I mean, I lost
for
the
Cookie
Runa,
Shinobu
so
player, because again, she deals
that's
2
not quite how
piercing
it
damage
works.
to herself when she uses her skill. Eventually, you will heal that back, but it takes some time. But Wanderer is very aggressive, and not only that, can hit off field. If Kevin
I have
Z ever
no
goes
clue
to
how this
Winnie,
matchup
then
plays
Wanderer's
out.
normal attack
Also,
will be
Ting low road.
I just
He
took a
got
sip
he
of water at the
started
same time taking
second.
it.
L.
I'm staying hydrated.
Okay. Stay hydrated at home, folks. We could have a long series ahead of us.
We
and I
He can
really
ramp
hope
These
so.
are
at
two
least.
amazing players.
he can-
Ting
no,
being
no.
the God Slayer, that is the tag
Yeah,
we
just
on the
Dunya
caster's desk have
Lipen,
chosen for him
and then
today.
it's gonna
And Kevin Z,
draw
of course, the honored
one of the
one.
two
He finally
costs.
centered
Surely he will
himself
not
on
draw
stage. He's
another
gained his
Dunya
confidence after going 0-3
or
to
another
Ting on the
Lipen.
first day.
It's
Yeah.
free.
But he's already down a game.
Yeah, but definitely after that, his confidence must be shook. And I still think this is quite a tough matchup. Again, Wanderer
Actually,
very
wait, Ting is
effective
never
at dealing
punished for
damage
going
off field.
second.
Now,
Kevin's hand
actually,
sucks.
you know, this matchup we saw a lot at the Asian Invitational as with against
It
Finale.
sucks.
Yeah, like the
Mono
actual
Yula Wanderer
finale decks.
versus Finale, and there's a very
He
common
wants to ramp
play
5 here to
of
dodge the
Adeptus burst on
Mona.
the
Now
healer
it's so shit.
on
Now Ting just
Wanderer,
ramps
and
5 and
Kevin
it's
Z just
perfect.
drew the Adeptus.
He has ramp 5 in his deck. He
Yes.
just didn't draw it.
All he has to do is tune one and
Oh, it's that easy
Kill
for
now,
Ting.
right?
It's
Exactly.
that
Now,
easy.
The key difference here is
Oh, he low roll
actually,
artifact
no,
though.
Just
2-9
Hold on.
Yeah, you want to keep the gamblers, I think.
yeah, 100%. You definitely want a skill on Nahida. I think Kevin Z will be setting up for that
Yeah.
burst.
And so basically,
Uh,
going into next turn, Kevin Z is
bitch.
going to be going for a second skill and getting that burst off.
Kevin
Hopefully
really
our
wanted
Euler
to
Wanderer
ramp
is going to be
5
saving
there. He
it
would
for
be
that
owning
case.
the matchup if he did, but now he's stuck
Both
with
sides
this
off to pretty
garbage
optimal
line.
starts. Kevin Z with a much more aggressive start. Didn't draw many ramp cards.
There's Foff for Ting.
Yeah, freshman and freedom. Now, the main thing
Yeah.
Kevin Ting is missing is that weapon. It did draw the Wagner. Now, the only difference is, unlike Kevin Z's Wagner decks, Ting has some randomness. He has a Wolf's Gravestone in his deck along with 2 Catalysts. He wants the Catalyst. It's 2 out of 3.
I
He's already
think-
won 450-50.
I think Sayu is better.
So, I mean, the Wagner weapon banner, as you call
Yeah,
it, it is,
is.
I guess, a form of gacha in Ting's
is.
deck.
It
And
is.
Kevin is running
didn't play it
budget
yet,
Finland.
right?
Well, it's not
Is-
even
Okay,
budget.
I will
It's-
about to
say-
play it?
I think
Based on the
Cookie
last
is just
game,
better.
he should be playing along with the seed dispensary here.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
He
Free
deserves to
Wagner.
get a Wolf's Gravestone.
Hopefully he gets
Wagner.
1,000 floating dreams.
Oh,
Okay. That's the
okay.
I
worst
think that's the
one.
second best weapon. The other weapon,
Second
of course, being
best, yeah.
1,000
That's-
floating dreams.
Yeah, that's for Wanderer.
Tula Tula also
this one.
quite good. I mean,
It's
again, as long as
okay,
it's not the
it's
Claymore.
okay.
So Ting
I
won
don't
two
think it's like really
450s
good.
and
You
now
rather have
won a weapon banner
TFD.
I mean, he could just play Golden
no,
House and
no,
equip it
no.
for free, right?
Exactly. That is why you have Golden House in the deck.
Fruit is
you know,
bad.
3-cost
Yeah,
weapons.
he's-
When you play Wagner, you generally don't have enough dice to
Yeah,
equip it for
both.
free right away. But that's why you play those Golden Houses. And this is going to be a very scary turn
So,
for Kevin
Is
Z.
this the
I
best?
actually
I don't
think
think
that
this is
Ting
the
did
best.
not get as much as he wishes he did.
It's
You
better
really
than
want
Wolves,
Instructors are
I
gilded
guess.
here. You don't have any more card draw after this.
Yes.
But look at Kevin Z reacting here. He's like, oh my gosh, what did Ting
Okay,
get?
come on,
Golden
Kevin. This is like
House,
the
free
mid
weapon.
option.
There's the skill.
Shit.
There's the
Oh.
swirl.
That
Yeah.
problem is Kevin is low.
Yeah,
roll.
definitely. Kevin Z has to be worried about a Gilded. But notably, Ting didn't play the Gilded that round, right? Ting didn't play any artifacts.
Right.
Kevin Z knows now.
Should know that. Well, I mean, I think it's a bit telltale. Like, look at his player
Because
cam.
his hand is
I mean,
so
it's still a
bad.
very
It's
scary
so
turn
bad.
from Ting, because that Tula Tula, what it does, of course, not only is it buffing Wanderer damage by 1,
Right.
but it will be discounting charged attacks by 2. And charged attacks, of course, are attacks
Yeah.
when you're on even dice. With that swap play, Ting is now exactly at even dice, so he'll be able to do 2
It was
more
one-
normal attacks. But most importantly, and we know,
Kev-
and
Kevin
Z
was
should
like-
know, based on what just happened,
Right.
Yeah.
there's no more dice coming out of Ting's deck. He cannot burst this round.
Well, that's assuming that he doesn't get anyone low enough for the gambler's play, right? I mean, Kevin Z wants to skill burst on Nahida, and Ting does have a fast swap actually.
Yeah, it does have to
This
leave it
is-
to me.
This is actually really hard for Kevin Z. Now that I'm thinking about it, you could tell because he's really
His hand
taking
sucks, his
time
dice
and
sucks.
He's mostly reacting to what Ting already has
Yeah.
shown.
Oh my
Tuning the
god.
Timaeus, this is just going to be a skill from Nahida. This is exactly what we thought he was going to do.
Yeah, and we're probably not going to see a burst here. You know, if you can calculate the dice right, if you can predict it correctly, again, you don't want to make the wrong call, but I think based on the fact that your opponent did not use Timaeus on an instructed
Oh.
Oh, he's preserving those Dendro dice for the burst.
Yeah, he does not have enough dice for the burst.
Is he pretending like he doesn't have enough
No,
dice?
he's gonna burst. He's gonna burst.
Well, I mean, that he would just want to tune 3 anyway, but Ting might think that he doesn't have enough dice to burst on Nahida because he tuned one to normal.
That is very true. But Kevin Z might also be thinking Ting may be faking not having extra dice to burst. I don't know. It's very confusing. Oh,
Wait,
There's the
what?
swap to Mona. Okay,
no,
so
Ting is playing
Oh
around that
my
Adeptus
God.
burst right now. Yes.
He is.
Although,
Sure.
interestingly enough,
Oh my
Adeptus
God.
doesn't take out Wanderer here, right? Because it. Oh wait,
there's
Quicken.
Quicken.
5, 8. Yes, that's exactly right. That's correct.
So yeah, Nahida's burst does 4 plus 1 from Quicken plus 3 from Adeptus. That's why it's 8. Would take out Wander entirely. Ting having to swap off here. Very heads up play. Knowing that burst is ready to go. Knowing Kevin Z could potentially have that Adeptus in hand and that the damage would be right. So, you know, as much as we talk about Ting high roll,
Yes.
he knows when to play safe.
He plays around, yeah, he has very specific
Wait for
cards
my
in mind,
signal.
knowing to play around them. Now, the danger here is, Kevin Z does have a quick swap, but one important thing, by swapping off now Nahida, Kevin Z's at 5 dice, he no longer has enough to swap back onto Nahida and Adeptus Burst.
Yeah, Adeptus burst, and there is the fast swap. Of course, already using
Kevin cannot
the
adapt this
Mona passive
anymore.
fast swap before, and
Oh.
going to Wanderer to get that normal attack down. Has one more normal attack left with that Chule Chulas because he's on even dice there, discounts it by 1. So Nahida would fall, 1 stack of Wind Favorite left. Kevin Z has to
Yes.
think about this.
Yeah, he cannot stay on Cookie. Now, the main thing is thinking about, is it safe to go to Nahida?
Wait, fast swap. No, you can't Adeptus, you're right.
No, you can't Adeptus Burst. Now,
Adeptus.
the only thing is it safe to go to Nahida? Your opponent
I've been
has
waiting
not
for you
shown
for
you. Okay, we're still gonna
What's gonna
burst.
happen anyway? No Adeptus, but we are going to burst. This is going to take Wanderer down to 3.
Yeah. And I think Kevin Z with that quick swap will also have priority going into next round, so can still quick swap to take out Wanderer on another character. That burst may not come out, especially because Ting having to do that swap on Mona
Oh,
to
wait.
play around Adeptus now doesn't have enough dice to get off of Wanderer.
Misspoke, it's only 4 because the Quicken Sack was used when swapping to Kugi.
Right. I mean, the breakpoints here where Mana Wanderer will go down in general to another skill.
Look how low all of Kevin Z's characters are, but there's that egg. I wonder if that's gonna come up. Egg being a very controversial card, I think. It can help you and it can be totally useless, but there's the Gambler's Equip on
It
Eula,
can't because it's
actually.
normal.
Yeah, actually, this breakpoint is very, very bad for Kevin Z. Notice Wanderer at 4, there's no quicken stack. Nahida cannot take Wanderer out right now.
You're
I
just
think- I don't know- I
swapping
don't think Kevin
kills
Z runs any
Wanderer.
Tandoori. That would be the only card that would allow Nahida to take out Wanderer here.
I didn't catch all the food cards. There's so
Now
many
you
food cards in
cry,
that
yeah.
deck because it is running that food engine with Chef
But-
Mao.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
that's
is
like too
actually
hard.
really bad spot for Kevin Z because he's kind of forced to stay on Nahida. If he switches to any other character without a quick swap, then he will go down to a Wanderer Burst, and then all his other characters are just so low. So
He
Kevin-
wants Nahida to fall. So
I think he wants a quick swap.
Is
If Kevin Z
it?
can
I
draw a
don't
quick
think
swap, he has
so.
turn
But
priority,
like,
he can go over
feeling
to
that
Lee,
much to skill is so painful.
and take out Wanderer before Burst, because I think getting a Burst off a Wanderer, he does not have it.
there is no quick swap here. Of course, though, so 1 damage from swapping plus Nahida's burst
Prepare to
plus
be amazed.
Quicken. Does this kill?
Wait,
No.
what?
Because there's
Ting
no
has
seed
fruit.
on Wander.
Yeah, this doesn't
So
take
tragic.
Ting
Wanderer
has fruit
out.
glaze.
And part of that was, Kevin Z not going for that skill on Nahida, either intentionally or because of bad dice rolls, that could have made the difference there.
So this is kind of a bluff, right?
How-
Because does Kevin Z bring Cookie Talent in this deck?
I believe he does not.
He does not.
He does not. The
Okay.
list is 7 artifacts at the. I remember that top row. It was 7 artifacts. This does not have.
So no Cookie Talent. I was thinking could be bluffing. If Wander bursts Linny, does have that I haven't lost yet. We know that Kevin Z tuned it. Ting does
Oh,
not
Ting?
know that Kevin Z tuned that card. So I was thinking you could I haven't lost yet burst on Cookie, and then with talent that would be even more brutal for Ting. However, without talent, it's not as threatening, but it's still a threat.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at Ting's face right now. I think he's also trying to figure out what does this swap to Linny mean, because that
I don't
that would
think
be
you
the
fall.
least
I think you can just
likely
burst,
character
probably.
I would expect at this point, because Wanderer's burst is up. You can take out Linny here and be left with 2 characters with Hydro Aura on them for Eula to clean up. And that seems like a really good trade, especially if you have Fresh Wind and Gamblers. He could even Gamblers, Fresh Wind, and then swap off of Wanderer at this point to
Ooh.
avoid getting taken out.
There's the Golden House. There's a fruit on Mona. What are we drawing? Instructors.
Instructors.
And Tada. Tada's not gonna come up here, but Instructors
Useless.
might.
You know how Tada could come up? You can play it on Wanderer now for a free quick swap after he bursts.
It's okay.
Gosh.
not
Well, you don't have a
bad.
weapon for Mona though.
Well, you don't need a weapon for Mona. You would go over to Eula.
Oh, you go to Eula and freeze the next character.
Next character
Wait,
in
that's
line.
such a big brain play. So Wanderer
I mean, getting
burst
gilded
after
now,
Freshman.
gilded,
Yeah.
getting gilded now is still okay. He just
Freshman.
he missed one
Oh,
dice.
Freshman.
No Freshman.
Mustn't fail.
I think this is
Okay, I think Freshman would have been a funny play, but maybe
It
this
would've
is.
Oh,
been fun.
yeah.
This is probably
No,
yeah. this is
no,
probably
'cause I
more
think he's gonna
consistent, but That
draw-
would have been so funny.
Partly because
he's gonna
you want your
draw.
opponent to take out Wanderer here
um,
anyway,
Mhm.
and really Wanderer's done
Gilded.
his job. Look at
Yeah.
how
No,
much
it's
damage he's done.
gilded
This is
and-
all Wanderer's damage. Bringing
Isn't it
Cookie
gilded
Shadow
and one
down
more
to
ins-
6 and the heat after
wait,
3, and
what's
that is
it?
through all of the other
It's two
healing that
gilded
he's
and one
down.
instructors in
This
the
is how
deck
you
right
play this
now.
deck.
The thing is,
So-
though, Kevin Z is sitting on that egg. Does have Chef Mao, so it would be a one-cost egg essentially. So maybe Kevin Z wanting. Oh, this is not good actually. This is.
I mean, I think this is the best play. The way you want to take out Wanderer here is with that swap. Anything else would be really inefficient. And now, I'm pretty sure Wanderer cannot threaten Kuki Shinobu here if he goes for the skill.
So
Oh, and actually the breakpoints are really good because also Eula cannot kill.
yeah, Eula does not have Wolf's Gravestone.
hmm
So you can't do the Tada play or even tuning the Tada. We're just gonna go for a skill here, keeping only that fresh wind, and Kuki Shinobu is on 1. If that was 1 less health for Kuki, that would have been game over for Kevin here.
Yeah, but most importantly, that Instructor's Equip does give Ting an additional dice. Now, he has exactly enough to go and skill or even normal attack on Eula with how low the other two characters are. Kevin Z cannot safely go over to either of them.
There's Chef Mao. Is this going
Swap
to be
is
the
correct.
egg?
Like,
That
swap
is
could
the
have been
egg,
correct.
bringing back
And-
Linny from the dead.
Oh,
Oh, there's even a Lotus.
actually, that Lotus is really big because it takes a character out
Kuki is not
of
valid.
range of
N-
Eula.
not in
This
his-
is
not
looking
in his
so
deck.
precarious for Kevin Z, but Eula doesn't have a
Not
Wolf's
in his deck.
Gravestone.
I don't
So
think
there
so.
are certain breakpoints, and until she uses that first elemental skill of her her elemental skill, she will not have a buff that lets her do more than 2 cryo damage at a time.
Tink's luck running a bit low this game. Of course, something he needs
I swear
to
he
be
lost
worried
2
about is
dice.
not
I
stay
swear
on
he lost 2
Cookie
dice.
At all. Well,
No, no.
he needs to take out Wander. If
Yeah.
he takes out Wander, then it's fine. But
he
that
could
one
have-
favorite normal
He could have
onto
played.
Nikita
I
would
swear
just end
he
the
could have
game
just went for
immediately.
Timaeus over the
That is
Seed Box,
true,
drawn
yeah.
Gilded, played
If
Gilded,
carbs are gonna
then
be a
played
swap, I think Kevin Z is figuring out who to
Instructors,
swap to
then
first
played
of all, and then
Gamblers.
what
Like,
food to use. We're probably gonna
or
see
maybe
another
skip the
food in
Instructors,
place,
just
provided
go Gamblers.
There is enough dice. Do you protect Nahida or do you protect Linny?
You could also see gamblers onto whoever you swap to
Exactly.
to give 2 Omni back, and so
Exactly.
you could have another action.
Yes.
But is that gonna save him this game? This still looks really dicey for him.
Yeah, it could. And actually, so Kevin Z has 2 more actions this
Thinking
round.
about where
Right?
to
He
swap
actually
to.
has the Gambler's Play, but he also has Board Princess and a Liar Song, which will let him reset an artifact and
He's
then
thinking
also
whether he
override
plays
it with
War and go
Gamblers to
goes
give him
Nahida or
2
not.
more
Ooh, that
actions.
timer is ticking down. What is Kevin going
Okay,
to do?
that
There's the
sounds
poor
like it's
princess,
going
as you called
Nahida.
it. There's the liar song. Pulling back the heart. This is going to be a free gambler's equip. Heart first going on to Kuki.
Oh,
wait, a Gamblers on Kuki.
what?
Could be a normal attack.
This is a Lotus on Kuki.
What?
This oh. Wait,
Falling into the abyss.
saving the burst for Eula, I think, and
Yes.
it's going to heal her as well.
Yes.
So this is Kevin Z knowing that Eula probably does not have a Wolf's Gravestone. If Ting high rolled that well, if that weapon there, well, you can't even equip
can't-
it and
no,
do
no, no, no,
anything.
no enough
He
dice.
knows for sure.
Okay, Ting having to go to Mona here. Is he just going to end?
I think he has to just end.
But if he does, Mona does go down.
Yeah, and that refreshes Gamblers again. It's gonna give Kevin Z another action.
Yeah.
This is actually really scary for Ting now.
I mean, we could tune 1 a normal attack. That doesn't really achieve anything because
You don't want to tune fresh one.
What?
opponent has
The
Lotus. And
normal
really,
is
there's
some
no reason
shit.
to apply Hydra right now because Eula will take out any of the characters on the side, with the exception, of course.
There's the end.
Yeah,
Okay.
this makes sense.
This does make sense. Ting choosing to sacrifice Mona here, investing everything onto Eula. And now the question is, can Kevin Z turn the tide to the rest of the round he has here? The timer already ticking down. You see
Eula
so
still
much
doesn't
time
do
to
anything
think,
either.
what's it
because
going
of
to be? You
Lotus.
could burst and take out Mona right now.
Honestly, I really wonder if that Tada sacrifice
Kevin
on
is
the
so
first wave
back into this.
would
What
have
the
been a
hell?
better play. Because Ting did have to tune 3 cards
This is
to
fine.
skill again on Wanderer in order to make that play, whereas freezing Kuki here denies a lot of the healing.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but there is the seeds onto Eula.
Why?
No elemental aura on her
No,
now.
because then he
and
goes Cookie burst and then
nothing-
Linny
like,
skill
anything
kills.
that Ting does to Nahida is going to take her down next round.
I
Fresh win,
guess.
almost certainly Linny
Yeah.
will go down as well. It's just going to be Cookie solo.
No,
No,
but
this is
okay.
it, unless...
Wait, no, you let
No,
Cookie
if
fall,
you-
don't you?
No. So what's gonna happen is
7.
Kevin Z is gonna sacrifice
7,
Nahida, even
like,
through
Adapters
Fresh Wind, go
Cookie
onto
with
Linny,
nothing
and then
else is
Adapters
7.
burst on Cookie Shinobu will finish off
Then
Eula.
it's
Ting has
8.
no healing. I think he has 1 Lotus.
So how much does Burst do on Cookie right now? It does
4.
have a quick and
Wait,
sack 4.
Plus the
Or
sword.
5.
Plus, wait,
Adapters is
he
8.
has it. He has it. No,
So
no,
there's a
Kevin has
swap
it.
off of Cookie to do an extra 1. It is exactly
It's kill.
It
Yeah.
is because of the Sanctifying Ring.
Yes. So Ting needs to find.
Ting
a
needs to find
Lotus.
something. Yeah,
If he
Ting needs to
finds
two
find
countdowns.
healing.
He does have 2 countdowns. He can only afford to play 1 this round, I believe, or else he will not have enough dice.
Oh my god.
There's the fresh win.
doesn't
Is he
know.
just gonna go for it?
You can normal
Oh.
attack first and then count down. Because he still has turn priority. He can see what his opponent does.
Oh,
If
it's
Kevin
an
Z for
honor
some
to
reason,
be
okay.
here.
If he some reason swaps over to
Oh,
Cookie
he
Shinobu.
actually just
Oh,
two because of the
Kevin
quick and sack.
wins.
Oh, he's
Oh, no,
gonna
wait.
go
Oh my
for it.
god.
Ting!
Curtain.
No.
This is going to be it. There is the Adeptus. Kevin Z choosing to go for that first. Eula is going to fall. Kevin Z taking game 2 against Ting. The
I
High
don't know.
Roller has been
Oh my
defeated.
god.
Yeah, that was. I think.
This is
I
why you don't
know the
Cookie burst
artifact
them more now, I
combinations,
guess.
in Ting's deck. But I believe he needed to find that Lotus. That Lotus would have saved him, and then he also needed to draw 1 additional dice generation card off of that countdown. It could have been a Gilded, I believe he had a Timaeus at 2
Holy
stacks
shit.
and a Golden House, but that was his 1 out. Unfortunately, did not identify that, not playing around the Adeptus.
I don't know if he didn't identify it or maybe he just felt his luck was not it that game. He didn't want to test it.
I mean, I think you always go, because even if
But you don't have a
plan on
choice, you
lotusing,
have to
if
play
you do
for
play a
it.
countdown there after the Gambler's Trigger, you're still at 6 dice. That still
I
lets
mean,
you
he
take out the
doesn't-
last
he
2
doesn't
characters.
know.
It doesn't
Yeah, but,
change
like,
any of the plays you would have
yeah.
made, but it does give you more options. So I think 100% was a mistake not to play one of those countdowns unless you're playing around something different like other forms of healing. But
Yeah.
the Adeptus Burst was
I mean,
really
he-
how Heaven Z was able to
He
finish
dodged
off
Adaptus in this
Ting
round
might have read that
here.
Kevin Z just didn't
But
have
then,
it.
an Adeptus.
He thinks that he has the advantage of Eula at 7 health. It would have taken Adeptus. It's a situation where if Kevin Z has it. Otherwise, he wins the game. It's
But it's
but
still...
yeah, you still should go for the countdown.
Yeah, I think
agree.
that there's no
I agree.
reason not to play the countdown
Yeah.
there, and I think it was just Ting either not identifying that Adeptus was a possibility or not seeing that he needed to find the
Wait,
Lotus.
what?
Either way, that was a very well-fought game by Kevin Z. Again,
It
this,
was.
I think the Cookie Nahida Linny deck is a very technical deck. It's not straightforward, it's very reactionary, and really rewards the skill of the player to play it well.
I think, Kevin Z has
No,
such
no,
a
no,
distinct
no, no,
play
this
style
grand
in comparison
finals.
to a lot of players.
The-
I think it's just like a pleasure
No.
to watch him play, honestly. There is a reason why he is considered in the community as
What?
the
There's a
honored
standard
one.
double
Everyone
elim
having
bracket. That's
faith
how
in his
double
deck
elim
cooking
works
skills
everywhere.
And his playstyle. He is here in the grand finals for a reason, but here is our
Yes,
updated
no,
deck selection.
no.
This being Conquest format,
No, no,
Kevin
no.
Z will no
You-
longer be able
There's
to
an
play
upper and a
that
lower
Linny
bracket.
Nahida
That's what
deck.
double
It is
elim
now
means. That's
gone
it.
for the rest of this finals. So the question now is, does Ting play Mew, that Mona Eula Wander deck again?
No, that is
Or does
no.
he change to something else?
In what-
And then
in what
does
world
Kevin Z
is-
do? What's he going to go to now?
in what
Yeah,
game
Mono Yula
does
Wander is
which
very
game
surprising. I
does
don't know
that?
how it
Which
matches
game
up
does
into
that?
The other decks. Actually, the Whale deck is very scary, I think, for Mono Yula Wanderer. It tends to do a lot of
Every
damage to,
Valorant
say,
tournament I've
team
ever
who
seen
would
does
have Whale
this.
with that
Every
much HP,
other
it can
double
take a
elim
lot
I've
of
seen
brutal
does
damage.
this.
Even with the Wolf Greystone, with Whale having a
Steam
high HP
Steam does
threshold,
it. Steam
it's very hard
Dota
to
runs
get
it like
Wolf Greystone
this.
damage bonus, and
You
need
double
that to
elim.
get
It's just an
through
upper and a
all
lower
of the health.
bracket.
So I think Ting's gonna have
Dota
to
does it
figure
this
out-
way.
try and
League does
calculate
it. Well, League is
when
single elim.
the
Fuck
Whale deck
them.
might come out from Kevin.
Valorant
I
does it
mean,
this
Kevin
way.
Z taking that win
This
in
is
the
very
second game,
standard,
maybe he
in my
goes for
opinion.
it now. Maybe he just
Yeah.
starts that now because Whale is so strong. There's a reason why it keeps getting banned. If Kevin Z brings it again and wins, that's going to be really demoralizing for his opponent. Even high roller like Ting
Yeah.
might get a little discouraged.
I mean, I think Kevin Z really needed the win there just to keep his momentum, because again, that first game must have thrown him off immensely. But this is why he's here on the stage. He believes in consistency, and he can shrug off those RNG losses. If you're viewers watching at home, just think about how frustrated you would be in Kevin Z's seat playing for $8,000 and your opponent wins two 50-50s back to back. That is going to be enough to throw most ordinary
mean,
players off their game. But
I
not
think
Kevin
it's
Z. He
better
played
that Ting
the
doesn't get
official
eliminated
Nikita
twice here.
Suzuki deck.
It's like
know,
you have
I
a
think that
grand
must be his
final and
favorite
it's like
deck. That must be
whatever.
the deck that he personally enjoys the most. I know he loves that elemental combination, especially.
I
I'm
like
not sure
this
if he has a
one.
comfort deck. I was definitely talking
Like
with
you have
all
a
the
grand
players
final.
before the tournament
Dude,
started,
you have a
throughout the
grand final
tournament,
and you don't have
Kevin Z
to.
considers himself to be more of a versatile player.
Yeah.
He'll play anything as long as he thinks it's good and consistent. Consistency is the most important part to him. So,
cares?
I mean,
It's
we're
like,
gonna have to see. He does prefer
no,
hyper magic.
because
He does, but-
However, we
It
have
sucks-
a raffle winners
yes.
here. If you see your UID
No.
there, congratulations, you have won 1,000 Primo Gems. Every single match, we will be having Primo Gem raffles
Okay,
over
I
on the
think it's
Ask
shit
Carnival
for the
YouTube
viewer
channel.
experience.
Make sure
Because
you're
like
heading on
imagine you
over
have to
there. A
watch
moderator will
like
instruct
this
you
and then
on
you have to
how
watch Ting
enter.
go again.
Additionally,
Like
there will be a
just
QR code
it's just
appearing every
two
so
back to
often
back.
on your screen during the matches. If you scan it, it's going to send you to a feedback form where you can tell us your thoughts, and we definitely appreciate hearing about it. But
Yeah.
look at this set.
Dude, it's also-
honestly,
it's-
oh, look at the cards too.
Here's the
Wait,
reveal. Yeah, this is a new one from Ting.
it's not really new.
It isn't quite
It's not
new,
really
no.
new, and Ting, I think, is
I think
notorious
this
for
is
playing
not
this in
even
the
shit
Kansas
for
Galaxy
Ting.
tournament. I
It's-
don't know if it was with Kazuha.
It
I
would
don't
be really
remember
shit for
Well, Lynette,
Kevin if he
character
has
is
to
Lynette.
play
It
Ting
was
like
Lynette,
three
Lynette, it was Lynette,
times.
but now Kazuha
Also,
has received those changes.
that's probably also
Yes,
shit for
it has.
Ting
Yeah,
because
I'm
he has to
wondering-
show
I'm
his
trying
deck.
to figure out how
Ting
this
has to
takes place.
show
So
his decks
the
3
traditional
times.
version
Like,
with,
is that even
Lynette was
good?
mainly Fischl into
Like-
Cryocube into Lynette as your finisher. Kazuha generally
okay,
is not who you want as your anchor.
I
So
don't
probably
know.
gonna go for
Imagine-
either
Imagine you're Kevin, you go into this and Ting just like throws the first one. Like what? Like why?
When it makes sense.
Oh, that gladiator there. That is
Yeah, but then
a
Ting
new
will go into
artifact
this
in
just throwing the
patch.
first one.
Do
Why
you
would he
know-
like ever play seriously? Like he
so
just needs
Gladiator's
to
gonna
see what
discount
Kevin
normal
has.
attacks by 1 elemental die, but provided you only have 2 fewer cards in hand.
Okay,
It's a very
no, so like in the
aggressive
situation
card,
where you can
obviously
get
perfect for
anti-stratted,
aggressive
then what do
player
you
like Ting.
do? Like how is it fair that you have to play the same guy
Oh,
twice in a row in a
Kevin Z
grand final?
bringing
Like
out his own whale deck. Here is the big reveal. This
Like,
is just
Kevin
as I
could have brought,
predicted.
like-
I think
okay,
this is
Ting
the
could like
time
just
for Kevin
throw
Z
the
to
first one
seize
and
the
then bring
momentum
counter
against
decks on the
his
second
opponent.
one,
Yeah.
for
I think so
example.
too.
Obviously,
This
it's not
is a
necessarily the
very
case in
scary
this.
deck. There's a reason why Whale has been banned, but these players thinking that Sino has the edge just a bit more. Sino is too unbeatable. Both chose to ban Sino. Now they have to deal with the Whale, and there's our Serene here, so maybe we'll have more.
And then you can see
Melusine
like the
fun
order
facts
Kevin
going
picks
into
his
this
shit. I don't
Really
know.
hope so.
It's like
I think we have 5 more Melusines yet to visit. Hopefully
And-
we see them. It is
yeah, just-
Kevin's turn now to hopefully turn the tables on their Origin. Okay, the worst thing that can happen for
There's a
Kevin Z in this
difference-
matchup is he
there could be a
also
difference of when
goes
you
for the
Q-
Lutein Gambit.
No.
Oh, no, and
there could be a
loses
difference of
it.
when you queue each deck.
I think if that
Whatever,
happens, it will be
whatever.
totally irrecoverable from just a mental aspect. Although Kevin Z, you know, again, has been in these situations before. One notable change is that Day of Resistance.
Yeah, I was about to mention that arcane there, so that Day of Resistance is going to be specifically
And
for
even then,
Whale.
it's still info,
It's such
but-
an interesting arcane. It only comes up in certain instances. And
Look, okay, like
coupled
if
with
it's
that
not in
Tada
this
is going to be
game,
very
then like
important in
if
avoiding
it's in
being
other
phase locked, yeah.
games, like how would you
That's a
do
good
that?
interaction to call out. You know, if you have a Day of Resistance on you, you can play
Like,
Tada and mitigate
just
their
as
damage.
general,
It's actually normally
like,
pretty hard.
in
to use a
general, the
all
format
four
just
shield
doesn't
on
work.
Day of Resistance, but if you deal 1 damage to yourself,
Yeah, but here we go. This is Game 3 of the Grand Finals of the Prince Cup
No.
Atlantic Tournament, beginning now.
Fine,
If you're
we can
joining
just
us
not
here
call it a
over
double
on Genshin
elim
Official
tournament. Just
over
call
on
it
Astro
upper and a
Carnival's
lower
Twitch, make your
bracket.
way on over to
Are you
Astro
happy?
Carnival's YouTube, where
Let's
you
not
can
call it
enter
double
into
elim
that
then, if you're
1,000
so
Primo
set
Gem
on
raffle
double
that is
elim being
happening
like
every
the
game.
issue.
There'll be 2 winners
being fixed
announced
on that
at
name.
the end of each match. So you better hope this goes on to a Game 7.
go.
These 2
Time is
legendary
against
players
us.
here giving us a great show already. Additionally, that QR code there, scan it and tell us your thoughts. If you like what we're doing here, make your voice be heard. Thank you so much.
yeah. So Ting here, with
Like
the
we
deck
could
with
change the
Electroshock
name,
reaction,
whatever.
or Super
Like
Duck,
a
rather,
single chance,
is actually
whatever.
pretty good
Like
at dealing damage to Whale off field, really threatening Whale to not get that much HP.
What is it with you and Sumi calling the superconductor reaction?
It doesn't
Lucky
matter.
Charm?
He
You know why?
ramps
We're
it
still
here.
shell-shocked from the
It doesn't matter. His
Ocean
dice
meta,
doesn't matter
official
here.
Ocean meta when Electrocharge was the premier.
He
reaction.
needs 1 more 2 cost somewhere,
Taking a-
ideally.
again,
I don't know
taking a
what
sip
that
of
is.
water
He needs to
at
get
the same
something
time.
off of
Sorry,
this.
Look at him. Stay hydrated, guys.
Uh-huh.
But look, Kevin Z playing that Serene.
Kind
What is he
of.
going to get? It is a 0-cost Melusine card,
Yeah.
so it could be 1 of 7. We don't know what it is
One of
until he
7.
plays it.
Unfortunately, Kevin Z's dice are not very good. You usually do probably want to lead in with a Kaching Skeleton. Starting to generate those stilettos.
Aligned.
Most of them will be used for tuning. It can occasionally come up. Yeah.
Marshall say, Hunter,
Oh.
what is it going to be?
Oh,
Oh,
Rip
wait,
slot
this is
one.
this is a new one. This is Therona.
Odds were
Uh,
being
Therona, yeah. So Therona, 0
End
cost
of.
and a super awesome event card is added to your hand for the next
Ooh,
rounds at
rad.
the end of the round. So we're gonna see what Kevin Z gets here.
Yeah, and as a reminder, those event cards always are resonances or either elemental or regional.
You can,
Therona, of course, wanting to join
you can
the Marshall
technically
Say
covenant
Phantoms.
NA, but I think it's not worth.
Yeah. So what are we getting? Oh, it's
Oh.
Sumeru Res. That is pretty big, I think.
So, yeah, one of the main cards that Kevin Z probably wants
Yeah.
to dig for is Laboratory. It's one of the cards that lets you
Everything
get
except
a lot of dice on
Fatui
one
and
turn with the
Monster
well,
Resonance.
tuning and discarding so many cards. So that could come up. I would say probably not the best
10,
resonance for Kevin Z.
I
this
wanna
moment. He would
say.
love a Hydro Resonance against such an aggressive deck. Okay, we're 6
Artifact,
down.
weapon,
R 6 millisecond.
Alright.
Well, it's not. It's an
food.
event card. It's not necessarily a resonance that's added to your hand.
Oh no. So it actually is, yeah. So it's always
is
one
it
of
the
the
heal
4
2
elemental
one?
resonance
Really?
No,
or
but you
regional
should
resonance,
play
yes,
it here.
or one of the 4 regional ones.
Thing is max HP.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, you never get any other event card, which makes it
That's
actually
not how the
very
wording
powerful.
is.
No, it's not. Well, you
It's-
know, you just have to. It's
So,
doesn't
so-
the law say anything being what type of cards that?
well, it's a super awesome event card.
and
so
they're
that
super
means
awesome.
okay, I guess so. So
Yeah, they're
now
not
we
just
know what
regular
super awesome
awesome.
event card means.
Super awesome.
So you get to go beyond the boundaries of deck building
Of
and
course.
get resonance cards, even if you don't have that resonance in your deck.
Yes, and that can be very hard to play around.
Also,
right?
like,
but of course, I think Sumo Resonance is probably not one of the best things that Kevin Z can draw.
no, he
at this
can't.
point.
The thing
Sumo
is, he can't
pretty
really
good.
lose.
There's not really anything
He can only
bad that you
win
can roll
or
here.
go even.
Tuning
And you always
that
draw 2.
Clam, going for a skill here, it's gonna generate Stiletto, and that is another card that could be discarded for Whale. Poor Whale at 3 health right now, not building any HP at all.
I mean, it goes up so fast. There's really no danger for Kevin Z here. He can heal immediately. Get
No,
3
no, no.
HP.
His
Just
dice
be
is
very
okay.
careful,
What do you
but
mean?
It's more worrying that Kaching here
Pinks.
is already down at 3. Will go down.
It's
to
okay. He can
another
NA
skill
here. It works
from
out.
the cube.
That is a good card.
There's that Laboratory Ruins as well for Kevin Z.
Yeah, we might see him forced off of Kaching here. We could skill again on the Cryo Cube, but it could be pretty risky. Now, unfortunately though, if he does swap off,
Okay,
he will leave
is it the
himself
hu-
open to
I don't
a
know what
superconducting
Kevin
reactor.
got.
So it
Or
might
the
actually be a good
medicine
time to
card.
sacrifice Kaching. I don't think we want to play that Ocean Hued Clam. Normally that's either tuning fodder or going to go onto Whale and late in the game.
With Serene, you can always generate it, you know, if you're lucky enough. Of course, Kevin Z having the unlucky roll like that, you never know if he's actually going to be able to generate it or not. But Kevin Z taking his time here, that timer is going down, will be tuning the other clam just as Flat predicted, and it will be another skill generating Stiletto. Basically, he's just spamming Stiletto.
Standing stilettos. I mean, that's really the name of the game. Now, what the stilettos are really doing is every time Kevin Z tunes a stiletto, think of it as an extra stack on Whale's burst, right? And of course, every stack not only does additional damage, but is a shield for Whale and all the other characters on that team. Ting is playing an aggressive deck, right? And you want all of the damage mitigation you can get, because look how fast Kevin Z is taking damage here.
So does Kazuha currently have a plunging
I
attack?
mean,
He does, and a quick swap.
you kind of
punch attack too.
know.
With Sapwood.
Yes, and
The thing is, you kind of know just based on what happens. Like, if it's 2 cards, it's only food, artifact, weapon. If it's 3 cards, it's from your deck. If it's 3 on their side, it's the end of round thing. If it's 2 on each side, it's the healing damage one.
Oh, actually, he's 1 dice off, but I
guess.
thought he was gonna probably skill gamblers and then he's
He
gonna burst.
already put gamblers on Cryo Cube.
Okay,
So
here's a sequence from Ting that I'm gonna predict. He's gonna
You have a
skill,
lot
get 2
more.
dice from
You have a
gamblers,
lot
then
other
he's gonna,
problems if
burst,
you're a
yes,
new
Cryo
player.
Cube, then he's gonna covenant
Right.
gladiator after tuning 1 card to get down to 2 cards, and then normal
Yeah.
attack on Cryo Cube for a ton of damage. There's gonna be so
Oh,
much
Kevin wants
pressure.
the whale
That's
skill
really
here, but he's
scary,
going to
and
lose this
I mean,
50-50 and he would cry.
it's already starting to happen.
Yeah.
Ting going for that skill on Cryo Cube, generating those
he can
2
just do
Omni dice.
cryos.
Kuching does fall on Kevin Z's side, and now he has
Oh, I
to choose who to
hate
go to.
this.
It will be his own Cryo Cube, and now is this going to play out the way Ting thinks it's going to play out? Is it going to be a Cryo Cube burst? I think it will be.
I think it will be. Almost certainly going to go for the burst right now. It's going to be very good at deal. Again, this is focused on dealing off-field damage to Whale, right? You can control where that cryo burst lands.
Wait, should have played that before Tudik.
No. I think Kevin Z wants to save all the triggers for Laboratory for next round.
Interesting.
Yeah, he doesn't need an extra
So
dice
that
this
was
round.
intentional.
That was 100% intentional.
Here is the skill from Kevin Z's own Cryo Cube, now completely out of dice, triggering Ting's Cryo Cube revive. And now Ting has a choice to make. I think it will be a burst on Cryo
You
Cube, but the
care.
thing is what to do after
You
that. Is
need
he actually
Will
going
to
to
be
play Covenant?
healthy.
So
Is
if
the
he
biggest problem.
burst now, Cryo Cube goes down to 3. There's a super aggression that happens, and then
But
there's a summon that's
Ting
created. If he normal attacks again, that is a cryo application.
just
yet
burst
another
on the
piercing damage.
cube,
I
but
believe
like,
that will be enough to take out Cryo Cube. I haven't done the exact math, but I think it's 3 damage and then 1 plus the Superconduct 2 flips Ice Superconduct from
the
Well.
biggest
Yes,
problem Ting
yes,
is
it will
facing
take out
now
Cryo
is he
Cube.
has
So,
0 single
I want to
target
point out
damage to
these
deal with
players'
as well.
heart rates at the moment. Ting is the calmest we've seen him this entire series.
4
Here on
it's
game
4 dice
three,
deal
he's
5
sitting
with
at around
Sapwood.
85. It's going back and forth between like 83, 86. He is actually calm this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has a very good
Ting
reason to
cannot
be calm.
pass
This looks like a
here.
very favorable matchup. He's giving so little time for Kevin Z to build up well stacks. Ooh,
Wow. Okay, so it's Sapwood
no.
on Kazaha, and with this Covenant, the swap is going to be a normal attack here. With that Electro application, he will get
This
2
cannot be
more
right.
Animal Dice back because of that Sapwood.
yeah, oh, it just... Okay, Kevin Z ending. We might see a return, a Liar Song here to Gilded onto Kazuha, maybe to fix dice or draw a card. I'm surprised. I think I would have gone for the Cryo Cube burst there. You have your Cryo
He
Cube
can't
around,
Liar
you have
Song
those 2
anyway
summons.
because
You are ending on solo Kazuha,
because
and
of the
you will
Liar
lose
nerfs.
your cube to Whale at the start of next round, but it looks pretty good for you.
This is... Wait, how do you lose your Cube to Whale?
If you stayed on cube and did the burst normal attack.
Oh yeah, but I think you're fine with that, right? Because you get
Oh.
the Cryo application down,
okay,
but...
now
Inazuma Res.
Inazuma Res, that could be pretty big. That's
No,
going
it's
to...
bad.
You think it's bad?
Yes, you know why? Because Inazuma's Res fixes your dice, and on Whale you want to tune.
Oh yeah, and you don't have
It
any
is.
characters left because Cryo Cube
Okay.
finally
no, it's
fell.
okay. Kevin draws a 0
I
cost.
believe-
So
He
this
can
is
tune
actually
those.
not what Kevin Z wants at all. He wants bad dice to tune them for Will.
Yes, Kevin
No,
Z's
you-
low
you
roll,
don't-
the 2,
don't
I think,
play.
worst resonances. He probably could have
Just
Monster
tune
resonance.
it.
Maybe it would be worse, but he would have loved an elemental
Just
resonance,
tune
right?
the
Something like
Inazuma Res.
Cryo
You have
resonance,
C.
Hydro, but that is not at all optimal for this situation.
All right, Serene giving the last Melusine. Kevin Z still haven't played the one from
The
last round. I
last
wonder
the last
if the
thing he
one
tuned
just
was a
got is
2
going to be any
cost,
better.
so he can do
Felix pretty
Warf
disappointed,
plus.
if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think that is a very disappointing outcome for him. Still, I'm surprised Ting did not go for
He
that
can do
Cryo
Warf
Cube
plus
burst
the
line.
artifact
Kazuha's
to get
burst is
3.
not very powerful.
Then he can
right?
do
You see it there.
3.
It's kind of like official Oz at some point. It only does 1 initial
3 0
damage, but it's going
costs,
to take
and
2 more
then
rounds to get full utility. Now, this
doesn't
line
really have
also
any more
did
dice to
take
tune.
out, the Cryo Cube, but does have less elemental reactions overall. Plus, he cannot skill safely on Kazuha because that will put him on cube
Yes,
right after
he
that, which
does.
will be then taken out by Narwhal.
I think
You know,
Gilded
ideally,
triggers
if you
first
are Kevin Z, this whale should be
before
at
you
like,
saw.
what,
so
it was like 17 health
Yeah.
that Ting's whale was at before the
Exactly.
Chongyun burst. And just not getting exactly, he doesn't have Lutine at all.
Right, like I mean, Therona is a very powerful card because it does draw you over time, but that's the thing, it does take time
Okay,
for it
Ting
to build
does
up.
fucking
and,
1
Ting
damage
is
on
not giving
everything
Kevin Z
except
that time. We're gonna see a
Kazuha.
lot of problems
Bruh.
now for Ting because, you know,
Whale is going to start building that health, especially with the laboratory runes they're generating.
Exactly.
Omni Dice still has so many more off elemental dice that he can basically tune and gain HP with on that whale. And
I
this
think
is
Ting
going to
loses. I'm
be
not even
really
showing.
bad for Ting if he doesn't put a stop to it.
yeah, I mean,
So sad
Swallow
for
and
him.
Superconduct are not very powerful reactions for a one big, you know, HP character that Whale is right now. And we're gonna have it see, you know, we saw a
His
lot
best
of damage
damage is
going out to Whale,
Kazuha, and
that's
it's
because
4
of the
dice for
power
5
of the
damage.
AoE reactions.
So
There
bad.
are no more characters left to get efficiency from there. Swell is not good, and Superconduct is not good. We do not have very powerful reactions left, so
Oh, there's Seed Dispensary. What is it going to be? Are we going to play Tomias? We are. What are we
But
drawing?
Kevin is gonna
It
try
is
to
a
roll with
Veterans
Sunyata.
Visage.
yep, that's actually, you know, perfectly fine for Kevin. He's gonna go basically neutral on playing. He paid 1
You
on the Tomias, but
could
he's gonna be able to
tune
draw
it
a card and get a dice
for the
by
0
re-equipping that
cost.
veteran.
Does Kevin Z play
This way, you're
Sunyata
like
here?
gambling a little
Yeah,
bit.
there's no reason not to. You're not that worried about discounting another card next round. You're not playing Paimon. You don't care about Tomias. You almost 100%. Just go for the Sunyata and see. In fact, what he could do if he gets cards he doesn't want is use that Super
Timer.
Resonance to put back the bad cards.
So
that
your
were
res could
generated.
help a
You
lot
could
here,
actually. So you
actually.
don't want the Inazuma res.
Oh,
we're
he's just
tuning
tuning it.
Melusines. I think
Okay.
we're gonna be tuning the Inazuma res.
Okay, I know what
Oh,
that
no.
one is. That one was Puka. I'm 100% sure that was Puka.
Puka, 0 cost, generates 2 companions. She collects pretty stones, by the way.
Oh, three
Okay,
two
so most importantly,
costs.
Puka doesn't generate 2 companions. She fills both sides of the board with
Oh,
companions.
with full companions.
Yes, Kevin Z only had 2 companions, and Ting has 0. So playing that card,
Wait, that would actually just benefit Ting
Yes.
more, because like Ting's entire
The
board
question
was
is what
filled with
this
companions.
Serene card
unironically,
is.
Kevin Z is low rolling his Serenes.
He kind of is.
Really
That is
is.
so unfortunate.
He's
I
on
think
0
he still is
costs
kind of favored
here.
in this matchup. Just be
Okay.
very careful. Oh,
The
there's a
other
second one.
Melusine being tuned. I wonder which one it is.
It's probably, it could be a
Now
second
what?
Puka.
It could be a second Puka.
Oh, that would be. Or
Play
it
the
could be a routine
Paimon
and just didn't wanna risk
skill
Wanna
playing
play it, yeah.
first.
at this point. Although I think you always would. But maybe not. Maybe not.
It's really hard
has
to
2
say.
Geo
Everything else would
dice,
give you more cards to
I
tune with,
think.
so
Yeah.
it's definitely
then-
really hard to say. But Kevin Z, all
Hmm?
of those.
No, he has 2 G. Like Kevin
Melusine
has 2
cards are
Geo
gone.
dice.
Whale
Oh, he's playing
now
that.
at 14 health. There's the veterans V.
Discarding Paimon.
And this will be a -5 skill. Gonna consume that Paimon up.
Yeah, Kevin's gonna have a very big turn here. Gonna be able to use another skill and a burst,
He can
and we're gonna get a
gain
trigger off that
2
laboratory
here,
as well.
yes.
I don't think there's enough damage here.
I also don't think there's enough damage here. But it immediately swaps over onto Cryo Cube. Kevin Z, of course,
He's
is
not
going to be
playing
taking
the
Cryo
wine.
Cube
He's
out
not
with the
playing
normal
the thing.
attack.
Yeah, I guess Cryocube Burst doesn't actually provide a lot of value in the long run, and so there's no real reason to rush for it. Kazuha's Burst about as
Yeah.
good, but I don't think you can take out the whale here.
Actually, I think Kevin Z just wins this game.
Yeah, this is-
Actually,
Kevin Z
0
is really
single
set up to
target
win here
damage.
because,
Oh
like,
my.
even though it looks so good for Ting taking out
Does it?
Kuching and Cryocube, well, taking out Kuching and Cryocube
Sure.
early, and we were hyping Ting up. We thought that Ting had the massive advantage here, but Kevin Z, even though he low rolled those Melusine cards,
I mean, that's all you really need for it to just generate cards overall. Yeah, I'm pretty
that's
sure.
another thing to tune.
Yeah, Kevin Z will be winning this game here. Another burst from Whale here into another skill would be quite
I
powerful.
think you can just skill here.
I think you just skill. You skill first, and then you burst, and you never lose against Fischl.
There's the skill, -5. Kazuha has fallen.
In fact,
And now we're gonna heal 2 because it was 2 3 costs and 1 2 cost that were discarded.
you know what's even worse for Ting here? Kevin's gonna even play that Favonius Cathedral as well.
You think
And-
so?
yes.
But there's the burst from Whale.
So why
it would do
didn't-
piercing damage if only there were other characters
Why
alive.
didn't Kevin
but
play
Fischl
the
does have
Cathedral
the
before
Hydro application
doing
now.
this?
Will
Oh,
be
wow.
taking Electro application at the end. There's the Favonius Cathedral.
Yeah, that will seal the
Oh.
deal here for sure.
Easy.
And Ting declaring his end second. Look at that. Fischl's literally on 1 health, has burst available, but Kevin Z is just going to be able to go for the skill here. I wonder if he's going to do something with it, though. I think it'd be really fun.
No, Kevin Z is shaking his head because he got Mondstadt resonance off the final
yeah,
of
yeah.
the
He's playing
Rona,
the
which
most
again,
broken deck.
the regional ones are the worst ones you get. You really want those elemental ones. He's
True.
rolling so hard.
I wonder, oh, he's not going to BM. I thought he would BM and play Tada for the fun of it, but no, immediately goes for the skill, takes out Ting, and this is game 3 going to Kevin Z. The score is now 2-1 in Kevin Z's favor.
Yeah, and I think that was a very one-sided matchup. Ting's deck is an AoE deck. It's good at taking out characters that have spread out HP across the board. But Whale, most importantly, stacks up all of its health on one character. And when you have
Did
one
any of
character,
them bring
Swell,
Venom?
Superconduct, Electro Charge, all of those reactions don't do as well. You really need Pyro and Electro and those kind of reactions.
And let's look at some highlights here again. So Ting, it looks like, especially to a casual player, that he has the upper hand, taking out Kuching and then taking out Cryocube there. I wonder, you called this earlier, Cryocube Burst might have been the better play, but he didn't go for that. He went for a play on Kazuha instead. I wonder if that was a misstep.
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, one benefit is, you know, Ting started that round on Kazuha, and we see here Whale to get 5 damage onto Kazuha right away. Had Ting ended the round on Cryocube, it's possible that he would have had to use up dice on that Cryocube initially.
I think that's fine, because the problem for Ting is that he only had Electro application at that point because Kazuha's infusion was always Electro, and then you're finishing on Fischl. You don't have any Superconduct reactions. I mean, I know that it does piercing damage and there's no characters left alive for Kevin Z, but it's still additional damage on hit.
Yeah.
You're trying to whittle that Whale down.
Yep.
And I feel like, and you can also control I don't know.
It really doesn't matter. I think this 100% was a matchup win for Kevin Z. He had to stumble very hard to win. For instance, by playing a Lutein,
At least
and then
Kevin
just deals
didn't
damage to
lose
himself.
with the
But
whale
here is the
deck.
updated deck selection. So Kevin Z winning 2
Yeah.
games now can no longer play that Linny deck or that Whale deck. Whale is long gone in this tournament entirely. Both these players winning on it. Ting, of course, cannot play his own. And now, what are we going to move to? So something Ting did that's very interesting.
I think
Ting knows
Crab
Kevin
beats
Z has
Sayu.
that Crab deck with Sino. That is very powerful in itself, but of course he bans
Sayu never
Sino.
does enough damage.
And Kevin Z bans Ting's own Sino, but now Ting has
Yeah,
a
you
crap deck
don't.
of his
You
own
actually
with
don't.
Thunder
It's
Vents.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Every
that is a very-
you know how we were
very
always
different,
like when
from
Crab
the
was
Sino.
first
Because
released,
Sino
we're like, this
better.
card
I
is
think
so
what Ting was
shit.
doing was
WGS
spreading
always
out
shits on
Exactly.
it.
his characters a
Exactly.
little bit,
Yeah. So that was the point I was trying
But
to
it's
make
not.
is basically taking Kevin Z's deck
doesn't.
that is kind of 2-in-1 and splitting
know-
them up. And
I
you
know
still
in
have
theory
that
it
spicy
sounds
crab, if you
amazing,
want to call it
but
that, because
it's
of the overload
so bad.
reaction.
It's
But without
surprisingly not
Sino-
enough.
So Sino's deck was banned. And Ting has Whale as well open. There's
You
there's
have
just so
to-
much
you have to
availability.
really
Also,
high
I
roll,
want
I
to
think.
mention a fun
It's
fact
funny.
about our player Ting.
Dude, back
Ting
then we
is
didn't even
in
have
fire station
Tada. We
feed.
were like,
More
what
on
is
that.
this crap
First, we
deck?
have our
You just
raffle
you
winners
lose
here.
to
Here's
even
your
Neo.
UID there.
Like you like
Congratulations. Head
WGS
on over to
always
Astro
beats your
Carnival's
crap in the
YouTube channel where
1v1.
you can enter into our 1,000 Primo
But
Gems
turns out
raffle.
it was not
Nobody won every
true.
match, so hope it goes on to a 7th game. This is the grand finals of the Atlantic Prince Cup tournament.
And so far, the two players are very
Like,
evenly matched.
you have so
right?
many
From back
ways
and
to
forth.
to
Now,
disable
Kevin
the
is up
Sayu
2-1. That can
with-
turn the
with
tides very
TM.
easily. Again, that was a
And it's
matchup
like-
loss on Ting's side. I don't think there was really any way that reasonably
In
can
theory, it
expect that
sounds
A would get
awesome,
to beat a Whale
but
deck. And that might be why
in
he
practice,
banned, the
Crab
Crab
gets
deck as
just
well. That
enough
would also
HP
have a
to
very poor
to
matchup
pull it over
into
the line.
this Kazuha deck.
But here is our QR code. So you can scan it now or you can scan it when you get in the game. It will be appearing periodically throughout the course of these games. So just if you want to leave your thoughts for us, please let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. We would definitely love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Also, make sure you're staying up to date with Astro Carnival's socials. Make sure you go follow us on all of our platforms
Yeah.
so you can join in on the fun too.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to keep doing these events. I mean, it's these kinds of
Yeah.
live events that get such exciting moments.
You know what? This
right?
is the last day here at the
It is.
Atlantic Prince Cup Tournament. This is the grand finals, and here is the reveal. Ting going again with Mew, that Mona Eula Wanderer deck.
This
Really,
new
this
deck is so
a nice
problematic
staple
though.
deck.
I think.
I want to say it's consistent. It's not really consistent. It's definitely high roll.
Yeah, so the if you haven't been following TCG for that long, I mean, for those of you who have, this is a very familiar deck, but this is famous for doing very poorly on camera. It is one of the worst performing Visa decks on camera, and it's the strangest thing.
Look at its
and
weapon
I played this
lineup,
deck a
by the
lot of
way.
times as well, and it's always betrayed me.
Well, I feel like, so, and I've heard from competitive players as well, including the players here today on the big stage, that this deck, you have to high roll with it to really pull off the win. You need everything you need the first couple rounds because it is an aggro deck, but it looks like Kevin Z is going to be matching Ting with his own freeze, except it's Sayu this time instead of Wanderer.
That's
Actually,
so
very
stupid.
interesting. It's okay. So these two decks are basically the same deck, but all the characters have been swapped out for Kevin Z, right? Instead of Mono,
Exactly.
you have Herald. Instead of Wanderer,
Yeah.
you have Sayu, and instead of Eula, you have Chung Yoon. And it's basically Kevin's deck. I think is the more consistent deck, but the Wanderer deck has the higher potential.
Does Kevin just
What's
win
interesting
here?
is that Ting
If
could
he,
have very well
like,
taken this deck
start
as well
Chong,
because Chung Yoon,
Ramp
Herald,
8,
and
Swap Herald next
and Sayu
round.
were not used in any of his decks he brought today. So he just didn't bring it at all.
Yeah, I wonder if that's actually consensual. Kevin Z is actually very famous for this deck, and the reason I know that is one of the times I've
Yeah,
been
dude,
top 16 in
look
Astro
at
Galaxy
double
is playing
Terminus,
this,
double Wagner, double
variant of this
Lyman,
deck from the
double
last version,
Countdown.
the
You
one
can't
that
rep
he
8,
shared
you have.
with me.
I don't
Kinda
know,
came
bro.
up with
You are
the
so
quote
bad.
on his
You're
boat.
so-
You were right, Herald has this
No.
I just heard the
If you can't
sound
rep
that
8 with this
means
fucking
another
deck, you're
game
so
is starting.
dumb.
So
Oh
we're going to
my
be heading
God.
into game 4 really shortly here. There's the pop-up on the screen. So just a reminder, as we enter this game, a raffle has started over on the Astro Carnival YouTube channel.
my
Head on
God,
over
it
there
doesn't
to
have it.
enter for 1,000 Primo Gems. Additionally, that QR code will be appearing, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, here we go. This is game 4 of the grand finals of the Astro Carnival Prince Cup Tournament at Atlantic between two legends, Ting and Kevin Z.
Yeah.
Ting the Godslayer, Kevin Z the Honored One.
Yeah, Kevin Z falling from the upper bracket very early on, knocked down by Ting in a 3-0 clean sweep, but crawling back.
The Ting at least
finding
go
his way
first. Oh my
through the
god, he
North
had to
American
dive to skill
champion.
shot
And yo,
too.
both Ting and Kevin Z have taken down the North American Prince Cup champion in this tournament. They were the two players that actually defeated him. He
does
won
it for
last year. He won everything. Robot Wizard.
Holy
Just
shit.
want to give him another shout out. You know, he has performed so well, did make it into the top 3.
Yeah, this is a pretty tough matchup for Ting, especially because Kevin Z's deck, again, is very famous for just playing 8 dice worth of cards and passing the turn. That's what we're going
Ramp
to see here.
7.
Yep. So this is the legendary Herald
The
Ramp
funny
8.
thing is
So
Ting has
basically, you take your 8
boost.
dice that you get, and you're starting on Herald, and well,
Bro.
you just go to Ramp for next round.
Yeah, and the reason why this is so good against the Mona Eula Wanderer deck, so that deck is so crucial on its swirl effect from that Hydro. Now, if you end before your Mona opponent, both summons and the initial skill damage will hit the same character, and then if you swap off as the
Does Ting
very
have the
first
skill
action on that
again?
round, then you can dodge that swirl. But Ting knows this as well, kept 3 Animo die at the very start of the roll and knew that there was a chance if his opponent does have that ramp 8, he needed to go to Wanderer immediately so he can get that
Oh my
swirl.
god,
And
Kevin's
look at
hand
the damage
sucks.
already dealt on the side of Kevin Z
Well,
from that Wanderer swirl.
Herald hasn't flipped yet, but
It
yeah.
sucks.
I mean, Herald hasn't flipped
This
yet,
is so
however,
bad.
it still is like it's
What are you
set up
gonna
very
do with
nicely
both
for
your
Ting, I think.
gildeds? One of them is
definitely set
dead.
up very nicely
Both
for Ting,
weapons
although
are
you
somewhat
really do
dead.
want that ramp, right? Not having
How is this
either a Wagner
fine?
or a Timaeus. So
Gamblers
the usual
is
way you want to
practically
start with the Mona Eula
useless.
Wanderer deck is to stay on Mona round 1 and then play like a Liben followed by a Timaeus or a Wagner in order to take those 5 dice into the next round where you combo off on Wanderer. This is a much more slower start.
So there is the prepared skill
That's what you
from
get for
Herald.
running
The next
Wagner,
follow-up
man.
is
You just draw the
Unstoppable.
weapons.
Team
It's
going
so-
for Seed Dispensary into Timaeus,
It's too
drawing out
much.
Instructors,
It's
which
too
is
much.
honestly exactly what he wants, and it's totally free to equip as a 2-cost.
It is. I don't think you want to override. So Wanderer still has a Gilded right now. Of course, anytime you use a reaction, always going to override
There
it.
it goes. I mean, so he can
His
generate dice every
skills,
time he
right?
does a swirl, and I think
Yeah.
that's more important this turn to match Kevin Z's ramp from round 1.
Yeah, so the important reason for
No.
equipping the
Okay.
instructors there is this does give Ting
Well, I guess he doesn't
enough
want to
dice
flip.
to
To
skill
burst.
again and burst.
Yes, exactly. And with Gilded, you could draw cards, but what's it gonna do for you?
Why do you even care if
especially
you
since
flip
Kevin Z
here?
did ramp this round.
Or like
And
if you flip
what
earlier.
we're
You're
gonna
doing
do
skill
here, there's no
NA
quick swap for
anyway.
Kevin Z. He's locked into that prepared skill on Herald.
Oh, wait.
Wait, no, Curse of the Undercurrent because of
Oh.
Herald. Hold on. Wait, we
Oh,
missed
I guess
that.
you
We
get
totally
one
missed
more
that.
NA.
That's actually, if Ting didn't
Okay,
factor that
okay.
in, that's going to be a crucial misstep. And then you would have much rather have kept that Gilded Dreams. This could actually cost him the game if it was not an intended play. We'll have to see. I don't see any other good way for him to use up the last few dice. He cannot play Countdown. He cannot even play Wagner right now.
Liar Song, pulling back the heart, playing for Princess, putting back the heart on Herald, and is going to wait to equip any of those artifacts. But Ting should know it's coming. Just going for that normal here, not caring if Wanderer falls, I guess. Just
Yeah.
getting all that damage down. He's got enough dice to swap over, too.
This does make sense in some way because the burst isn't super relevant on Herald. You don't want to burst Herald anyway, but look how low Chongyun is, right? Chongyun also is the one with Golden Troop. Golden Troop's reward that Kevin Z equipped at the beginning of round 1. So it's getting a dice discount, but now you basically need to quick
Oh.
swap.
Is he
Well,
gonna skill twice?
Ting has no dice left. Use that last dice to swap over to Mona. This basically signals
He
to Kevin
actually
Z he's
can.
going to be
Oh
ending
my
his
God.
turn here. Of course, Kevin Z finally using that one stack of Boar Princess to put Gilded over that heart of Kavarina and has a free Gilded still. So Ting is in a little bit of a pickle here because I think Kevin Z could honestly swap over to Sayu here.
Re-equip
Sai Kevin-
Gilded.
So without a weapon equipped, Sai you can
Gamblers.
only do...
Nope.
Yeah, I think we're going to stay on Herald
Oh
here
my
and maybe
God.
Gambles and Skill again. But this could be a really devastating Herald sweep turn. We've not actually seen this line come out of this deck because it's so rare that you
It is
want to be
rare.
on Herald. But once Herald flips, so the key thing about this Herald Sayu Chongyun deck, what you want to be doing is doing about 5 damage every time you spend 3 dice. That could be Sayu with a Swirl Prepare
Right.
skill. It could be Herald with a flip, or it could even be Chongyun with something like a Wolf's Gravestone. But that important number is just to pile on damage. So Kevin Z perfectly happy to stay on
Does he
Herald now
get
that it's
3
flipped.
actions here ever?
I think that's exactly what we're going to see here, that Gilded did go back onto Herald. Both Gildeds used up now for Kevin
No.
Z. And
He's one
it should just be
short.
another skill that will do 5 damage to Mona, take her out, and he still has enough dice for one more action. Could even go for a Gambler's play here.
He is one, notably, Kevin Z is 1 dice short of being able to take out Mona and then use 2 more skills to take out Eula. If he had one more dice right now this round, then he would be able to sweep Ting's entire team.
One more board princess, but there is the gambler's equip, and this will be another prepared skill. Goodbye, Mona. The fall is just enough to take her out, doing exactly 5 overall, and gets that dice refresh from the gamblers.
Yeah, I think that Herald talent is really going to be clutch here. I think that's really going to stress out Ting's Diagram in the next round, particularly because he doesn't have any ramp cards, right? That Timaeus only at 0 stacks, not going to be able to give him any free weapon equips.
There is a swap to Chongyun and has the perfect dice to go for a skill here. Now Sayu is set up for a chain freeze onto
Scared of
Eula
four,
if
I
Ting
guess.
is not careful.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. You know, we're going to waste 2 die, but getting that Cry on Eula means once
That's very
Chongyun goes
smart.
down, Herald can immediately set up for that freeze. So this is really asking Ting, does he have Fresh Wind and a quick swap in hand? If he does not, he's in a really difficult situation and did not draw it.
Did not draw it, and Ting is in a really big pickle. This is the consequence of not ramping. Playing 3 dice now to
He doesn't even
countdown
have 4.
and draws nothing that he needs.
Yeah, no Fresh Wind. He already had that Gambles at the beginning, but also not drawing a quick stop effect to get out of that freeze and burst.
This is so bad because a swirl from Sayu would take out Wanderer. You don't have a quick swap over to Wanderer to burst. And even if you did, you just go over to Sayu if you're Kevin Z and swirl the Hydra onto Eula instead. This is not looking good for Ting. This might be game 3
it's
for
actually
Kevin Z
over.
already.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Ting, although Kevin Z also does not have a lot of dice. I think what we're going to see is a Lotus equip over onto Wanderer in a little bit. Although,
Interesting. So Kevin Z choosing to go over to Herald here. Probably
Oh
going to
my
use up
god,
that
this is
cryo
so
aura
done.
to freeze. Does have one round left of Chongyun's Frostfield.
yeah, that
So-
probably won't come. I mean,
It
you know,
probably won't come up.
it won't
Just
probably
end
can't come
this
because
round.
Wanderer is going to go down to any skill at all. But we'll see. Does Kevin Z? Oh. So
No fast swap though. This is it.
I think this is it. Ting
This is
needs
actually
to avoid a
Yes,
gambler's
loaders,
trigger
I
from
guess.
Herald will end the game, and I don't think there's any way for him to
No, the game's already over anyway. Well, you have the Lotus. Do you Lotus? Do you
can't-
Lotus Wander?
Lotus. Well, if you Lotus and swap, then there's no way that you can.
No,
get
you
enough
don't
dice.
swap. Do you end on Eula and Lotus Wander?
How are you winning after that?
Well, what else are you gonna do?
That's really searching.
I think it's drawn to quick swap, but it looks like that is not it.
Lions
Playing
don't
that
do
fruit deck, I
anything.
think just to find a card that can get around this situation. I don't think there is one, but yeah, that curse of the undercurrent really taxing the dice. He had 2 extra dice this round. Would it really?
He needed to
to
dig
be able
for
to go on
cards
Wanderer. If
earlier
you skill
anyway.
on Wanderer
Uh-huh.
and take out Herald, that's pretty good for you as long as Sayu does not take you out. But I think even then,
Even then, I mean, this is definitely game over for Ting. I see his heart rate going down. He knows that this is over. Still Lotusing. He's going to be swapping over to Wander and eating the rest of that skill. But this is going to be it. What are you going to do? You have to end.
yeah.
You have to end. And Kevin Z, this is your game to win. We're going to 2 and 3 and just go for another, no, just a normal attack.
Yeah,
Get the
either way.
Gambler's refresh. It doesn't matter what you
Doesn't
do.
matter.
And this should just be a burst to finish things off.
If he's flashy about it.
No, he's not flashy. He's going for the humble route, going for the normal attack, taking Ting out to win
And you
his 3rd game and
sucks.
the 4th game
Holy
of the grand
fuck.
finals.
Oh, we are getting close, or potentially, because
Oh, no.
Every time we see this
at our
view
final
deck,
game, Kevin Z
it
is one
sucks.
game away from victory, and he will be needing to play his last deck. He now has no more choice. Needs to win on that Kazuha deck.
Ting, the Godslayer, backed into a corner. Things are looking really dicey for him.
Yeah.
His luck has ran out after that amazing
Use a
game
fake
1.
deck,
Is he going to
yes.
be able to take it back against the Honored One?
I mean, we'll have to see. Once again, the Mono Yola Wanderer deck
Oh my
is kind of
God.
cursed on coverage. I really don't know how to explain it. I mean, he did also get cursed by Herald. I think that Herald talent draw didn't actually come up all that much.
The
but
Herald talent
Kevin
came out a
Z
lot, I think.
has a favorable matchup in this case because he's able to just end first on Herald and then forces Ting into that swap play on Wanderer. Plus, Herald with that revive is so good at tanking Wanderer burst, right? Wanderer is hitting off-field characters most of the time, and so Herald is not going to flip very quickly.
It looked like Ting was in such a good position after playing so aggressively. Like, this is what you want to do on Mona Yola Wanderer. It's an aggro deck for a reason.
Kevin's last
but
deck is Kazuha,
he
right?
didn't ramp round 1. You do want to ramp round 1 on Mew, and he didn't match Kevin's ramp. And so he basically ran out of steam super fast.
Exactly, and of course Herald here being the MVP right here with that Gambler's equip. Look at this round 2. This round 2 is very unusual but super effective at not only applying elemental auras on Ting's characters to threaten them into the next round, but just dealing so much damage.
This is why, even for aggro decks, the first round setup is really important. You're not going to have so much card draw in most of these decks, and so the little card draw you have and can generate is very necessary to set up at least a little bit, especially if your dice don't go well. But here's
If
our
Ting is
updated deck
attacking
selection.
against
Of course,
freeze,
Kevin Z,
now
the
is the
GITCG
time
god,
to
the
win.
honored one, winning 3 out of 4 of his games, will be stuck on that Kaza Perma Freeze deck. We know it did not perform well on the first day, but yesterday and today he's made it work somehow. So maybe it's better than we think it is. It's a very technical deck, even though it doesn't have any flashy damage output.
Yeah, I mean, Robot Wizard did ban that deck during their set earlier in the morning, so maybe there's a lot of hidden threat there. And of course, we do have a Kazuha deck still open on Ting's side. Now, I think Ting's Kazuha deck will match up pretty well into... but we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. We have our raffle winners here now, so if you see your UID there, congratulations. You've won 1,000 Primo Gems, and if you'd like to enter into our next raffle, because we will be going on to a Game 5, make your way on over to the Astro Carnival YouTube, where you can enter to win. So good luck, have fun.
I mean, it could be a last opportunity. We are one game away, potentially, from crowning our Prince Cup champion.
Our last opportunity. This is our last cast of the Prince Cup Atlantic Tournament, Pleb.
Yeah, we've had such a blast here over the last 2 days. You know, if you're just tuning in as well, you're watching competitive Genie Invocation TCG. One of these players is about to walk away with 16,000 in real money, 16,000 USD in top prize.
And our second place winner will be taking home 8,000 USD, which is still a tremendous amount of money. Like, these players are well accomplished. They're professional players at this point. They're here at the big stage. They're getting paid well for it. And I mean, that 8,000 is a huge difference, though. There's so much on the stake.
Right.
You want that title as well. You want to be the champion. You want, Robot Wizard has to deal with the expectations this tournament. There are some downsides taking home that title, but the bragging rights, you know?
I mean, knowing these top 3 players, I think all of them really care the most. I mean, the prize money is good. They care the most about getting that Prince Cup champion title, because there's only so many of those that are out there to grab.
Look at our Prince here watching over everything. Our players are getting set up and ready to go. I mean, it makes sense. Kevin Z coming out of that set with Robot Wizard, last year's North American Prince Cup champion, probably had to think a bit about his decks. But here we go. Ting is changing it up. We are going to see this Crab deck with Thunder Manifestation Toma. This is more of a classic Crab deck that hasn't seen play for a very long time.
I mean, it's still like that spice, you know, the spicy crab variant, the double pyro, plays very much like a mid-range deck. You know, you have Toma to generate shields efficiently, but Thunder Manifestation there along with Pyro Resonance to threaten characters. One of the weaknesses of stall decks often is you don't have a lot of damage potential, but with Manifestation and Resonance, you do.
Seeing Thunder Manifestation here just reminds me of the times when that card was first released and the entire community was debating over what to call it, because there was TM, which is short for Thunder Manifestation, there was Manny, there was Station, that was Kevin Z's name.
It was.
And there was Fez, which is, you know,
that was kind of a joke.
Station.
Yeah.
There were a lot of names. They were really funny.
Kevin Z was a very big on pushing Station as a name, and unfortunately, that was the one that stuck. That is why he is the honored one. You know, Fire Station.
Fire Station. Well, Ting is a Fire Station player. I meant to say that. He really loves these overload reactions. He's an aggro player. Fire Station, of course, being double Pyro Manifestation, which is what he's playing right now.
Yeah, it is, but very different from the original variants from that are more aggressive. Crab obviously doing a different one.
But moving on to Kevin Z's deck, it's very different from Overload. We have our basically perma-freeze deck here with Kaza, Signora, and Mona. Of course, after Signora gets flipped, she does go to the
-1 damage
Crimson
again.
Ember State and can deal a lot of pyro damage. So, anything to point out here? I do see the Wagner weapon banner. I really like how technical this deck is with Kaza's plunging attack.
Oh my god.
I mean, this is really going to be you know, a race between Kevin Z being able to apply enough pressure to threaten Crab. You know, I think in this matchup, Ting just wants to play for the long game.
So maximum plus 15.
Well, and get every point of shield that Crab gets is going to be that much more damage that Kevin Z has to basically fight through. Freeze is not a very damaging reaction, right? It is not a high power reaction, not an AoE reaction at all.
Does that even matter? So we don't even go to...
We're gonna have to find out as we head into a game 5 here. Kevin Z is 3 games up on Ting's
go to
1, and this
2022,
could
right?
be it. If Kevin Z takes this game, then the final finals is over, he will be the champion. But let's see how this game goes. The raffle has started over on Astro Chronicles' YouTube channel. Make your way on over there and enter. Figure out how to enter with the moderator's instructions. Additionally, there is a QR code on your screen. If you want to submit feedback to us, tell us how much you love our casting. Tell us how much you love my puns.
I feel like that will kill the
Haven't made
deck
any
though.
yet?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What? I haven't heard any, have I? Did I miss one?
Okay, well, here, talk about the game while I think of some puns.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we have the crab. So when crab was first released, a lot of players were really focusing on trying to build up crab as big as possible into this big end game.
This
boss, kinda
sucks
like
for Kevin.
whale.
He wants
That's
to skill
actually
soft
the
skill, but he
incorrect strategy.
can't,
You
and
want
Ting
to
has
use
ramp
crab
8, so he's
as
gonna
sort of
skill.
a tank to keep your other two characters
Skill,
alive,
and Ting
so
is
the
gonna ramp
artifacts can
8.
Continue generating shields. Now, we're probably going to see from Ting here is a countdown to draw a lot of cards, equipped
Ramp 8 and then sub off start of round 2, and then Kevin is gonna be stuck having to reskill on Mona. I guess it's not the end of the
That
world.
gives him the best opening into the next round.
That was a nice explanation. Get it? Because Signora has ice, you know, it's a freeze deck. It's
Chat, please let Leah.
Oh dude, he has to tune
I
1
need
for
to do a
live
little
and
bit
2.
better
Man.
than that, I
I
think,
didn't have much time to prepare my jokes. What are you
Really
talking
don't.
about? See, because
Oh,
Mona's
God.
Hydro.
That
Oh,
was. Oh, it's a full ramp turn.
It's full ramp. This is the Mona full ramp turn. I mean, this happens sometimes, but
Wow.
yeah, that
So-
was a light of fuller incision
what?
onto
This
Kazaha.
guy
Full
just got
cost,
trap
minus
talent. Are
and
you
even
serious?
pass.
Okay, and that was actually bad for Ting. So,
Oh.
curious too. Ting went for a different play. Ooh, drawing another artifact there.
Ooh, General's Ancient Helm going on to Kazaha.
So, most notably, because Kevin Z didn't make a play that would hit Crab that round, Ting cannot get an extra dice off of that tenacity, which means Liben would not trigger that round. So instead, going for the Tamiya's play, very heads up.
What do you think happened to Kevin A through Y?
Kevin Z defeated all of them. and
I mean,
that is why
I
he
think-
is the honored
That's why
one.
he's here. That's
I think
why he's ascending
even
to
if Ting does
godhood.
it like high roll like this, he
End
should
of
be
the
winning this
alphabet.
matchup.
So Kevin,
Oh,
Sounds good to Kazaha.
ooh,
Interesting.
reactionless.
Reactionless indeed, but this will swap onto Signora immediately, and Thunder Manifestations
Wait.
Lightning Rod is now
it's
on
like Kevin
Kazaha.
cooking
Yeah, I wonder
something.
if this
What the fuck?
because,
How does he
Kevin Z
know?
knows that Ting does have that crab talent. And if you don't know, crab talent applies pyro to the active character. So if Kevin Z had gone for a Mona skill there,
Is
he
this
could
guy
have punished
crazy?
that so severely
What the
by just equipping crab talent not only to get value off the shield, but cleanse the Hydra off.
This is really interesting because if Ting equips that crab talent, well, now we can cleanse the cryo with it.
Oh, he cleanses.
But
Like
Kevin
in,
Z would just be able to swap to Kazaha and swirl
Exactly.
it. So
yeah, it stops
Kevin
Kazuha
Z is
from
going to
going
have to worry
this
about
round,
these
I
pyro
guess.
applications. There's one on Signora at the moment, and this deck Ting is running should have pyro resonance. I don't remember if we saw it, but it 1,000,000% should have it. And those Thunder Manifestation skills are going to hit really hard and off field as well.
Off field, yeah, definitely
is
because of that
Kevin
lightning roll. We haven't seen manifestation in
even
quite a
want
while, but that status on
to
Kazuha right
NA
next to
with
his plunge
Kevin,
attack
with
means
NA
that
with
is the
Kazuha
character
start of
that
next
Thunder
round.
manifestation skill will target, so it will not hit Signora in this case. A normal attack will, but that lightning skill will go onto Kazuha, and which that's actually what Ting wants. So, I didn't have time to explain this earlier, but you know this is really going to dominate.
Ting just
this
needs to
matchup,
keep
which
HP
is,
on
can
Crab and
Kevin
he
Z
will win.
avoid damage from that lightning rod on the important characters. You really want Mona to be taking as much damage as possible.
Well, it's not Mona taking damage right now, but it is Signora, and if she goes to under or 4 HP or under, she will flip to her
Yeah.
Crimson Witch of Ember state starting the turn coming up. So Kevin Z is going to have to be really careful, not only to manage those
Sounds good to
elemental
me.
auras, but also the health. But there we go, that cryo application on Crab because Ting chose not to cleanse
Actually,
it.
yeah. Why didn't he
Yeah, and this-
Swap
cleanse?
over to Kazaha will be swirling it as a plunge attack.
Yeah, and this is kind of the combo with these weapons. You know, Light of Fallen Incision giving you a dice back off for every normal attack, and of course, with Kazuha's recent rework, when you swap back to him after using a skill, it will trigger a normal attack, but importantly, unlike a prepare skill, that gives you any bonuses that normally come off of a normal attack. So getting that extra die there. Now, I actually don't really like Ting staying on Crab in that last one. That opened up the ability for that Kazuha
This
swirl,
can't be right.
and now Crab is going to
What?
have
Another
another cryo
swirl?
applied at the end of the round.
I think this is fine. So Ting, knowing this, swapped over to Toma after playing Macaron. So if Kevin Z swirls the cryo again
Fallen leaves.
onto Crab,
Adorn
which is
my
what he's going to
night.
do with this burst. the sheer cold applying cryo is not going to matter, and then Ting can then cleanse it with cryo, with Crab's talent.
Crab talent. I mean, that's almost exactly what's going to happen. He definitely wants to play as the first card. It's again, we haven't seen Crab in a while, so there's a funny interaction. The shields that go onto Crab, it eats all of the shield statuses on your entire team, but that doesn't happen until you play your first card. And Crab talent buffs any shields that are eaten by Crabs. It's very important that we start with Crab talent here.
It is, and look at Ting keeping all of that pyro. I think, you know, playing the macarons on Toma tells me he's probably going to be staying on Toma a little bit to take damage and keep healing up. There's one more stack of healing there from the macarons.
Yeah, Toma burst is actually very important in this matchup. Like I said, Kevin Z's main struggle is going to be getting damage to stick on Crab, especially when we go down to solo Crab. Now, the reason why Toma is so good with Crab is Crab's shields. It will eat a shield status, but it doesn't matter how big that shield is. So you can see here, every one shield that Toma normally generates gives actually Crab 2 shields. This is how this deck gains value, turning
threatening the kill
skill from a 2 damage 1 shield into effectively 2 damage.
Wait.
Yeah, but you know, that means that Toma is kind of left unprotected here, which is
Yes.
probably why Ting is bringing things like macarons, because you want that sustain for your characters who are shieldless, because Crab's stealing all those shields. But
Okay,
there's
it's
Born
probably
Princess into
GG.
Gilded Dreams replacement on Kevin Z's
You just
Kazuha.
lose
I don't think Kevin
Kazuha
Z really
here.
cares, he's just gonna go for another skill here.
Yeah, this is the big turn for Kevin Z. He has that weapon equip on Kazuha.
Tandori fast swap. How much is that? With lightning run on Kazuha, how much does that do? So
Tandori Fat, that would
4,
be
5, 6.
that would be 6, I believe.
Doesn't have the dice for it though.
8.
Doesn't have the dice for
Yeah,
it.
no, it's 6.
You
6
can
and
do
eight.
it start of
4.
next
No,
round.
it is right. It is right. It is right. Yeah.
He doesn't have the dice for it.
But as long as Ting ends first, that lightning rod will persist on Kazuha. Oh, actually, wait.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
This is
Oh, it
That's
does.
it.
this is a bit worrisome.
Sounds
Kevin
good to
Z is in trouble here, I think, and Toma, being the tank he is, every time he's hit here, he's gonna heal up, and I think this is Ting countering this deck Kevin Z brought, honestly.
Okay, we don't want to speak too soon. We're gonna really see why Kazuha is being played in this deck. He does a lot of damage, especially with Light of Fallen Incision, giving him an extra die. Basically, that die is really spent doing the swap strategy. Every time he swaps, he deals a significant amount of damage to the entire team. I don't actually think it's enough to take out Toma, though, especially with only one Tamias remaining.
So another swap will be a plunging attack, and then the free Gambler's replacement on Kazuha will eat up the last boar stack and give another action.
I believe so. Let's see. I think there's one more Light of Fallen Incision stackable, so we'll probably get one more plunge
head off.
combo, which I think is enough to take out Toma here.
Here's this. Toma is definitely going to be falling here.
Oh, but the breakpoints are pretty good for Ting here. He will lose Toma, but I think Manifestation will be left alive. So can Crab solve? Unfortunately, though, Toma as the one with the shield going down is very...
I think Ting is going to go to Crab. After Toma falls, Ting is going to go to Crab. Has a fast swap, can just take out Kazuha after. Or maybe he's confident he can end on Manifestation, but it just depends on how many... Kevin Z has so many cards in hand.
Yeah, I mean, you know, once that Tamias is used up, I think Ting will be a lot less afraid, and he might need every single dice at the beginning of next round to really get going. Unfortunately, you know, this is the scary part of Kevin Z's deck. It is very much an aggro deck plus freeze, and Ting right now needs to weather this storm from Kazuha and just survive for 1 or 2 more rounds.
I think Ting was very confident though, played Tenshu instead of that other healing card in his hand.
The Matsutake.
The Matsutake. So I think Ting knows Toma's gonna fall here, but maybe he's okay with that.
Yeah.
So otherwise you don't play Tenshu there.
Yeah, I do think Tenshikaku is a little bit greedy, right? Only gonna able to generate 1 Omni die at the beginning.
He's a high roller, it's fine.
Well, I
He
just
has
mean
faith.
it's too slow. It's not about that you're not going to get the dice. It's a little slow in this matchup, especially when you're... So I think one of the things that Ting might have misidentified, your opponent skipped a Mona skill and also equipped a weapon on round 1.
Right.
That changes how fast this Kazuha deck plays.
Right.
Normally spending 3 extra dice on Mona skill
the
means that's
timer.
that much less damage that Kazuha is doing.
There is the strat. Kevin Z not liking what he drew there. I'm wondering what he's gonna do at this point. He could still go for the Gambler's replacement into something, but I don't. Does he have enough damage here? Does
He
it
doesn't
still?
have enough dice. Well, okay, a
Oh, he
skill will
could.
deal
He could have dice.
2 damage, and that's not going to be enough to kill.
If he
Toma
didn't
here. So it'll be
strat,
left
could he
at
have
exactly-
Normal
skilled
attack would do
swap
3,
back?
right?
Normal attack will do 3.
So yeah, I don't think Kevin Z can actually take out Toma here.
Well, if he normal attacks, the summon will take out Toma at the end of the round. So that could be the play that he's going to go for.
Golden House.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
If
the
you replace the
point of
gamblers,
Timer.
Oh, for the timer.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
playing Golden House almost certainly just to weather time. He might be playing a Wagner. Potentially there
Yes,
could
it is
be
Ball.
2 Golden Houses. Oh, of course, Ball also works on a weapon equip, so he could choose to re-equip with Sapwood, but I don't think that's still enough dice. He's deciding if he wants to take out Toma here.
This timer is brutal. Literally playing Golden House for the timer, tuning one of those Wagners. What is this going to be? I think this will just be a normal attack here.
Unfortunately, you'll lose Gamblers and another weapon. You have no other characters that can actually equip Kazuha's weapon. That's kind of the weakness of this deck, right? You have 3 weapons and Wagner. So
You
no
lose Kazuha
clue
anyway.
what he was digging for.
you do.
But you lose that Gamblers, that is important.
Yeah.
But here we go. This is going to be a normal attack, bringing Toma down to 1. And
Tuned
now the
so much for
Kazuha
that normal.
first summon at the end of turn will be taking out Toma. King's Toma falls. Who's gonna come out? It should be Thunder Manifestation, and it is.
Okay,
so
now how do you do damage as
Kazuha's in a world
Kevin?
of trouble here for Kevin Z.
Yeah, and I think Ting really wishes it equipped. If it equipped that helm onto Thunder Manifestation instead, that'd be 2
Holy,
more
Ting
shields
has
for this
perfect
round.
dice.
But Toma was the tank.
That's
Right, but you're
crazy.
eating up the shields anyway, right?
That's true. That's
So
true.
it's actually strange that when you're risking a character like Toma, that you're not putting all the shields onto him. And unfortunately, yeah, here it is.
There's a Tandori, there's a Crab Talent eating up that Cryo Aura, and -8 with a Tandori skill does take down Kevin Z's Kazuha. Signora comes out because it's an overload reaction.
Yeah, and at this point, we're going to see Ting actually swap over most likely to
It is
Crab
at
and
the
start
start.
taking
Please
damage
don't. Please don't.
until Manifestation can recover.
I think it's another Crab Talent could cleanse again.
Can, yeah.
But the question is, are you going to do damage here, or are you going to play...
No. I think you want to go off of Manifestation. Crab is at 18 HP. Mona and
Oh my God.
Signora are not good at dealing damage, right? Each of them only has a 1 or 2 damage skill. Even that Sheer Cold, while efficient at dealing cryo applications, isn't that
It's a
good
prepare
damage-wise
skill, and then
Ting having
it's
two
1 base and 2
Must-Take
piercing to off
rolls
field.
in his hand
And
as
for
well.
every
Is one of
shield,
them
or
going
every
to
2
be
shields you
bladed
have,
on Manifestation
plus
this
1 to
round,
the
maybe
character
Pizza,
that
or
you
do you
hit.
think he's going to skill on Crab?
He's going to skill on Crab. You want to, again, Kevin Z's main way you lose this game is by not doing enough damage. He has just lost Kazuha, which is, I would say, 80% of his deck's damage. And Ting can just sit on Crab, press the skill button for as long as he wants. And as long as he's not frozen, oh, he's going to burst. That's actually really surprising.
There's the burst. Eating
Okay.
through that Lotus.
Oh, I see. The burst was to flip Signora. Yep.
I see. So that was worth it for Ting, but Crab is going to be frozen next round.
Yeah, Crab will... The spicy Crab will become frozen Crab,
Oh,
not fresh at
dead
all.
Mona.
The thing is, though, Ting could have avoided that if he played Talent earlier, but then he couldn't burst. So I think the burst was more important to Ting.
Burst was more important. You want to flip Signora. Once you flip Signora, now your opponent has to be worried about Pyro Resonance normal attack. That already does 5 damage, enough to take Signora out.
You're trembling. Oh,
Oh.
there's the Judgment.
Yep.
All that food is going to be rendered useless. Has to eat through 2 of those Judgment stacks before playing any event cards. And the skill from Mona on
It's
Kevin
still a
Z's
dead
side is
Mona.
going to freeze that Crab. Do you like fresh Crab or frozen Crab?
Well, you can
What kind
kill
of
if you
question is that?
want.
Of course you like fresh Crab.
Well,
It's gotta be
sorry.
fresh Crab.
Kevin Z is cooking with frozen crab.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm trying. Okay, this is a very. Such a tense moment, and you're distracting me.
You
You have to
told
burn
me
a lot.
I wasn't making
Yes.
enough puns, and so
I
I
regret
had to
everything.
think of some more
Probably.
puns. And I'm sure chat loves my puns, right, chat?
I don't know.
Timing is
Maybe
everything in
not.
comedy, as they say, and that was
Great,
ideal.
thank you. I
I
appreciate
I was
it.
gonna say, so Passing of Judgment is a card that was very popular a few versions ago, not so much, but Kevin Z I think really likes this card, and that's because he's a consistency player. He knows that if he can stop
Does
his
Ting know that
opponents from
Kevin has
doing
no more
wild
dice
things,
left?
like ripping Wovens off the top of their deck when they don't,
What is he scared
where
of?
there's a
One more
very low
gilded,
chance, he can
both
just win
liars.
by that alone. But this is gonna be really shaky. Now, Signora doesn't have her burst up, so can't actually threaten Manifestation. I think we're gonna see Ting go over to Thunder Manifestation, and then swap back to Crab, and then.
I think he wants to slow swap the bait.
There it is. I mean, this
Like,
is going to be a fast swap.
Bait Kevin
though.
to skill again.
I mean, this is also fine.
Because he's wasting his dice this round.
To use more dice, not doing damage.
And now
right?
he has
Mona
to
skill,
hit
I think
on
Kevin Z
Mona
has to go for Mona
again.
burst here. Mona burst into a Signora burst to try and get more damage.
So a skill from Signora definitely doesn't take out Thunder Manifestation. Then Signora just goes down, right? Well, no, because the Lightning Rod's on Mona.
Well,
you have to freeze Manifestation this turn.
yes, you have to freeze. Well, you
Wait,
kind
what,
of
that's
want to
why?
freeze both. Yeah, it looks like Kevin Z is building up to that Mona burst. I think this is the only way for him to win right now. But unfortunately,
Probably
Mona
no
burst,
arcane.
doubling Signora's 2 upfront damage is not a lot, right? You're really losing a lot of efficiency.
So question, Ting has so much dice right now. Yeah, I was wondering if he's just going to be playing things. Oh, using that quick swap, I wonder if that's going to come up.
This is stupid.
Ooh, there's
Yeah,
a
he
virus
wants to
swap, but
play
there's the healing.
countdown.
I was wondering if this was going to happen. Swap back on the Manifestation.
Interesting.
This feels risky.
This does feel very risky here. I wonder why we just
Yeah,
don't endo Crab. I
wait,
think he's trying
no,
to
obviously
preserve-
not.
Okay, he's trying to preserve
It's
Crab
not
as much as
happening.
possible because Crab is really how he wins this game. We saw him throw away all of those damage cards because he doesn't need damage. He just needs to out-sustain Mona.
There's no way
Once Mona's
Kevin wins
burst
from
is
here.
gone,
It's not
remember, Kevin Z
happening.
is playing
Right.
a Hyper Magic deck, meaning the cards in his hand and deck are how he gets value, how he wins the game. Look at how many cards are left now in Kevin Z's deck. There's one icon left.
Yeah, you
He
can
is
see
running out.
there's no cards underneath that one.
Exactly.
He is very low on cards. There's countdown from Ting. And there's Vana
Wait,
just going
totem?
to eat up the
Oh
last
my god,
Omni
it's
and
so
check it out
over.
next round. There is also
Oh no.
Tenacity of Vanilla going on
He
to
even fills up the
Manifestation.
Such a
Vana.
huge draw,
Oh
and he's
my
even gonna get
god.
the extra dice over to
Chosen.
Vanarana.
Now he's going to get it twice. So
So I believe that draw of
Burst,
Tenacity getting
Crab
able to open
Talent,
for free,
Sub
this is going
Crab,
to
then
close the
Kevin
window on
cries.
Kevin Z's opportunity to deal enough damage to
Oh
take
my
out Crab. Crab
god.
is getting 6 shields every turn. I don't think Kevin Z can do 6 damage every turn.
I want to point out this is the calmest both these players have been this
Oh,
entire
Kevin's
tournament.
dice.
They are just calm. They're under 100 heart rate. Like, I mean, it's not calm, but there is Mona's burst. Those stacks, of course, like it eats through the shields,
Just
but the shields go
talent
over Crab
here.
anyway.
And Sig does
Yeah,
absolutely
there's
nothing.
no real
Mm.
reason that you care about the shields on Manifestation. You really just want that dice at this point. Now, Ting can either opt to take out Mona here with a Pyro Oven, but I think we're just going
You
to see
don't
him
even
go
have to
over
rush to take out
You could
Mona.
even
You can take her out
play the
whenever.
Crab
Yes, I
talent
think you
and
should.
then swap over.
I think you should. The cleanse.
No,
of course,
you just
Mona's burst doubles reactions. but,
Just
as
talent
damage.
and swap
Oh,
off.
he's
He's
going
left
for it.
with
There's a skill.
nothing.
It's just enough
Like-
damage because it's
Okay.
3 + 1 + 2 from the Overload
Yeah.
reaction, and now it's only Signora versus the world.
Yeah, this is the other sacrifice manifestation
guess.
play, which is
Yeah,
just as
doesn't
effective because
matter.
once
Nothing
Kevin Z is
matters.
down to Signora, there is no, as powerful of a Fatui Harbinger Signora was, I suppose, she is not enough to take out Crab.
And Mona's burst doesn't come up very often, but does double the damage there. But
Yeah.
Ting doesn't care.
Oh,
He's playing
missed
grab
2
down,
shield
has
for not
18
talenting
shield
first.
stacks,
FF.
and well, Signora's left on 2 health. I guess, you know, I guess this boss fight was pretty easy.
Actually, wait, no, he already had
But
talent.
there we go.
Never
Signora
mind.
falls. Game
Okay,
5
never
is
mind.
going to Ting. This is out 2-3. There is
my
a chance
God.
for a sweep.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ting specifically, again, Kevin Z is down to his last deck. Ting brought that deck, I
This
think,
card
as a
hard
counter
deck,
to some
man,
of
I
Kevin Z's deck, and
swear.
that was a very favorable matchup.
This and
for him,
Mew, what are
especially
these
getting
cold
that opening with
decks?
the double equipment. That's really the key here in this matchup. Was he able to draw that tenacity and maybe a second artifact off of Tamias? The answer was yes. Getting those shields early on allowed Crab to take some damage. Even though Toma went down without bursting, he provided enough value just by applying Pyro and those shields going to
It's
Crab.
okay.
And here are the
The good thing is
highlights from
Ting
that
brought
game. So
Mew.
the
It's
unfortunate thing,
okay.
Kevin Z is
We know.
stuck on this deck, and it is a very high technical level to play. I don't know how it's going to match up into the rest of Ting's decks.
That's
I think
so
Ting knows that Kevin Z is going to be playing these decks. You pointed this out earlier.
Yeah,
This
even
is-
Kenji
this
is better
matchup is a
than
big weakness for a couple of reasons. First of all, Manifestation be able to hit off field. I mean, we saw it on Kazuha. It was the active character, but that could have happened any time. Kazuha is a character that's very hard to do damage on, and that's one of the reasons why this deck is powerful, is he's your carry that can avoid damage and let the other 2 characters tank. But Manifestation, able to hit off field, allows you to get around that evasiveness of Kazuha.
So Ting is left with Mew and understand that basically Kazuha Superconduct deck with Cryocube and Fischl up against Kevin Z's Permafreeze deck here with Kazuha Senora Mona. How do you think this fares for Ting? Does he have a chance to win both these games?
Wait, what's Ting's
I
other deck?
actually like the matchup of the official Kazuha Cube deck into this version of Kazuha, mainly because that one focuses less just on Kazuha, and you have a bigger damage. It's a very similar deck, right? If you look at it, except rather than freeze, you have Superconduct. I'll never get that right. You have Superconduct to deal AoE damage, and that's one way you can threaten Kazuha off field.
I mean, they're very similar reactions. I don't blame you.
They are.
It's not just you. Asumi was making the same comments yesterday.
I'll just call them Supercharged and Electroconduct. How about that? We'll just
I
come up
think
with
they're all
brand new reactions.
50-50-ish.
Alright, great. So, anyway, this is our updated deck selection. We were just discussing this. Those are the two decks Ting is left with because, of
They're
course,
all
this is
shit
open deck
decks.
conquest format. These
Man.
players cannot play any decks they've won with. Additionally, their decks
Yeah,
have
maybe
to have
Ting's
all
deck is
different
okay.
character lineups.
Like
This is
the
something we
cube
haven't
one is
really talked
okay.
about too
Mew
much
is
in the
shit.
tournament, but
But-
this is a rule. That's why you don't see any repeating characters in any of these decks. You have to choose carefully where the characters are going to be going, and I think Ting has really targeted Kevin Z, but Kevin Z's still ahead by just a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the difference in mentality between these two players, right? Kevin's very much a player that's going to stick to his tried and true decks because he believes even if you try and counter them, that there is no good counter to stable play and just, grind you out. The RNG happened. He brushed off that game one, and again, what a game one. If you're just tuning in, welcome. You're watching we're almost about to crown our Prince Cup champion. We're potentially one game away, but that game one, if you have not watched it, please go back and watch it.
So we are potentially one game away. Of course, Kevin Z at 3 wins, Ting at 2, and this is a best of 7. So 4 wins takes it all. The grand prize is 16,000 USD. Second place is 8,000. There's so much on the line, including the bragging rights.
Wait, it's a
All these
fucking
players
8K
are such
difference
good
between
friends
first
with
and
each other,
second?
and
What?
it is a joy to watch them playing
Oh.
on stage here now.
I thought it was
but
16 and then
someone's gonna have to go
12.
home early.
Oh my
Like I said, what's
God.
going on with this?
Yeah, everyone's we'll all be going home, taking a nice rest, of course. Actually, this is a good time to plug. So if you
my
are
God.
really liking this competitive action, let's talk about it first.
All right, so speaking of winners, congratulations. We have 2 raffle winners. There is a raffle ongoing over on Astro Carnival's YouTube channel. So if you make your way on over to there will be a moderator there telling you how to enter that raffle. There will be 2 winners announced every match, so make sure you're rooting for the player who hasn't, equalized yet, which is Ting right now. If Ting wins another match, we'll be 3-3, and we'll go on to a 7th game, which makes it a very long and entertaining series for us on the caster's desk.
Yeah, you can tell how closely matched these players are, and again, it's very easy for one player to kind of get very ahead in 4 matches, and that's because in this conquest format, you have to win with every deck. But if you have one deck in your lineup that is a weakness, your opponent can very easily take advantage of that weakness. And if you have bad matchups into the rest of your opponent's deck, it doesn't matter if you're ahead.
Do you think that Prince likes Mew because it sounds like a cat mew?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
I have no clue.
I don't know what do you want me to say?
Betting on Mew sounds like a bad idea.
Really out of left field.
Listen, we have had such a good cast today. You've been explaining things so well as my analyst. Thank you, Blep. But I need to do my job in bringing the excitement, the entertainment, and the puns.
Yeah,
Whoever
the
goes
players
first
are bringing-
wins,
already
I
bringing
trust.
Plenty of excitement and entertainment. Those games have been very close. Again, there's a few matchups that are very.
I think
one-sided,
Kevin
like
has an
we
out
saw
if he
one
goes
just there.
second, and it's skill swap skill. But Ting's skill swap skill is significantly worse. So
That rhymed, and it is this
Actually,
perma-freeze deck.
there is a bit of mental component here because this is the deck that Kevin had to play to a 0-3 record against Ting already.
Wait, he played it 3 times in a row on day 1 against Ting specifically. Ting is the one that knocked him down to the lower bracket, and he lost every single match.
So Kevin has never won on this deck against Ting.
Uh-oh.
Can he break the curse? Can he rise up from the lower bracket, take his crown of TCG God, and defeat the master of RNG?
Well, so he already has the crown of TCG God. Let's be real here. He has 6 Cat Sales Gathering first place. If you're unfamiliar with what the Cat Sales Gathering tournament is, it is our community tournament. The players here mostly seeded in from that tournament, having many long, grueling matches, spanning over several seasons of that Cat Sales Gathering tournament just to qualify for here. So, but first place in that tournament gives you 1,000 USD. Kevin Z has won many first place titles there.
Yeah, and if you're interested in participating yourself, you think you can roll better, play better than the character, the players you are seeing on screen.
They're the main characters.
Yeah, Season 5 is open
Who's
for registration
first?
for Castle Gathering.
Oh, that's so exciting. I need to remember to register, but here we
Kevin
go.
10
This
sucks.
is game 6, and if Kevin Z wins this, he will be crowned our Prince Cup champion for the Atlantic tournament this year. If Ting wins this, we will be going on to game 7. Look at Ting's heart
Oh,
rate. This
Kevin
is
better
like
get
the lowest we've
7
seen.
or 8
He's
usable
calming
ones.
down. Look, Kevin Z, the game is
my
starting.
God.
His
What is
nerves
Ting
are going
rolling
up. He
for?
knows he needs to win this.
Did he go second?
Yeah,
I think
actually-
he went second.
Oh, this is a
Yeah.
Mona mirror.
Okay.
Who goes first? Okay, this is super important. In a Mona mirror, whoever goes first has a huge advantage.
Also, one thing I need to mention before we get into this game, there is a raffle going on the Astro Carnival YouTube. It should have started now. Make your way on over there if you want to enter for Primo Gems. Also, there will be a QR code appearing
Kevin's
on
gonna
screen
end his soft
periodically.
skill
If you
and
scan it,
outplay
it will send you
Ting.
to a feedback form
Oh,
where you can
no.
tell us how we're doing. Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
And we'll have to see how... You know, I haven't seen this matchup before. Again,
Oh,
these are two very
maybe
small styles
not.
that have the same elements. They both have Mona, and they have a very similar playstyle. The main difference is Kevin Z set up for freeze a lot earlier, whereas Ting is a lot later after Wanderer has gone through and bursted. And Eula usually is the finisher on
What does
Ting's
Kevin
side,
do
whereas
now?
Kevin Z is going to focus more on Kazuha.
Indeed, and so Kevin
Q2
Z going
skill
first.
equip weapon.
Did play Tamias. I don't know if he drew the Gamblers or the
No,
Gilded,
Ting's gonna
but
steal
either
soft
way,
skill,
having the
so it's
Gilded going
fine.
in the next round is going
And
to be
then, yeah.
pretty good. It's going to be free. Tamias going to 3 stacks, and should just go for Mona skill here, right?
Well, actually, looking at his dice though, if he Mona skills, what is he going to do with those
What
last
do
3
with your dice? Yeah. What?
You think he can see is he can
Kevin could have
tune
just ended
3
skill.
cards to equip
This is actually so
light
bad.
of full
Wait.
insertion. This is a really
Sounds good to
bad
me.
roll.
my-
What is
Okay,
it?
now
Oh
what?
Could be
my
an end. Okay,
god.
just float
It's
to
Just
the
okay.
end.
just
Float
ends, but
to
this is so
fine.
tragic.
Sure.
Look at Kevin Z's player cam. His heart rate has gone down since the start of this game. He knows this is a
It's
low
better than
roll.
sitting
I mean,
on
okay, so
Mona,
one
I
of the
think.
things I wonder, so
It's
there was an
okay.
alternate
Now,
play there
like,
available
now
to
it's
Kevin Z.
like
One thing you
floating
could have done,
two
if your
here
dice
is
rolls are that bad, you can't
pretty
just
awkward
normal
for
attack
Ting.
on Mona and hope your opponent doesn't top off. Ooh.
Because he
This is-
didn't get the
okay.
Going
ramp
for
he needed.
another aggressive play here. Does have Seat Dispensary to discount it to Myas for 1. It can't play it. Will have a free Gilded going next round, or the Instructors, depending on what he wants. But this is definitely very strange. But both these players are set up to get a Hydro Swirl off at the start of next turn.
Yeah, so Kevin Z did have a decent opening in his hand,
Actually,
but really
is
did
it
not roll
fine?
well.
It
Team
might
rolled
not
really
be
well, but
fine.
did not have the
Oh,
right
no.
support cards in his opening hand.
Wait, so with that skill from Wanderer, Ting now is win favored, and because Kevin Z ended on Kazuha, there's Hydro Aura on Kazuha, so Ting is always going to be able to get off a Hydro Swirl.
Well, what's probably going to happen is Kevin Z is going to use a skill right now on Kazuha, so that will
Gilded.
push
It's gonna
the
play
active
on
character
Sig.
over to Signora.
And
Yeah, but then you
then
just normal attack because you have win favored already, so you always get it off. Wait,
Oh,
interesting.
skill.
Ooh, threatening
No
a freeze here. That is
fast.
very interesting
If you're
indeed.
gonna
I wonder
disable
if it's
the
going to be a Gilded
Wanderer,
equip
why
in
you-
this case.
Yeah,
Not
we are already
just-
seeing very diverging lines, and you know, a lot of these decks have what you say standard openings or rotations.
I can see
where the
this
characters go
because
through in a
it's
very specific
most
order
of
to
Mule's
execute their plan.
damage
Now we've diverged
getting
wildly
disabled here.
from what you normally expect from both of these decks, but this is where the player experience really matters. Who is better at playing their respective decks and knows what to do in each of these situations?
Wow, Ting choosing not the aggressive route, but to swap off the Eula, who currently does
But
not
this is
have
so much
any
worse.
elemental auras on her.
Kevin
I
could
wonder,
go
what do you think
Mona,
about this
maybe?
one?
So because of Ting's opening, he was very much banking on being able to equip that Instructors to generate a lot of dice this round. If he gets frozen off of Wanderer right now, then he's going to lose a lot of momentum, right? Like he's
Mm,
really,
he really
banking
wants to
on
6
that,
skill, right?
equipment. He had a slow start and he needs to pick up the pace. Now, Kevin Z did kind of the same thing. Normally you want to swirl on Kazuha, but because there's so many characters with Hydro Aura, he's just going to swap to Signora, threaten that freeze, and Ting's responding in kind.
Kevin Z really think about what to do here,
What would
and
he
it's
do
just
if he
going to be
didn't
a
6
skill
skill
from
though?
Signora. Now,
Ooh.
responding with a Eula skill of his own, Ting
wait.
immediately responding with that.
Yeah. Oh, look at both sides. Both of them have that cryo with double Hydro.
Yeah, that is going to be a chain freeze
Oh.
No.
for someone.
It
For
is
someone.
as the stars foretold.
We'll see who gets their chain freeze off first.
So the swap to Mona means that you can't actually swirl that cryo right now as
Exactly.
Wanderer, because when favored, the normal attack would go to the next character in line for Kevin Z, which would be Kazuha.
Yeah, we might actually see Ting also swap to his own Mona in response. Yeah, this is getting to be quite the chess game. Again, both players making unusual moves.
What a funny
to counter
matchup.
what the other player is trying to do. They're trying to one-up each other.
This is such a crucial match for both of these players, because if Ting loses, he loses the entirety of the finals. If Kevin Z loses this, he's probably going to be demoralized going into the last game.
Yeah, and I will say, actually, this is a really good way to approach this matchup for Kevin Z, because I would say his deck is the more flexible one. The Kazuha Senora Mona deck has more play, has more options because
Don't you just
of
go
that
Sig
elemental
now?
skill and
And
quick punch from
skill.
Kazuha. Whereas Ting's deck is very straightforward.
guess
It
no.
wants to do the 1-2-3.
Here we go. It is a gilded onto Kazuha.
Whoa.
Wagner into Lieben.
Full
This,
red.
I don't know if this is risky or what, but there's the instructors. It is free to cast. This normal attack is going to deal so much damage to Kazuha and free Signora.
Yeah, we'll probably see Ting swap off here. I think you probably don't want,
Right there. Oh, going over to Mona. Yula
Again-
will be frozen next round, potentially.
Yeah, Mona battles
He gets
all
the
around here. You know, she's her quick
freezing
swap. Actually,
Mona
if you haven't really
R3.
played TCG, you know, Mona's
Yeah.
main ability
He's
is
gonna
that
be
she
on
can quick
Sig.
swap, meaning you
Ting
don't have to
cannot go
pass
to
the turn
Wanderer
opponent when you
because
swap
Sig
off.
is
It's so
gonna
important
freeze
for these
him.
animo
Hold
decks.
on.
That's why she's been such a crucial character throughout the entire history of TCG. We've had Geniusification TCG for
Wait,
a
not
little
Ting,
under
Kevin.
2 years now, about like a year and 8 months or so, something like that.
You saw
And
Kazuha here,
basically,
skill. You end on
Mona
Sig.
has been a staple this entire time up until Herald's release, and he's kind of taken over in some ways.
Yeah,
Sounds
Mona
good to
Bennett,
me.
actually two characters that have really been around for quite a while. Ooh.
Yeah, you could say Bennett is very Bennett.
Eula's frozen.
Especially with Fischl.
Wanderer gets
Okay, so
frozen.
very important. This freeze here on
Oh
Eula
my
is
God.
very crucial because without it, you cannot safely be on Kazuha. Or I guess
But now we're gonna fast swap over to Wanderer using
You
that
don't
last
even
second
flip-
win favor
you
to
don't even
swirl the
flip
Hydro
Signora.
back onto Signora
my
and
goodness.
Kazuha. This is scary, and with Wanderer's Burst ready to go, I think Kevin Z is going to be forced to freeze.
yeah, I mean, you want to freeze anyway. This is always what you're going to do. One really good thing is Senora is on 5. Now, most notably, 5 is
You
the
can't
limit
win,
for
but
her not to transform
Ting
into a
loses
crimson
so
Witcher Ember
much.
state. If there's one more damage that goes on her, she will flip. But I think you really need the cryo in this matchup. You don't want the pyroform. The longer you can delay that, you can also use Senora's revive to tank through a Wanderer burst. It does
Unfortunate.
8
I think
damage,
it's good.
But obviously, when you revive, it doesn't matter how much overkill you do.
So Kevin Z's deck does not do a lot of big flashy damage, like for example
No.
the Sign Overload
That's
deck that we
it.
keep seeing.
Eula
popping up, but
is
actually
so
both players
low.
banned in this finals.
I don't
But
know.
it does do consistent damage, and it does consistently freeze lock
Yeah.
its opponent, and it's very high skill floor, I think, to
is.
execute this well, and that's why it's been kind of coin flippy, I think.
Yeah,
But
definitely
Kevin has
rewards,
skill.
a lot of experience
He has
on
like
the
3
deck.
more
Now, one of the
actions here,
reasons
doesn't
why this
he?
deck is so
Like
good at
skill,
freezing
swap
is, of course,
Kazuha as
Senora's
an
skill
NA, and then
does
you
2
can like
cryo initially, but does leave a status, that sheer called
hit
status,
once.
that tags your character with the cryo afterwards. As we can see here, Wanderer is frozen now and will
Now
have
you can
Hydra
swap
at the start of
Kazuha
next round
and
to be
do
frozen
2
either by
actions
Mona
on
or even
him.
by Kazuha's plunging attack.
Yeah,
the
Ting
punching
having
plus
to
the
eat
one
that
more.
freeze, you know, that Wander Burst ready to go is just too threatening for Kevin
Although-
Z.
There is something we can do.
Oh,
Oh, it
wait.
is!
Yeah, there we go. So,
I
of
forgot
course,
about that. Oh shit.
just broke freeze. This is
Yeah.
a new card. This patch it does piercing damage to yourself, and well, it's gonna shatter that freeze. And now the
I
Crimson
mean,
Witch
he
of Embers
goes. He
form
still
is
goes
out. Yours
Kazuha
left on
here.
1
He has
HP.
Ball
That Wander's
Princess. He
Burst
has
is already down,
Gamblers.
and the instructor's
Actually-
refunded an Animo dice.
Yes, go
Yeah, this
Kazuha.
puts Kevin in a really awkward situation. If he goes for the kill on
But
Wanderer
what do you
here,
mean?
Ting has enough dice
No,
to
no, no, no,
actually
no.
take
Just go
out,
Kazuha.
Signora
Yeah,
as
no, you
well.
don't even have the
But if
fast
he
swap.
doesn't, a swell
He has
from
the-
Wanderer
he has the
will also
thing.
do the same.
Oh,
Does
this
have a
is
food
so
in
Like
him, though.
it's auto fast swap. He
could
does
be a
3
low
damage on the
swap.
normal.
Seed
You have Gamblers, you
Dispensary.
have
What
Boar.
is this for?
Myas.
There's Tamias, basically free. Getting a Heart of Kavarina.
think
You
he's
have
looking for
Boar
Gilded.
Princess. Does not
What
Kentucky
the
Gilded.
fuck is
Yeah, I think Gilded was the card he was looking for. You know, he has no Liar songs, and he has that Golden House on hand. Notably, if you have
Oh.
Golden House and Tamias, you can play
Play-
Gilded.
You could play Shadow of
Truth.
Sand King to draw 1 with the first Tamias
Could.
stack.
Yep.
And
And then I
then-
see a replace on Kazuha here doing
That's what
just
you
that.
get. There's the heart on to Kazuha. What's this going to be?
Gamblers.
Yeah, oh, we actually have a Gamblers. It actually could be
Here's
a
the
really good tag.
Gamblers.
Oh, it's gonna be a
So-
quick swap.
Let's head
Dude, he
on.
has 6
I like
dice
that a lot.
here.
Quick swap, plunging attack. Wonder falls just enough damage, and Mona can't do.
No, I cannot kill this
two damage at
Karuha.
once.
No, she could if there was a Fruit of Fulfillment in Ting's hand or a weapon. of that form.
Countdown. No, you can't count down. Oh, what do you do here?
I mean, let's see. So Kazuha has a Light of Fallen's Incision, so we could actually see Kazuha take out Mona here quite handily, especially
We can
if there's any more dice
we
coming
can
out from
skill-
Kevin Z. Of course, saving that Signora Burst for Eula most likely. Now Ting has one
Fuck's
Lotus
sake.
in his deck, which might be required. He might need to pull something off very similar to his his famed Sino version deck, where he needs to find. He has a fresh one already, but he needs to find that Lotus potentially to live through a Signora Burst and take
Does
out
have
two.
that
No, no.
countdown? I don't.
Huh?
He would have to tune it to play
Skills
it now.
Signora
I don't
Burst
know
kills
if
Mona.
Mona skill.
Yeah, you Mona
Wow.
skill because
Wait, tune
if
the
your
countdown.
if your
No,
opponent
you still
ends
kill.
on Kazuha, the
It
more
does.
Signora,
Or Signora.
Right?
Mona skill will
Yeah,
take
it's
them out.
perfect. Like
Oh,
it's
so good
2
to have
plus
if you have
6.
Egg Wanderer into a swap,
But you
this would be
don't.
so
Yeah,
good.
next round is
Mona's
gonna
skill
suck.
gives some
Yeah.
damage
Does.
reduction to
It
Mona.
does.
That is probably going to be very crucial.
Is that an important enough breakpoint? 7, I think he was already
Yeah.
safe. So Kazuha has normal attacks do 3
Into the
damage
wind.
each.
No. Okay, it's
There's the
definitely
skill.
not
Bringing Mona
burst
down to
here.
6,
It's definitely
and
not
there
burst.
is
You lose if you burst
Signora
here.
out.
You need to swap back
Having
Kazuha.
to
Yeah.
end his turn here.
Any.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to look at all the math
But then
here.
now
Yeah, there's
what?
another Light of Fallen Incision. Oh, I
The
think
normal attack. Normal attack does this.
Any again.
it
Yeah.
does, and it gets 2 more dice as well.
What are we drawing? Sapwood, that's not what you want to see.
Yeah,
Sad.
not really useful at this
Do
point.
anything
You
now.
know, I think a
Two
Liar
dice.
Song or something else would
Swap
be
Mona.
enough, but
Mona does fall. The Gambler's refresh comes in, but can you do anything with those 2 dice? The answer is no. We're going to be swapping over to Mona here, and it's going to be Eula versus the world. Does have the Grimheart stack, but with all these characters
Lotus.
on 1 HP,
Top
what does
deck-
it matter? Oh, there's Wolf's Where's going
Top deck
Lotus or
Lotus. Top deck
It is
Lotus.
Lotus or bust.
if he draws a
Junior-
Lotus,
Oh, there's the other
Yes,
countdown.
draw 4.
Oh, there's
Countdown.
dice.
Countdown. It's not
he doesn't have
enough,
dice.
right?
If
No
he has a
dice.
Lotus, he can actually survive a Signora Burst, and he gets to take out 2 characters with Gamblers. He has it in hand. He's got a countdown.
He has to
No,
play
he just
countdown.
countdown
He has
is
to
enough
play
dice
countdown.
with Gilded plus
Is he playing?
plus
Kevin Z
Gambler,
also has a Lotus that might actually be enough.
No, but you
right?
Wolf's.
No, but you don't have enough dice to do all of that. Oh no, there's a
You
Gilded.
can't play
oh, he's
wolves, I
countdown.
think, ever.
There's countdown.
Oh,
What did he
okay.
draw?
There it is.
Oh my god, there's a Lotus. There's
Oh.
the free Gilded.
I think with that Lotus, it's enough.
Oh.
Oh, look at Kevin Z. He
Look
probably
at
doesn't
Kevin
have
Z.
it.
He's so scared. His heart rate is skyrocketing. There's a fresh
for
wind of freedom. There's the elemental skill. Ting is gonna get to go again after Mona falls.
He
Has
wins.
plenty of
Let's
dice
head
left
off.
for 2 actions.
Right?
Mona and Mona's
Skill.
down. Kazuha and Signora both on 1 HP. There's the Lotus.
Yeah, don't
Look at the
burst.
zoom in on Kevin's reaction.
Wait a minute. Signora's
Oh
Lotus as
my
well puts her above 4.
no.
Eula without a weapon right now.
Lotus
And
is
I
not.
don't
No,
think there's
she
enough
does
dice, is
5.
there? Oh, wait.
Lotus is not enough. Nothing is enough. It's
Oh,
over.
there's no way. There's no
first.
way.
Is that one-off Lotus in the
Eula's gonna
stack?
survive
I
on 2
know.
HP.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, no! Grimheart!
Oh, you said Grimheart. Oh,
Grimheart! Because
okay.
Grimheart was used on Mona and then the
Yes,
skill.
yes,
Holy
yes,
shit, he
sorry,
won
sorry,
with
sorry.
Mew.
I was
Ting
expecting-
wins this game. We're going on to game 7.
Oh, right, of course. Countdown fixed Ting's dice so he could roll a skill twice.
Oh my
you counted
god.
it.
He's like
He's
Kazuha.
Wait, he even did up.
Oh
He even
shit.
look at him just drinking water.
I mean, he needs to hydrate. I mean, again,
Doesn't he say hydrate?
okay, we're about to head into game 7. Players at home, it's so exhausting to be playing these games. 3 games in a row, and these are very close games as well. You need all of your mental capacity here. And you have to
What
just
was that
stay in there
game?
until
That
the end.
starting
I mean,
sequence
what
was
an intense match.
so odd.
Again, Ting needed that Lotus. He has 1 Lotus in his deck. And it
Professional
and-
top
and
decker.
needed it.
That's why he brought the attack. He knows
Okay,
he's lucky.
okay.
The
okay, this is a
Cube's official
concept in the
Kazuha.
TCG world we're called playing to your outs. What it means is there are many situations you'll find yourself in where
Hooray,
you
Kazuha
may be losing,
mirror. Let's
and you may
go.
need to take a line that has a 10% chance of winning, but it is always better than doing something
Why
with a
the fuck are we
0%
playing
chance of winning.
Kazuha? I
If Ting had done
swear, this
anything
character is
else,
so
if he
big.
hadn't identified that he needed the
Match.
Lotus, then he always loses that game. But
There's so
because he
many.
knows
There's
that
so
he has
many
a Lotus
ways
in
to
his
beat
deck, that if he draws
Kazuha.
into
Why are
it,
we
it
doing
will put him
this?
out of Signora burst range. That is what he needed to do, and it was so close on both
Things are
sides.
so tense in the studio, by the way. I'm not sure if you could hear them talking, but the players and also the ones still at the studio watching Robot Wizards also here. They are communicating about that game. Now we're going on to game 7. I'm sure for those of you at home, you're very happy you get another
Honestly, that
Primogen raffle.
Lotus was
But
like
this will be
whatever.
the
It's not
last
insane.
Last game.
Primogen
Like he
raffle
gets it,
for
but it was
today,
high
and
shot.
Our last game, we're gonna
Oh.
cast.
Yeah, he was pretty like. It was like if you haven't gotten
Kazuha
Lotus at that point, it's a bit unlucky, I think.
What a way to finish this tournament! You know, Kazuha and
Oh
Sino being
my
double banned,
god.
and then Kazuha being
Double picked.
Dude, why the
Oh,
f are we
what a way to
banning
end the tournament. Of course, we know what we're talking
Sino?
about.
It's so
This is a
stupid. Why are we
very
banning Sino?
awesome
Why are we
animation
bringing
that we
So cool.
Kazuha?
Yeah,
What is
it's been
this?
playing every so often, the beginning of end of certain sections,
Yeah.
and it has
Sino is
Kazuha and
nuts.
Sino up against each other in this
Yeah.
most epic battle ever. And that's kind of how it feels, you know, seeing these characters in play. They
Yes.
wouldn't normally play before.
There's
you
no
know,
reason to.
we're
amazing.
going on to a game 7, but this is
Oh, because
this is our
Crab,
last
though,
game we're
because
gonna be
Crab is
casting
good
for the
into
tournament.
Yeah,
into
this is gonna be
Mew,
the
and
end
it's good
one way or
into.
another of Prince Cup Atlantia. We're
into
gonna crown a
Cube.
victor very soon. If you're just
No,
tuning
but,
in,
uh,
you're probably
why-
tuning in at the best moment because one of these players on the stage.
Yes,
is gonna
why did
walk
we
away with
meet?
$16,000
Exactly,
and the title of Prince Cup champion.
exactly.
But if you're gonna love this action, we are not done with our championships because next weekend
Just bring
there
Cookie
will actually be another
Herald.
Prince Cup Pacific.
There will be a Prince Cup Pacific, and on top of our raffles, we have our QR
Match
code
clap.
here. Make sure you're staying up to date on Astro socials as well, so you can get on the fun, and also you can come join more raffles as we have more
All these
tournaments.
fake aggro
But yeah, that
decks.
QR code there will send you to a feedback form where you can tell us how we're doing here. If you love the games, if you love our casting, if you love our set, if you love our amazing host Slacks, you know, everything here, we love to do it, and your comments definitely help support us. So make sure your voice is being heard.
And if for any reason you find any fault with the last 3 days of competition we had, I mean, there's nothing more we can do to please you. These last 2 and 3 days have been just phenomenal in terms of the quality of the TCG games, the banter of these players on stage,
And
the
between
personalities,
casters.
everything. It has been phenomenal. You know, I thought we peaked yesterday on day 2 with that unbelievable match between Ting and Robot Wizard that also went to all 5 games, but now this might actually be better.
It's so interesting because, like, I just want to kind of reintroduce some information about these two players.
Yeah.
Ting is someone who is notorious in the Genius Invocation TCG community for high rolling. He gets really lucky when it matters. And we've seen him have unlucky moments. It's not like he's always going to get lucky, but in these crucial moments, he is sweeping games like by the skin of his teeth. And it's so fun to watch. And he knows how to take that luck and translate it into a win. That is the skill part of him.
I will say in that last match that they really demonstrated like his skillfulness because both sides opened very unusually.
Meanwhile, Kevin Z is someone who prefers more of a consistent playstyle, does not like relying on RNG for anything, and actually considers that a bad strategy. So they're kind of opposites up against each other.
Not rely
They
on
both do their
RNG
own
for
deck cooking,
anything.
which is so impressive. And it's really a battle of titans here, but we have our raffle winners. I just want to shout them out real quick. If you see your UID there, congratulations. You have won 1,000 Primo Gems. Make your way on over to the Astro Carnival YouTube for one last Primo Gem raffle. There will be 2 more winners, and this is going to be our last game. We're moving on to a game 7. Can the God Slayer Ting take down the Honored One, the God Ascending
Well, okay.
himself, Kevin Z?
Kevin Z is now 5 losses on this Kazuha deck.
Don't say
against
that! No, you're
Ting.
cursing him! Oh.
So this is gonna be tough. I'm not really sure. We have not seen this deck played very much, and that actually is an advantage towards Ting because Kevin Z may not be sure exactly how best to play against these decks. Now, these are professional players, and a lot of the plays that you make come down to these things called breakpoints, which is dealing just enough damage to take out other characters. The more efficiently you can do that, the better your games go. But every deck has slightly different breakpoints because of the damage you do and the reactions you trigger.
How interesting. I just noticed that there's 2 copies of Dawn Winery here. You know,
Yes.
Dawn Winery having some changes lately that gives you 2 free swaps. And I guess it's just an ideal card, especially when you're playing something like Kazuha, where you have a lot of plunging attacks that rely on swapping over to him.
Yeah, and of course, Dawn Winery doesn't present itself in Kevin Z's deck. You know, he has to pay dice for those swaps to Kazuha, but part of the reason he can do that is he does have that light of fully incision. Definitely, I think the best weapon for his deck, Lo-Fi. It's really paid off for him, but again, not quite enough in that last matchup to clutch it out.
What's it going to be? Of course, we already know Prince is staring down this deck because it has disappointed him too many times. But Kevin Z needs to get one more win off. He chose to bring it to the finals. Let's be clear. He chose to bring that to the finals because he had the option to bring something else. So he has faith in this deck.
I mean, he definitely does. You know, we saw a lot of
running
players
Therese
also,
and Wagner together sucks so much, I swear.
It was good. I think it is a good deck, but it's pretty difficult to play.
Sucks when 1/3 of your deck is cards you don't want to draw unless you have 4 cards. Unless you have one of the 4 cards in your deck.
Who wins here, we have to go on to beat Ting. We have to beat this guy. They're all friends, of course. But I wonder if Robot Wizard banning out this deck gave Kevin Z some hope that it would do well.
I mean, I think, look, Kevin Z is not the type of person that would be swayed by things like that, I think. Again, he's a player that believes in his own confidence and strategy. If he thinks this deck is good, he will play it no matter what.
It could have been better. I don't know. But you don't really have a choice, I guess. You're kind of forced into playing those action cards. I can't think of a better way to like run the action card list.
The grand finals. Here we go. King versus Kevin Z. There's a QR code there if you scan it. It will send you to a
like, I think
you can tell us how we're
the more
doing.
I see it, the more I think the characters are
YouTube has begun, so make sure you're making your way on over
it's just
there.
the action cards end up being awkward.
We're casting together, Blab.
Yeah, this will be the last game we are casting for this Prince Cup, and we'll have to see. Again, so the last game...
Okay, if there was a way to do magic without Gilded,
I was trying to say,
like with only the weapons,
ability to draw and get lucky.
I don't know.
But that last game starting off very
like if you could like just rely on Sapwood plus
of course, not swirling was the right play, but now it's a very different
Unseen Razor to generate all the dice that you need, and then have other cards for dice generation.
I know exactly what the optimal lines are for Ting's deck. That's going to give him advantage. I think he has a surprise factor.
Maybe this deck could have
especially
been.
because Kevin Z has played this deck now for the 6th time against him.
There's a lot I
Now
want
look
to say
at how bad the hand
I
looks.
want to
I
mention first,
don't know.
though, that
I mean,
Ting's
it's
tournament
okay
history
here.
is actually very good. It's not, you know, he's not just a high roller. He's very skilled,
Yeah,
as you're
it's
saying.
actually pretty
He
good.
actually was top 4 in the North American Prince Cup
Lively.
tournament last year. Lost to Nihida, who lost to Robot Wizard for 2nd place. So Nihida, being a very strong player, was also here in the top 8. It makes sense that, you know, Ting could lose to someone equally as strong.
He
Also won first place in the North American Catskills Gathering 2024 Season 2, which is a whole ordeal in itself. Those online tournaments are
play
very
Para
hard to
here?
win sometimes, so that is quite the accomplishment.
And then swap back
he
Fischl.
lost to Bleb and
Very
Alpha
early
too.
on. Look, Ting has grown so much as a player since
Also,
that, and you know,
okay.
these players' journeys have started since the beginning of
Yeah.
I guess,
GITCG,
why
almost
not?
more than a year ago. And on this very stage, a lot of these players have already
Yeah, he
played
always
with and
swears
against
anyway.
each other 1 year ago. But of course, Robot Wizard, our previous champion, is no longer up for contention for a 2nd Prince Cup title.
Both of these players took him down. Both of them did.
That's what it takes. to
That
take
is
down a
what it
champion.
takes.
Ting here with a
Slayer.
very aggressive opening. Now, we saw that Dawn Winery play. This is one of the plays that the new buff has really enabled. Getting that swap on the first round with 2 skills as well. Look at how few cards are in Ting's hand right now. That's completely intentional.
Oh
Gonna have
my
a big
god, he's
turn
doing it.
round 2. This is actually the round
trembling.
to
I
be very
guess-
scared of
I
as
guess
Kevin Z,
the
and this is why he's going for
Yeah.
a freeze. And I'm super worried now, actually, for Ting because of this.
Well, the
Yeah.
parametric transformer is going to start ticking up, as is that Cheng the 9th. There is the treasure-seeking Sealy, and there's the plunging attack from Ting. I think Ting has to be careful to not lose his Cryo Cube too early. That Cryo Cube will have Sheer Cold applied at the end of turn to deal 1 point of cryo damage, as well as being
Reskill?
frozen right
Question
now.
mark?
There's only Electro application on the side of Kevin Z.
Yeah, I think if the fact that Ting left this deck
It's
so
probably
hard,
okay
I
to
believe
skill
this is actually
here.
a little bit of a weakness against this matchup. Kevin Z having access to freeze, and in particular that fast swap freeze also of Mona, this is locking Ting out of Cryocube for an entire round. And this is the round he played Parametric Transformer. In fact, I wonder if he should have saved that Covenant Transformer for the end of this round rather than playing it last round, because now those 3 dice,
Pretty standard ordering.
you have
I
to be
mean,
on Kazuha to use those 3 dice. If Kazuha gets frozen this round, it's almost over. Fischl cannot do
Because
enough on her own.
you
I think
do
this
want
is
to
really
go
precarious situation.
official Kazuha
Interesting.
too. That is
the Kazuha
ideal. But the
first.
problem is
After
Q got
Singora goes
frozen
for a
here.
2nd skill, but now Kevin Z's burst is ready in case she gets
Like
flipped.
without the freeze, the
This
ordering
is-
was good.
I don't know. This is really scary for Ting.
This is really scary, but it's a reactionless opening from Ting with only Swirl and Electro damage, you're not actually doing enough AoE to threaten Kazuha. I'm really worried from this spot.
For the first time in a few games, Ting's heart rate is going up
Man,
above 100.
everything
It is
sucks here.
skyrocketing. He is realizing the implications of this game. His heart is racing. He knows that this is it. This is it. He has to win this game. Or else.
Yeah.
Or else.
Or else. I mean, both of them have to, right? It's
Both
not
of them
just
have
Ting.
to. It's
We're
not
also
just
talking
Ting.
about
I mean,
Kevin Z as
Kevin
well.
Z's never been. He was at like 130 earlier
Yeah.
consistently. He's at 110 now. It's going down.
But this is such a good opening, mainly because, again, one of Ting's characters, Fischl, does not do that much on her own. Oz is a very powerful summon, but, you know, takes time
What
to
does
get value,
Kevin
and there's
do
no
here,
other skills that
actually?
Fischl can use to efficiently do damage while that summon is already out. I think Kevin Z... I think Kevin Z is thinking about quick swapping over to Mona here. Oh, it's gonna happen.
Here we go. There is the quick swap. It's not. Wait, it is over to Mona.
It is. This is going to be very, very deadly for Ting. He's both his characters, his two main characters, Cryocube and Kazuha, will be
Wow.
locked out on that crucial turn that he used Parametric Transformer. So only Fischl will be left alive.
I
This
mean,
is
it's
why
gonna be
I
two
think he
official
really-
NAs basically.
You know, Kevin Z yesterday punished
Which
a round one
definitely
Parametric
sounds like
Transformer
it
opening. I think he's
sucks.
doing it again in a very different way.
So, okay. I see what you're saying. However, the Hydro... Or no, I guess so. There's going to be Cryo application on both Kazuha
Yeah.
and Cryocube going
It's
next
gonna be
round.
two
That is so
official
rough. That's why he plays
NAs.
Ignore on this deck.
And if Ting ends on Fischl,
And he
it's
can't
gonna
end
be
on
against
official.
Burst. A Quicksilver to Kazuha freezes both of them again. This is the threat of this deck, and I think Ting's deck kind of unfortunately plays right into the strategy of Kevin Z. Ting now forced to build
crazy.
official burst, which is powerful, but not as powerful as you really need.
What does he get from Sealy
Oh my
here?
god, he's
there's
gonna get
Judgment on the
owned by
side of
this
Kevin Z.
Judgment
That is going to be
too.
really brutal for Ting, but draws Sapwood.
Okay, I think we might. I don't know if it's correct to
If
go. for
only you
official
could
burst. We
set
might
foot
see Ting
Fischl.
minus being deployed to at least draw an artifact in that screen. You're hoping for a gilded, and you might need to swap off into one of your other
to
characters.
Cryocube. I think you don't want that swirl. You don't want that swirl. It's just gonna freeze your characters again. You need Kazuha active. He's gonna go for the normal attack, threatening that Fischl burst. Ooh.
Wait, really? There's no way.
This is basically Ting saying, "Go on, swirl me."
Okay, so he's going to try and
Ting has a copy of Tada in his deck.
he does.
He has
He
Tada.
does.
He has it somewhere. I'm pretty sure he has
Okay.
one copy of it. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
Might come
there it
up,
is, there it
yeah.
is, there it is.
I mean, for now, we're going for official burst with Gambler, so Ting
I think Kevin
is
was just
baiting Kevin Z into this
okay.
freeze.
So
Now, it
so
could
what's
still
gonna
be the right move
happen
from Kevin
is
Z,
Kevin's
but
gonna
if he
freeze
does
for
this, he
hotel.
will lose Mona, of
He's
course.
gonna end on
Official
Sig.
burst, we haven't seen it in so long,
He
but
can
does
Sig
off-field piercing
burst,
damage, and Mona is
and
currently
then
on 1.
pass
Too
up to the
juicy
like
to go
use the
for- you have to
Kazuha
go
plunging
for it,
to
right?
freeze
You have to
Fischl.
go like
I think you do.
to go for
So-
that swirl,
I mean-
and then you Fischl burst, and you get the gambler's refresh.
I have to see the HP of the character. As long as Kazuha
Tada.
doesn't go down to this play, but yeah, that
I
Tada.
think you will
really
lose
going to
before that
be what
happens.
decides this game, I
Probably,
think. Is it enough?
right? Like
Actually, I think Kevin Z wants to play Judgment.
Gladiator Sapwood as
Actually, this is where that Judgment from Kevin Z
well. Oh, don't
might
say
be
that, don't say
the
that,
most
don't say that.
devastating
Tada is
card.
not gonna see.
Kevin
This is going to
identifies
be
that the only way he loses this game by double freezing his opponent's characters.
He got
because it's so
Kazuha and
official,
killed Frozen
is for them
last
to break out
round,
of
so he
freeze.
ended twice on
Judgment will
official
be
with 7
cast, and
dice.
King may be out of contention for first place.
Seed Dispensary, free Wagner, draws Sacrificial Sword. What is Kevin Z
How does the
looking
dice look
for?
out
Probably
here?
a weapon
Sub
for
skill
Kazuha, because he is
burst.
going to go for that chain freeze. Is he going to play the Judgment?
I think
Is he
so.
going to play it?
Will the Honored One pass Judgment
There's
on
the
Kevin Z?
Gilded.
This is almost certainly
Let's
Kazuha
head
swap.
off.
Oh, there is no
Oh.
Judgment.
Do you
There is
judgment?
wait, there's the board. There's
Wait.
the Sapwood.
Does he not
What?
have enough dice? I think I think it's
Yes, the
gonna count
gamblers
his dice.
though.
Well, the gamblers probably won't take out any characters right now. I think he's doing math right now. I think going over to his notepad, he's probably checking his opponent's card.
What?
He knows Ting has Tadas.
Oh,
I don't
Okay.
know. Sure, we
playing around
can
it.
do.
Well, so here's the thing,
I don't-
Kazuha, you'd have to Tada on Cryocube
Tada.
specifically, because you can't take damage on Kazuha right now.
Correct. Yes, it would have to be Cryocube. I think you want to be on Cryocube anyway because all of your opponent's characters have Electro.
Did not play that Judgment, but Ting, having that Gambler's on Fischl, will be able to refresh his dice by going for this burst. Also will flip Signora.
I think Ting might need to think about whether Judgment is very important right now because if he thinks Judgment will lock him out of being able to take out
Okay.
at least Kazuha, if not Signora as well.
Yeah, he didn't
then
have dice to
needs
judgment, I think.
pre-play
So
a
he
lot of
needs
his
to like
cards.
How
ball,
does he do that? He
play
has no
gamblers
pre-swaps
on
in his deck. He has
Kazuha,
no
and
way
then
of going
swap
over there.
Well,
after
your opponent
bursting on
is
Sig.
out of dice, right? So they're oh, I guess Kazuha still has the plunger attack, so never mind. We still
Yeah,
actually
no,
have a lot.
Kevin
And then he has
has a lot
Sapwood, so he
in his
can
disposal right now.
Well, the plunge attack
he can
from
plunge.
Kazuha
Sapwood gives
will go
2.
onto Fischl.
Gamblers should
Then the weapon
kill.
was Sapwood, which already was triggered. And then Kevin Z will have to spend initial. He doesn't have a Boar Princess though. Boar Princess free.
He has 1 stack of board. You know, he has 2 stacks of board princess left. He played board and didn't do anything with it.
Okay,
If
so
you
he has
swap
one,
cube,
so he has a
Kevin
normal
plunges
attack on
with
followed by probably
Kazuha,
another
I
normal
think.
attack or a skill.
Right? Wait,
Not both.
no.
Or burst.
Yeah, or a burst.
It could be a burst.
Ooh.
What is this?
He might be sacrificing Kazuha here to the
Now
Signora
what?
burst.
I think Ting
Now you
wants
just
Kevin
kill.
Z to use up all of his dice. I think that's what's going on here. But Kevin Z does have that gamblers.
Yeah, Kevin Z does have gamblers, but the gamblers is on Kazuha.
There's
Oh,
the
there's the
judgment.
judgment.
There's the gamblers onto Kazuha.
Sounds
This is
good to
going
me.
to be a plunging attack. This fast action -3 to take out Kazuha.
Regrets.
And refreshing those Omni dice. Now what do? Do you burst from Fischl? Now?
Now might be a good time to burst. So what Ting needs to do is try and take out Signora off field. I don't think you can afford. I don't think you can afford to Tata anyway. Keeping the Cryo Cube revive is too important. You need to
Fischl
keep the
first
revive.
and Mona falls. The Gambler's refresh coming in. Signora is now 4 HP or under, and Kazuha is left on 4 HP as
Burst on
well.
Kazuha?
Yeah, but look at all those dice out from Kevin Z. And one of the things that Kazuha can do again is keep himself super safe by using his skill. He can swap out here, take more damage on Signora, and then come back for another plunge. Now the break.
What does skill accomplish? Burst makes
the plunging attack right now, does he?
Oh, no,
Or-
but he can
Cube's
skill
life a
to
bit
get
harder.
off of Kazuha here, go onto Signora. That probably is the safest place. Signora still has not flipped her revive, but will definitely
Actually,
enter. There's no other healing. from
Skill
Kevin
lets
Z,
you
yeah.
go.
Here's the skill.
Yeah,
I
you know,
think
it's
if
the
you're-
same, I think.
Oh,
Cause you skill
just
one
swap over
Sig and then
Cube
you have fast off
if
the
you're Ting?
Kazuha
You
with
just
the
swap some?
Anemo.
You can't though, because you... Oh. Wait, what?
Okay. Maybe we're so changing shifts, Liar Song, and Ball Princess all don't really do anything right now. So we could see him burn 3 cards just because Tada is the card that actually matters. But if you swap over to Cryo Cube, you know, Signora.
You can't play Tada anymore.
That doesn't
and, well,
matter.
especially if Signora using a skill on Cube would be deadly because then the revive.
The sheer cold, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a swap over to Cryo Cube.
This is not looking good.
It is not looking good for Ting. This is really scary.
Yeah, I think really Ting is hoping that somehow Kevin makes a misstep
yeah.
here, plays into one of the cards in his hand. Kevin he must be thinking, you know, something weird with that changing shifts being played. I think the pressure is getting to Ting. I think he actually did pass over the passing of judgment here very
That's
briefly and forgot
skill.
about it. Otherwise, he would have played 2 more cards
Probably
in the third
skill.
card.
He didn't need to play that changing shifts anyway though, because he had another copy of Dawn. He had another thing of Dawn Winery left.
He has
true.
nothing
So
on official,
I
right?
wonder if he's actually playing a mind game. I wonder if he has a
Oh.
plan. I want to know if he has a plan. He has so many dice. He has like gladiators and Boar Princess. He can still
Let's see.
he can play the Tada on Cryo Cube after Signora's skills.
No, because the revive would you'd have triggered a revive already, and then you would take your own Cryo Cube.
No, exactly. And then it's a free swap over to Fischl. And then that uses an event card.
Damn.
And then you can play Boar Princess.
But
I don't-
what does
well-
Ball Princess do?
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think he has a plan. I want to know what that plan is.
But then if you burn Tada to passing of judgment, you can't then you're still on Cryo Cube, right?
Tuning the sapwood. What is the plan
Uh,
here? Why are we tuning?
I think that
Maybe
there
if
isn't
you give
even.
time, I'm actually
Yeah,
Oh, he
there's
doesn't
no
even
way.
have
He has
time.
no
there
way
is
to go
calculation here
out
about whether
of this.
because Tada will take out Cryo Cube, but you'll lose Cryo Cube, and I don't think there's actually a way for Fischl with only 7 dice. Now, of course, oh, he's tuning to get under for Gladiators. He's planning on playing Gladiators this round. Wait, Gladiators is 3 normal attacks.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, it's just a regular swap on official. Does not play the Tada.
Oh, but this is really bad. That sheer cold on Cryo Cube is going to
It's
take
already gonna
Cube
take
out
Cube
no
out
matter what.
anyway.
Yeah, I think when we make this play, we probably shouldn't have swapped. Although, I think if Kevin Z had just bursted Fischl here, a swap to Kazuha to Swollen to Crycube really has the same effect.
This is really scary.
Yeah,
So
okay,
what is
what
Kevin Z going to do? You
does
could
Kevin
swap
be
back
scared of
onto
here?
Kazuha
Actually,
and go for that punch
they're
attack.
still
The timer
out,
is
right?
ticking
He's
down, guys. This is the last match of the grand finals. It will be a Lotus onto Signora, and it's going to end.
Yeah, the Lotus here will eat up a normal attack. So I think this is to... So two normal attacks from Fischl would have flipped Signora. But with that Lotus...
Risada.
Well, it's
Did
going to be
he,
3 normal attacks, but I
did
don't
he
think it matters.
lose
This
his
should be Liar
Signora here?
Song
Wait a minute.
for
Wait.
Princess.
Wait a minute. How much damage? Fischl burst does 4 damage? Wait a
How
minute.
can you official burst
Yes.
right
Oh, no, you're one dice short because of... Yeah, you're 1 dice... Oh, why'd you keep the
What?
Liar Song? Wait, what's the artifact of Fischl right? It's Gilded?
now? It's Gamblers.
Gamblers. Oh, that's right.
But you never take out Signora here.
So you can Liar Song... Oh, what do you...
Demise.
Drawing a Gilded. Wait.
Wait,
That might...
that's a free gilded.
Does that matter?
Is that enough? That's still only 2 dice. You're back where you
You don't have
started.
4.
I don't
No.
think this is enough.
I
No.
don't know what the plan is here.
No,
It's
this is
not
not
enough.
enough.
It's
I
not enough.
believe
You
this is
need
gonna
a-
be it.
Okay, there's...
He needed
This
both
is normal
Bore
attack.
and Liar.
What do you
Plus
even
whatever
do now?
he got
You
here.
just- Why are we swapping on the cryohypostasis?
Swap doesn't matter.
I'm not sure. I think Kevin, knows it. He's sitting back in his seat. He doesn't really
It's
know what to
over.
expect from
It's over.
from Ting's deck, but Kevin Z with
That's not-
priority, I think he's
yeah.
gonna take it. He has this
It's
Signora.
immediately
Swaps
killed.
anyway.
Oh my god.
This is it.
Oh, this is going to be it. What does Ting draw here?
There's nothing Ting
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Kevin Z's
matter.
going first.
Kevin goes first.
So it doesn't matter. Kevin Z has a Signora burst lined up against
Just don't get
the
0
official at
pyro.
6 HP.
Wait, even that doesn't matter.
5 HP, not even 6. This is it. We're tuning. This is going to be the burst from Signora. -6 is exactly enough to take
The
out Ting's
honored
Fischl.
one.
And the winner of the Prince
Sheesh.
Cup Atlantic Tournament is Kevin Z, the honored one, taking down the professional top decker, the God Slayer Ting. And this has been Leah casting for you.
And this has been Bleb, a pleasure.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, everyone.
We couldn't ask for more. Thank you so much. It's
At
an
least
absolute pleasure.
they
You
both
played
grief
so
by
well. Thank you
bringing
so much for
Kazuha.
joining us. Yes, enjoy the second place
And not
you may
penning
exit
where.
as
What
we
the
will bring our champion, Kevin Z. You finally made it. I've been hearing about you for so long. That trophy is yours, baby. Pick it up. This is all yours, ladies and gentlemen. The winner of the Prince Cup Atlantic,
gee.
Kevin Z, the honored one, arrives and lives up to expectation. Well done, well done. How you feeling right now, boss?
I'm feeling really great.
Oh, great, great. Any words out there to the fans? Any words out there to everybody?
I want to say that I made my own deck, so I'm very glad. I'm very thankful to myself. But I also want to thank Robot Wizard. He really encouraged me, even played along with my antics, and even wished for me to win the tournament. So I'm really grateful to him.
Fantastic. Well, Robot
How is he gonna
Wizard
hold
has
on?
lived
How long is he
through
gonna hold
you.
the trophy
Your
up there for?
champion, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up one more time. All of our
My God.
competitors out there cheering him on. I know you're all friends, and we just could not have gotten more from you guys. Thank you for going all the way. And Kevin Z
Oh my
will be
god.
your winner. Prince is very, very pleased. And that will do it for us. Congratulations, Kevin Z. You've done it. You're the best in the world. And we have done it here as well. Put her there one more time, my friend. Absolute pleasure to watch you. And thank you for all of our viewers out there. Hope you guys enjoyed the Primo Gems.
Wait,
Hope you enjoyed
I just realized the
show.
background
Hope you got
says
some
Robot Wizard.
fantastic decks to
And
use
like
for your
behind the-
own. And with that, we will say
Behind the
good night.
Kevin Z.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to our casters. Thank you to our players. Thank you to our viewers. And thank you to Kevin Z, your winner of the Prince Cup Atlantic. Woo!
The Robot Wizard is just the title given to the person who wins Prince. Now SI has to be called SI. Okay, I think we're done here, right? Unless there's like interview. Probably not. Okay. GG's.